Hi guys. C-Drama greets you. When the chaos first opened, the heavens ruled the monsters and the human world as the first of the three realms, but the ambition of King Shura swelled and set off a big battle. King Shura's generals, Luo Huji, defeated the gods of the heavens. Seeing the world is in desperation, King Shura will succeed. But before the final battle, the evil spirits disappeared. A general of the god of war appeared in the heavens and wiped out King Shura, and the demon world was gone. But every 1,000 years, there will be great chaos in the world, and the monster world is about to move around. If the evil star returns, it will destroy the world. In the dimly lit hall, a group of people were attending the hall master. The hall master didn't know what he was holding, and it was shining. The hall master speaks. Elder stars, are you talking about these two stars? Obtained an affirmative answer from Elder Constellation. The elders of the stars said, since the death of the devil star Jiju, there have been two more stars in the sky called Jijuing and Luohuxing. In the past 1,000 years they were all distributed on one side, but today, the two stars are close to each other, and it seems that they are about to merge into one. The hall master said, does he really want to wake up? Another subordinate reported, Chi told the hall master that half of Luohu's soul, which was inquired by his subordinates, was about to go down to the mortal dust. Fen Rushan, those immortals whose bones have been removed will go to the mortal world to cross the calamity. If they succeed, they will have a chance to return to the heaven. The hall master's subordinate said to the hall master, the general of god of war will enter the mortal tribulation with Luomo. They guess that if the war god and Luomo went through the calamity together, it would have an impact on their demon world revival. The hall master asked them to find the reincarnation place of these two old enemies, and he wanted to get these two children. There were painful voices from the mansion. The woman was giving birth to a child, and she was too late to give birth. Fen Rushan, the hall master's men, broke into the place of reincarnation, and those who wanted to reincarnate entered the door road. At the same time, the wife was born. The wife's child was born and thought it was dead, and was going to be buried, but she didn't expect to cry suddenly. Little junior sister jumped from under the tree, and Linglong rushed over, and was very dissatisfied with their bullying of junior sister. Linglong told Chu Xuanji to participate in the hairpin conference. Chu Xuanji didn't want to go and was pulled over by Chu Linglong. A group of first sons were fighting with the wolf demon and almost died. A masked man came out and killed the wolf demon. He was the eldest disciple Yu Saifeng of Palace Lord Li's. Only he succeeded in this test. Was abolished martial arts and expelled from Li's palace. The palace lord said that Yu Saifeng had succeeded in the hairpin conference, and he handed over the order of Jin Yu to Yu Saifeng. The hall master's subordinates reported to the hall master Jun Tianheus's whereabouts, and arranged manpower in the 5 major immortal sects. The hairpin conference is being held, and many disciples of the school have entered one after another. Chu Xuanji was made things difficult by the finishing touches, dropped from the air, and was rescued by Yu Saifeng. Chu Xuanji asked Yu Saifeng to bring her back to the Shaoyang sect, and Yu Saifeng took her back to the Shaoyang sect at her request. Chu Xuanji picked up Yu Saifeng's token and found that they were born on the same day and the same year. Chu Xuanji's father was scolding Chu Xuanji, and was defended by her sister Lingaling. Seeing this, his father gave Chu Xuanji 10 days to connect Yeohua's sword skills. Chu Xuanji found Yu Saifeng with a birthday cake his father gave him, and sent it to him, but Yu Saifeng refused. Yu Saifeng found the peach tree and took the morning dew on the peach tree. Chu Xuanji also slept on the tree and fell down accidentally. It turned out that the snake was a beast of Yu Saifeng, and Chu Xuanji apologized to Yu Saifeng. The snake ran away, and the two went looking for the snake. Yu Saifeng said that something was attracting the spirit beast Xiao Yinhua. They accidentally hit Tuoyan's formation and entered the secret realm of Shaoyang School. Yu Saifeng wanted to go in and rescue Xiao Yinhua. Chu Xuanji opened the secret realm, and Yu Saifeng went in alone looking for Xiao Yinhua inside. A black dragon bit towards Yu Saifeng, and Yu Saifeng used mana to fight against the black dragon. Chu Xuanji saw that Yu Saifeng was in danger and entered the secret realm. He saw the black dragon and told the black dragon to stop. Yu Saifeng was not an opponent of Zuolong, and was knocked out by Zuolong. Chu Xuanji woke up Yu Saifeng. Yu Saifeng found that the mask was missing and was very anxious. The candle dragon struck again, and knocked the two of them into the air. Chu Xuanji's palm was bleeding, and it was strange that her blood turned into a flying sword and floated out. Chu Xuanji picked up the blood-stained object, then some pictures appeared in his mind, and suddenly the two of them were suspended in the air by a mysterious force. Chu Xuanji seemed to be a different person, and the candle dragon attacked them, but they suddenly appeared outside the secret. Zuolong chased it out, and was driven into the secret realm by the Shaoyang sect disciple. The senior leaders of the Shaoyang faction came, and Chu Xuanji was scolded by her father and asked her how to enter the barrier. Chu Xuanji said that she didn't know what was going on. Her father said that he would never indulge Chu Xuanji in the future and asked her to face the wall and think about it. Sister Linglong and they interceded, and Chu Xuanji's father's attitude was determined. The deputy lord of Lai's palace came and saw that Yu Saifeng's mask was missing and his tone became bad. Yu Saifeng told him that he had lost it. The head of the Shaoyang school said to the deputy palace lord of Lai's palace, "Please restrain the disciples, except for Shaoyang Peak, no other places are allowed to enter." The deputy palace lord said that he would take Yu Saifeng back to punish them for leaving. The head of Chu, and they were discussing the secret realm. They said that Chu Xuanji was the unintentional person, and they wanted to shut Chu Xuanji in Mingxia cave. Being rejected by the head of Chu, her sister Chu Linglong heard it, and quickly went to tell Chu Xuanji. Chu Xuanji was taken away by her aunt, and Linglong came over and touched the chili noodles in her eyes. The head of Chu knew that they were acting. Chu Xuanji was taken to Mingxia cave. Hearing the crying around, Chu Xuanji felt a little moved. Yu Saifeng was punished by the deputy palace lord for losing his mask. He was beaten with a whip to make his face pale, and spit out blood. Yu Saifeng also participated in the hairpin conference, and the deputy palace lord told him to continue to be punished after returning to the palace. Chu Xuanji was not affected in Mingxia cave, so she found a place to sleep. Chu Xuanji was awakened and there were crying around, and Chu Xuanji fainted while covering her ears. The hall master is listening to the report from the elders of the stars, and they have caught the shark who knows Jun Tian hides. Shaoyang sent his disciples to deliver food to Chu Xuanji, and found Chu Xuanji fainted on the ground and helped him up. Starting to drive Chu Xuanji away from the cold, Chu Xuanji wanted to leave here. Brother Six told him that they were trying to get Chu Xuanji to leave here. When Chu Xuanji started to eat, he actually tasted the food. Senior Brother Six gave Chu Xuanji other food. Senior Brother Six told her that she could go back as long as she could cry. Brother Six went back and told Linglong that Chu Xuanji had resumed her sense of taste. Linglong and the others discovered the way Yu Saifeng left them to make Chu Xuanji cry, and they tried to find materials. The head of Chu is announcing the rules of the hairpin conference and let them start the draw. When Chu Linglong and Senior Brother Six came in, they found out Chu Linglong had to go in, and the two of them were asked to participate in the draw together. Head Chu had no choice but to agree and write their two names on it and draw lots together. When the lottery was over, Chu Xuanji was among them. It turned out to be Chu Linglong and the others. The head of Chu could only agree to let Chu Xuanji out, and Chu Linglong entered Mingxia cave and took Chu Xuanji away. The deputy lord of Lai's palace said to Yu Saifeng, "Saifeng, the reason why we let our disciples wear masks at Lai's palace is to keep outsiders away from us, and to keep our heart." Yu Saifeng told the deputy palace lord that he understood. Yu Saifeng found Chu Xuanji, and Chu Xuanji was very concerned about Yu Saifeng. Yu Saifeng asked Chu Xuanji to take him to the secret realm again, and Chu Xuanji was unwilling to open it because he was afraid of being punished. Subsequently, Chu Xuanji and Yu Saifeng reached an agreement. Brother Six saw Yu Saifeng, put on his shoulders, and was beaten by Yu Saifeng's hand. Chu Xuanji came over and wanted Senior Brother Six to take her to send it. Senior Brother Six was unwilling and left as soon as possible. Chu Xuanji approached Yu Saifeng again and agreed that she was not willing to take her to fly. Head Chu came over and wanted to take her to fly. Hao Chen told the head that he would take Chu Xuanji with him, and Head Chu agreed. Hao Chen flew with Chu Xuanji's royal sword, and Senior Brother Six also secretly brought Linglong down the mountain. The villagers carried out a corpse and jumped off the onlookers. The head of Chu took the first son and walked over, and the mayor said to the head of Chu, "Participate in the immortal Zhang. The young officials are troubled by the evil disaster. All the immortals come to help, thank you very much." Head Chu stepped forward to check the corpse. The mayor said that 5 people had gone up the mountain yesterday and were killed by the monster, and only this one was found. A disciple who came with the head of Chu said, "Judging from this person's wound, it must be the Gu carving on Lutai Mountain doing evil." Chu Xuanji didn't think so, and told his father that this man was like a wound from a dog bite. The head of Chu told her not to talk nonsense, but Yu Saifeng helped Chu Xuanji speak. After reading it carefully, others felt that what Chu Xuanji said was reasonable. When the people around heard that there were other monsters, they were very panicked. The head of Chu calmed their emotions and asked the mayor to take them to meet those who had seen monsters. Chu Xuanji wanted to practice the magic weapon that Senior Brother Haoshen gave him, but Chu Xuanji tried several times without success. Finally succeeded for the 3rd time, Chu Xuanji accidentally teleported to Yu Saifeng's room. Yu Saifeng was taking a bath. Yu Saifeng used a spell to send Chu Xuanji out and closed the door. The hall master's men are torturing the Tongren Tingnu, wanting him to tell the whereabouts of Junshin Sihei. In order to prevent the child from being tortured, Ting Nu had to say away. The head of Chu led someone to find the Gu Eagle, and Chu Xuanji pretended to have a twisted ankle and couldn't move on. Head Chu told them to rest on the spot, and they went to draw out the Gu Eagle. Yu Saifeng discussed with them how to draw the Gu Eagle. Some subordinates notified the demon that a cultivator had broken into Lutai Mountain, and the demon asked all the monsters to immediately withdraw from Lutai Mountain. The mackerel used a spell to make the monster kill him while the demon didn't pay attention, and his subordinates also ran away. The mackerel Tingnu opened the rope that bound him and crawled towards the child in the basin. Treat the children, and let the children inform all the sharks and ask them to leave there as soon as possible. When Yu Saifeng rushed across the clouds, he wrote a few golden characters in the air with his instruments, and then the golden characters escaped into the ground. Suddenly they felt a demon spirit. The Gu Diao came over and fought Yu Saifeng, and Yu Saifeng asked them to leave as soon as possible. On the other side, the head of Chu met the dog bite and wanted to catch it. Chu Xuanji, Yu Saifeng and others came to a cave and found the shark in the water. At this time, the Gu Eagle also chased him. However, the entrance of the cave is too small. Gu Diao will not be able to enter for a while. Gu Eagle came in, and several people were not opponents. Yurin used a spell to freeze the Gu Eagle. Yu Saifeng took the opportunity to kill the Gu Eagle. However, the Gu Eagle was powerful and broke free, crushing Chu Linglong and Yu Saifeng in their claws. Chu Xuanji changed abruptly, saying that he was looking for death, and he would subdue the Gu Eagle with one move. Chu Xuanji lay on the bed, woke up, wanted to eat. Chu Linglong went to get her. Sixth senior brother Minyan asked Chu Xuanji why she was so good in the cave that day. Chu Xuanji didn't know what was going on. Minyan said that there might be someone outside the world to help them. Chu Linglong brought food to Chu Xuanji, and Aunt Chu Xuanji said that this happened. Aunt Chu Xuanji and Hao Chen went to the cave to check again, but found nothing. Yu Saifeng brought trauma medicine to Chu Xuanji. Seeing that Yu Saifeng was also injured, Chu Xuanji gave him medicine. Yu Saifeng said to find Bu carved horns in the cave so that Chu Xuanji could cry. The hall master was furious at letting them go, and asked his subordinates to find him quickly. They noticed Chu Linglong, thinking she was the god of war or the reincarnation of the evil star. Chu Linglong is helping Chu Xuanji return to the Sheiyang school and may be imprisoned in Mingxia cave. Yu Saifeng took Chu Xuanji to eat delicious food, and Chu Xuanji drooled as he watched the food. The shark was healing, and was caught by several people. Yu Saifeng and Chu Xuanji talked about all kinds of feelings and asked Chu Xuanji to eat a variety of foods. Tingnu was caught by the villagers in the town. Yu Saifeng told Chu Xuanji that the people were kind, and Yu Saifeng and Minyan discussed with them to save the people. A few of them will guard the shark, wanting to rescue Tingnu. At this time, the people from Tianshu Hall appeared, trying to deal with Chu Linglong. Yu Saifeng and others rescued the Yurin. The people from Tianshu Hall appeared, trapping Chu Xuanji and Chu Linglong. Yu Saifeng and Minyan were still fighting. The demon wanted to compare the god of war and the demon star, and it was not their reincarnation that started Linglong. Senior brother Haoshan rushed over and started with the devil to help Yu Saifeng, and the others repel the devil. Haoshan asked them where the shark had gone, and Yu Saifeng said that he had been snatched away by the demon. Haoshan was dissatisfied with Yu Saifeng leading the Sheiyang school disciples to save the shaker privately, and Chu Xuanji spoke for Yu Saifeng. Uncle Yinlong took Haoshan to find the traces of the sharks. Yu Saifeng waved his hand and the sharks appeared in front of them. It turned out that this was because Yu Saifeng used their blind eye tricks from Lai's palace. The sharks were not demonized. People snatch it. Yu Saifeng asked them to take the shark into the river, and Chu Xuanji saw that the shark was seriously injured, and gave the shark a medicine. The shark said that they did not know each other in this life, but now we do. They didn't know what the shark meant. The shark jumped into the river and took off a tear. Unexpectedly, Chu Xuanji could cry at this time, and Chu Xuanji would not be imprisoned in Mingxia cave. The man told Chu Xuanji that he wanted to find the 6 senses, so you should find the mirror of myriad tribulations and 8 desolations. You will know everything when you find the mirror of myriad tribulations and 8 desolations. After talking about the shark, he left. In Tianshu Hall, the hall master's men had already reported back that they knew Chu Linglong was not the one they were looking for. Chu Xuanji was hungry again. Yu Saifeng and Minyan went to catch fish for them, and Chu Linglong told Chu Xuanji that they could write the people they like in their notebooks. Hearing what Chu Linglong said, he wrote the 6th brother in the notebook. Yu Saifeng was a little jealous when he saw that Chu Xuanji liked the gifts that senior brother 6 gave her. Chu Xuanji told him that he had figured out a way to retrieve the mask, and Yu Saifeng asked Chu Xuanji not to force it. When Chu Xuanji and others came to Chu's mother, Chu Xuanji cried, and when Chu Xuanji saw that Chu Xuanji was crying, she didn't pursue it anymore and didn't have to go to Mingxia cave. Senior brother Haoshan met Chu Xuanji. He already knew the teardrops of the shaman Chu Xuanji used. He asked if it was true that Chu Xuanji wanted to practice martial arts well. Chu Xuanji said he wanted to protect the people he wanted to protect. Yu Saifeng came to the secret realm again, and Chu Xuanji came again to help him. They entered the secret realm through the magic weapon that senior brother Haoshen gave her. They just discovered the mask and the candle dragon appeared, and they immediately used the magic weapon to leave the secret realm. But only half of the mask was obtained. Chu Xuanji said that it would be fine to find the other half of the mask next time, but the magic weapon in his hand has disappeared and can no longer be used. From Chak Palace Miyaji came before Yu Division, and let the wind go back. Yu Division punished. Chu Xuanji wanted to be punished for Yu Saifeng and questioned the Palace Lord of Lies, who had great opinions on Yu Saifeng. But because of something to discuss, he left temporarily. The head of Chu and the others are analyzing the matter of the Lutai Mountain monster this time, saying that Tianshu Hall wants the spirit key of the 5 factions. But the other doors kept silent about the spirit key and left one after another. Yu Saifeng was kneeling on the ground and Chu Xuanji saw that he wanted to argue with the palace lord, but was stopped by Yu Saifeng saying that he wanted to kneel here to calm the palace lord. The palace lord came back and saw Yu Saifeng kneeling on the ground, and let him enter the room. The palace lord told Yu Saifeng that this hairpin conference must be the leader, so that he could keep him in front of the elders. Yu Saifeng left the palace owner's room. The deputy palace owner got full. Wu Tong also uttered wild words, which was unpleasant. The hairpin conference began and disciples from all disciplines began to take the stage, and the head of Chu began to speak, announcing the start of the hairpin conference. In Yu Saifeng's first game, his opponent was very strong. Yu Saifeng did not use any weapons and easily won. In the second round, Wu Tong sent Lin Feng to Xuanyuan, and Wu Tong had strong spells, but he insulted Lin Feng. Chu Linglong and Zhang Minyan competed against the Dotting disciples, and Chu Xuanji was there to cheer them on. The two parties saluted, and the 4 began to scramble. Chu Linglong was not defeated by a few opponents. Only Zhang Minyan was on the stage against the 2 finishing touchers. Zhang Minyan was powerful and defeated the other 2. Chu Xuanji and Chu Linglong was elated. The hall master of Tianshu Hall reported to him the whereabouts of the spirit key, and the hall master asked his men to start with Xuanyuan faction. The elder Lingxi was angry with the first son and let them go down. At this time, the people of the Tianshu Hall came to the elder Lingxi and told the secrets of the Xuanyuan sect. The Tianshu Hall gave the elder Lingxi and their demon clan Kun Yin Dan, which greatly increased the elder's skills. Chu Xuanji was practicing in the bamboo forest, and Yu Saifeng appeared and asked Chu Xuanji to practice it again and show him. After reading Chu Xuanji's exercises and giving her some suggestions, Chu Xuanji has made progress and accidentally broke Yu Saifeng's purse. Yu Saifeng told her that this was left by his mother. Yu Saifeng grew up in Lai's palace since childhood, and Chu Xuanji also left her when she was very young. Yu Saifeng promised that Chu Xuanji would help her know the mirror of myriad tribulations and desolation. The hairpin conference continued. Xuanyuan school disciple Shi Feng, because of taking the secret medicine of Tianshu Hall, greatly increased his skill and defeated the Dotting school disciple. Elder Lingxi said to his disciples, "Your winning streak today has greatly improved the face of our Xuanyuan sect, which is not bad." Shi Feng told the elder that the internal force in his body was getting more and more out of control. He was worried that the pill that master gave him would cause him to die suddenly. The elder Lingxi told Shi Feng not to tell others about the pill and asked him to go back to rest. The people from Tianshu Hall reappeared and asked Elder Lingxi about the 4 spirit keys. Elder Lingxi hadn't spoken yet, and the people from Tianshu Hall had left. At the hairpin conference, Zhang Minyan competed with Wu Tong, who was the finishing touch. Wu Tong defeated Zhang Minyan with a spell. Chu Xuanji was almost injured and argued with Wu Tong. However, after discussions with several big figures, Wu Tong won. They decided that no spells would be allowed in future competitions. Yu Saifeng told Chu Xuanji to give Wu Tong a bitter taste. The next day, the Sheiyang faction showed a notice stating that Yu Saifeng had lost a snake and wanted everyone to help find it. Yu Saifeng waited in the woods for Wu Tong to hook. Wu Tong wanted to catch the snake when he saw the snake. When the snake was caught by Wu Tong, Yu Saifeng tied Wu Tong with a rope. Wu Tong almost hurt Chu Linglong, and Wu Tong was left there by them. Elder Lingxi was training the first son and was scolded by the elder Lingxi. The Tianshu Hall also found the Lingxi elder. In order for the disciples of the hairpin conference to win, the Lingxi elder told the people in the Tianshu Hall that these 4 spirit keys were among the 4 other sects except the Xuanyuan sect. The people of Tianshu Hall gave the Kun Yin pill to the elder Lingxi, and the elder Lingxi left after getting the pill. Yu Saifeng found that his silver hairpin had been lost and came to the place where Wu Tong was trapped. Wu Tong had already escaped. Seeing them coming, attacked Chu Xuanji and them, but was stopped by Yu Saifeng. Wu Tong took out Yu Saifeng's silver hairpin and asked Yu Saifeng to kneel down and apologize to her and kidnap Chu Xuanji. Yu Saifeng knelt down for Wu Tong for Chu Xuanji. Seeing Wu Tong's carelessness, he knocked Wu Tong down and left with Chu Xuanji. In order to help Yu Saifeng get the silver hairpin, Chu Xuanji wanted to steal the silver hairpin, so Chu Xuanji dressed as a man and entered the bathhouse. Wu Tong stole the silver hairpin and quickly left the bathhouse. Yu Saifeng was looking at his mother's portrait. Chu Xuanji took back Yu Saifeng's silver hairpin and gave it back to Yu Saifeng. Seeing that Chu Xuanji was injured, Yu Saifeng gave her medicine. Yu Saifeng told Chu Xuanji not to have contact with Wu Tong, and knew that Chu Xuanji had entered the male bathhouse and told her not to do this in the future. The first son of Lai's palace entered the room, and Yu Saifeng let Chu Xuanji hide in the bed. Chu Xuanji slept soundly in Yu Saifeng, and Yu Saifeng kept motionless in order to make her sleep comfortable. Yu Saifeng hugged Chu Xuanji and left the room, and escorted her back to his room. Chu Xuanji was covered with a quilt, and the door closed. Yu Saifeng left. The people from the Tianshu Hall came to the Sheoyang School's secret realm. The head of Chu discovered it and rushed to the secret realm, but the people from the Tianshu Hall had already left. At the hairpin conference, Shifeng won again. Yu Saifeng and Wu Tong started the match, and the two hacked and slashed at each other, swords blazing. Wu Tong was not Yu Saifeng's opponent, and was knocked to the ground. Wu Tong was not reconciled, and resorted to a spell. Stopped by the head of Chu, Wu Tong still wants to continue the game. Chu Xuanji and the others were talking about Wu Tong, and Wu Tong furiously attacked Chu Xuanji and the others, thrusting a sword into Chu Xuanji's chest, and Chu Xuanji fell into the lake. Yu Saifeng immediately jumped off the lake to save Chu Xuanji. Wu Tong was chased by the Sheoyang faction for stabbing Chu Xuanji, and several disciples of the Sheoyang faction were killed by Wu Tong. Aunt Chu Xuanji is healing Chu Xuanji, and the disciple reports that Wu Tong has escaped. In order to apologize, the head of the Doding faction decided to withdraw from the hairpin conference, and the 5 factions jointly arrested Wu Tong. Yu Saifeng came to Chu Xuanji's room to help take care of Chu Xuanji. Chu Xuanji held his head in a sudden coma, and was still in pain. Yu Saifeng cast a spell on Chu Xuanji to stabilize his injury. Aunt Chu Xuanji and Haoshen came to check Chu Xuanji's injuries. The deputy palace lord found Yu Saifeng and told him to leave immediately. Yu Saifeng wanted to stay for a few more days, but the deputy palace lord didn't care about him. Chu Xuanji still did not wake up, and Yu Saifeng bid her farewell. Yu Saifeng asked Chu Linglong to give Chu Xuanji a bell with 1,000 miles of sound transmission. Yu Saifeng returned to Lai's palace, and was taken up. The deputy palace lord wanted to take Yu Saifeng to the cell for 13 sentences. The palace lord spoke. Yu Saifeng was the culprit this time, and there was a reason for the incident. It should be another matter. The palace lord spoke for Yu Saifeng, and the others wanted to punish Yu Saifeng if they didn't follow it. Yu Saifeng admitted, and the palace lord told Yu Saifeng to say that he knew he was wrong, so as to help him escape responsibility. The people around wanted Yu Saifeng to enter the 13 precepts, and the lord did not want him to enter the 13 precepts. The palace owner asked Yu Saifeng to be taken to prison, and this matter will be discussed in the future. Yu Saifeng was locked in a riot, and next to him was Big Brother Lu, who he knew. Big Brother Lu told him that he had cleared this cell, and could go out at any time. Brother Lu wanted to know how Yu Saifeng's mask was uncovered. Brother Lu guessed that Yu Saifeng already has someone he likes. Brother Lu asked Yu Saifeng to leave Lai's palace through the secret road he dug. Yu Saifeng was unwilling to be a traitor to Lai's palace. A picture appeared in Chu Xuanji's mind, and suddenly he woke up, and the head of Chu also came. They checked Chu Xuanji's body, and knew that Chu Xuanji had recovered. The head of Chu asked them to take good care of Chu Xuanji. Chu Xuanji wanted to find Yu Saifeng, only to know that Yu Saifeng had left. The second brother Chu Xuanji gave Chu Xuanji a kaleidoscope. Hao Chen told Head Chu that his master wanted to accept Chu Xuanji as a disciple, and Head Chu knew that he was very happy. Chu Xuanji asked about the result of the hairpin conference and knew that Yu Saifeng had given up the game for her, very guilty. The head of Chu found Chu Xuanji. Brother Haoshen told Chu Xuanji that his master wanted to accept her as his apprentice, and Chu Xuanji couldn't believe he would accept her as his apprentice. Hao Chen said to Chu Xuanji, "After you are so talented, you are born without 6 senses, which is not necessarily a disadvantage. As long as you work hard, you will definitely achieve something." Hearing senior brother Haoshen say this, Chu Xuanji told him that he would like to practice together with him before Xuang Peak. Sitting in the cell, Yu Saifeng picked up the sound-transmitting bell, and wanted to talk to Chu Xuanji. But the bell was still in Chu Linglong's hands, and Yu Saifeng asked her what happened to Chu Xuanji and asked her to transmit the voice to Yu Saifeng. Brother Lu heard Yu Saifeng speaking, and knew that the person he liked was Chu Xuanji. Brother Lu asked Saifeng Yu if Chu Xuanji knew he was being punished here. Yu Saifeng said that of course Chu Xuanji knew, and they also agreed to meet again in the future. Brother Lu asked if Yu Saifeng was so confident in breaking the 13 commandments. Yu Saifeng said that he had promised Chu Xuanji to help her find the mirror of myriad tribulations and 8 desolations so that I would not die in the 13 precepts. Brother Lu heard the mirror of myriad tribulations and 8 desolations and asked Yu Saifeng if he could see his past life. Brother Lu told Yu Saifeng that he knew of a fragment of a mirror from 1,000 tribulations and said he found it while digging a tunnel. Yu Saifeng wants to go in and look for the mirror. Chu Xuanji had decided to practice before Xuanfeng, and Chu Linglong was afraid that Chu Xuanji would suffer, so she was unwilling to go. Chu Xuanji told Chu Linglong not to worry about her going to learn her skills. Yu Saifeng searched for the mirror of myriad tribulations and 8 desolations under the water. Chu Xuanji used a bell to transmit the sound to Yu Saifeng. Yu Saifeng did not hold the bell, so he did not hear Chu Xuanji speak to him. Yu Saifeng found a mirror of myriad tribulations and wanted to transmit the sound to Chu Xuanji. Chu Xuanji was already asleep, and they missed it again. Yu Saifeng talked about his daughter Yuer and her mother, and Brother Lu was unhappy when he got of them. For the life of his daughter, he was willing to be punished in Lai's palace. Someone gave Big Brother Lu food. Big Brother Lu discovered that his money bag was a gift from him to his daughter, and grabbed the man and asked him how the money bag came from. The man said that an old man came from the palace just now. He honored me with the money bag and asked me to bring you a letter. When Brother Lu's daughter was scolded, she was beaten up and fell off the cliff accidentally, and she was almost hopeless. When Brother Lu heard this, he wanted to leave Lai's palace's first son blocked him, and Yu Saifeng helped him stop the Lai's palace disciples. Yu Saifeng was caught in front of the palace lord and asked him to enter the 13 precepts. The palace lord was unwilling, and the deputy palace lord took out a black feather order to persecute the palace lord. In order not to embarrass the master, Yu Saifeng handed over the disciple order and was willing to be punished. Chu Xuanji bid farewell to his father and them, and went to practice at Zhuang Peak with Brother Haoshen. Chu Xuanji worshipped Master, and Chu Xuanji became the son of Zhuang Peak. The master told them that he was going to retreat and Shu Yangfeng's affairs would be managed by Brother Haoshen, and Chu Xuanji would also be taught by Haoshen. Senior Brother Haoshen told Chu Xuanji that she was born with the secrets of Zhuang Peak and could become a guardian of the secret realm. Haoshen told Chu Xuanji that he had put his bells and kaleidoscopes in the library. Chu Xuanji wanted to get something back, but Hao Chen refused. Hao Chen gave Chu Xuanji a magic weapon, Qianli umbrella, and asked him to practice well. Yu Saifeng was taken to the 13 Commandments Purgatory Tower, and he walked in alone. Chu Xuanji was late and asked Haoshen to punish him. Senior Brother Haoshen didn't punish her, telling her that if she wanted to eat, she had to chase her with her own sword. Chu Xuanji chased him all night and hadn't caught it. In the evening, Haoshen was reading and asked Chu Xuanji to return to the room to practice. In the Purgatory Tower, Yu Saifeng was lying on the ice and snow with scars. He picked up the bell thinking of Chu Xuanji in his heart. Yu Saifeng crawled towards the exit step by step. Hao Chen asked some disciples who had just practiced to practice the spell. Chu Xuanji wrote the spell on his clothes, and Hao Chen asked Chu Xuanji to work hard. In the Purgatory Tower, Yu Saifeng was about to lose consciousness when he climbed to the entrance with difficulty. Suddenly, he found a figure appeared in the front beam of light. Seeing this figure, Yu Saifeng stood up, his eyes fixed on the figure intently. I don't know what I'm thinking. Yu Saifeng stood up. The figure threw a sword to Yu Saifeng and then fought Yu Saifeng, only to discover that they were actually two identical people. Yu Saifeng was stabbed with a sword by him. He let Yu Saifeng give up. Yu Saifeng remembered his promise to Chu Xuanji and tried his best to defeat him. A mask was floating in the air, and the palace lord and deputy palace lord of lies appeared. The lord of the palace said to Yu Saifeng, Saifeng, you are really my good apprentice. For so many years, few people have been able to learn from the 13 commandments. Retreat. The deputy palace lord asked Yu Saifeng to wear a mask to return to Lai's palace. Yu Saifeng recognized that this was a lover's curse mask, and the person who put it on will be unrelenting in love. Master asked Yu Saifeng to put on a mask as soon as possible. Yu Saifeng was unwilling. He didn't want to be ruthless. The master told him that if he doesn't wear it, he will never get out of the 13 commandments purgatory. Yu Saifeng didn't wear it, saying that he would definitely find a way to get out, and the Lord of Lies palace, and the others left. Chu Xuanji is practicing. Brother Haoshen asked Chu Xuanji to continue practicing. Chu Xuanji was looking at things and wanted to check the mirror of myriad tribulations and 8 desolations. Brother Hao Chen discovered that she should never look at things about the mirror of myriad tribulations and 8 desolations. Chu Xuanji was punished to go to the back mountain to chop bamboo, and Chu Xuanji became more and more interesting. Senior brother Haoshan came to Chu Xuanji's room, trying to touch her memory about the mirror of the horrible tribulations, but because of the mortal dust he did not succeed. He wanted Chu Xuanji to be safe and to survive the disaster smoothly. Brother Haoshan came to Zulin to find Chu Xuanji and asked her not to cut bamboo. He also told Chu Xuanji that the mirror of myriad tribulations and 8 desolations is an evil mirror, which is not good for Chu Xuanji, so Chu Xuanji should not look for the mirror of myriad tribulations and 8 desolations. Chu Xuanji was hungry. Senior brother Haoshan prepared food for her. It turned out that today was her birthday. Yu Saifeng had been trapped in the Purgatory Tower for almost a year, but he still did not go out. Yu Saifeng was lying on the snow, still thinking about how to get out. Chu Xuanji took advantage of senior brother Haoshan to fetch the wine and found the bell to transmit the sound to Yu Saifeng. When Yu Saifeng heard that Chu Xuanji liked the 6th brother Zhang Minyan, the palace lord appeared again at this time and asked Yu Saifeng to put on a mask. Yu Saifeng still didn't want to take it. The palace lord showed him Big Brother Lu, who was caught. If Yu Saifeng didn't wear a mask, he would kill Big Brother Lu. The Lord of Lies palace left, and Yu Saifeng remembered the little things he had with Chu Xuanji. In order to save Big Brother Lu, Yu Saifeng took up the mask and put it on, and walked out of the Purgatory Tower. Yu Saifeng rescued Brother Lu, and Brother Lu's daughter also disappeared. Wooten was besieged by the 5 major factions, was about to die, and was rescued by the people of Tianshu Hall. Zhang Minyan and Chu Linglong are playing chess, and some son finds them and asks them to choose a new son. Chu Xuanji's master left the customs so that Chu Xuanji could go out and practice, and let Chu Xuanji look back at Yangfeng, but reminded Chu Xuanji of her mission. Zhang Min said that they were selecting a disciple, and Chu Xuanji appeared saying that the disciple was a demon, and soon revealed that the demon was beaten, and Chu Xuanji defeated the demon. When Chu Linglong saw her sister coming back, the two of them held each other excitedly. Chu Xuanji asked her sister to take her to eat, and the head of Chu paid much attention to the cultivation of fairy pie. Chu Xuanji found her father, and his father was very satisfied with her progress, and made Chu Xuanji thank Haoshan very much. The head of Chu asked sister Chu Xuanji to go down the mountain to practice, and Chu Xuanji's things from Zhuang Peak were sent back. Chu Xuanji took the bell to transmit the voice to Yu Saifeng, and Brother Lu got the eyes of the sky and returned to Lai's palace. Brother Lu saw the lover's curse mask on Yu Saifeng's face and said that he was dragging Yu Saifeng. Brother Lu said that he must help Yu Saifeng find a way to remove the mask. Brother Lu saw the mask on Yu Saifeng's face and said that he must help him find a way to remove the mask. Yu Saifeng said it was his own choice, and there is nothing wrong with practicing peace of mind. Brother Lu didn't think so much that cultivation was originally suffering, but now it is still ruthless and ruthless, then isn't your life too boring? Brother Lu gave Xiao Yinhua to Yu Saifeng took in Xiao Yinhua and Brother Lu left. Chu Linglong asked if Chu Xuanji was okay, and when she saw Chu Xuanji's bell, she asked how she and Yu Saifeng were. Chu Xuanji said that he had not been in contact with him in the past 4 years, and that Chu Xuanji did not understand the relationship. Chu Xuanji got that they had made an appointment, and they had to go to Shuoyang Mountain to practice together with 4 of them. It must be fun. A disciple found Zhang Minyan and said that Chu Linglong was going to dance with others, and that he was still a male disciple. Zhang Minyan heard that he should go look for them and leave Chu Xuanji alone. Tianshu Hall, his subordinates are reporting to the Hall Master that, except for the Shuoyang sect's Shadow Demon's failure, all other factions have left detailed works. Wooten told the Earth Wolf that he hadn't done things well, which made the Earth Wolf unhappy. The Earth Wolf explained that he just didn't want to expose the strength of Tianshu Hall. Wu Tong suggested to the Hall Master that he could kill the Xiuxian faction without leaving it. Wu Tong applied to the Hall Master to help them obtain the Spirit Key, and brought up the Xuanyuan sect people, saying that he had deceived the Earth Wolf. Wu Tong asked the Xuanyuan sect to tell the location of the Spirit Key, but the Hall Master remained silent. Wu Tong applied to the Hall Master again, and the Hall Master made Wu Tong the Altar Master of the Bu Zhaoshan branch, and could help them obtain the Spirit Key regardless of the cost. Lai's palace, Yu Saifeng paid a visit to the palace lord and others. It turned out that it was Yu Saifeng's mastery, which was appreciated by the palace lord of Lies. The palace owner told them about the experience of going out of the palace and asked them to find out about the monsters in the central plains. Chu Xuanji and the others have to go down the mountain to practice, and Hao Chen is explaining to Chu Xuanji. Chu Xuanji bid farewell to his father and them, and the sword went down the mountain. Chu Xuanji and the 3 met villagers on the way to inquire about Shuoyang Mountain. Minyan asked them that they encountered monsters making trouble. It turned out that they were from Wangxian town. There were monsters in the town a few days ago, so they went to Shuoyang faction. Chu Xuanji and the others decided to help them out of the monster, and the villagers on the way told them about the monster. Chu Xuanji took out a 10,000 monster strategy and guessed the origin of the monster. When their Yujin came to the place where the demon was disturbed, it turned out that it was really Ka Runiao and they chased after him. When he came to a canyon, Chu Linglong saw the darkness and dropped a firefly suddenly came down and flew up like a bird. The three of them cast a spell to resist and fought with thousands of Ka Runiaos. They went underground and Chu Xuanji was accidentally injured and vomited blood. Chu Xuanji pinched the tactics with both hands using a piece of flame to deal with Ka Runiao, but couldn't hold on and fell down. At this time Yu Saifeng rushed to save Chu Xuanji, put Chu Xuanji down, and went to chase Ka Runiao. Came back soon, let Ka Runiao run away. Chu Xuanji was very happy to see Yu Saifeng, but Yu Saifeng was very cold. Yu Saifeng was about to leave, but Chu Xuanji was poisoned. Yu Saifeng did not leave and detoxified her. Chu Linglong and Dianjing Guyanren quarreled. Yu Saifeng detoxified her and wanted to leave. Chu Xuanji left him and explained to him. Yu Saifeng gave him the mirror of 10,000 tribulations and 8 desolations and Chu Xuanji said that he promised brother Haoshen not to look for the mirror of 10,000 tribulations and 8 desolations. When they went out, Ka Runiao chased after him again, and they were trapped inside. Yu Saifeng used the spirit chasing technique, and they found the position of the man who controlled Ka Rubird. Yu Saifeng was moved to Chu Xuanji again, and the lover's curse had an effect. Chu Xuanji wanted to make Yu Saifeng happy and started telling him jokes. Seeing no effect, she used other methods. When Yu Saifeng heard Chu Xuanji talk about the sixth brother, he got of Chu Xuanji and said that she liked the sixth brother. Want to rush Chu Xuanji away. Zhang Minyan, 4 of them went to the cave. Chu asked the man from Chak Exquisite Palace, which deception surgery you from Z Palace of people will do. Ruya said he does not. When secretary you gifted, if not from Palace Master Z forced him, he really didn't know what would happen. Zhang Minyan asked Yu Saifeng what happened. Ruya was about to say that Lu Yanren of Dotting Valley told him not to say anything, saying that he could not tell outsiders about leaving Z Palace. Chu Linglong quarreled with Lu Yanren again. Zhang Minyan told them to stop arguing, and they were about to get there soon. They went to the cave and found a cocoon pupa. The cocoon pupa suddenly broke, and a man with red eyes came out. They fought, and the 4 of them were trapped by a net. Yu Saifeng walked out the door. Chu Xuanji pulled him not to leave. Yu Saifeng said you should be very worried about Zhang Minyan and them. When Chu Xuanji was about to answer, she received the sound transmission and knew that something was wrong with them. Yu Saifeng and Chu Xuanji arrived, and Yu Saifeng asked Chu Xuanji to save the person. She went to deal with the person, but several people were caught accidentally. When Chu Xuanji was in danger, something strange happened to her again, which was different from usual. Chu Xuanji killed Ao Yin, rescued Chu Linglong and the others and fainted. Yu Saifeng proposed to let them pass the situation back to their respective schools. They returned to Wangxian town together, and Yu Saifeng was about to leave. Chu Xuanji woke up and had something to say to Zhang Minyan. Chu Xuanji couldn't remember anything. She had been killing people in her dreams and her hands kept shaking when she spoke. Yu Saifeng and the others were thanked by the villagers, and Chu Linglong wanted to drink with Yu Saifeng, but Yu Saifeng was still cold. Zhang Minyan got that it was the mirror of the myriad tribulations and 8 desolations and wanted to destroy it. Chu Xuanji took out the mirror of myriad tribulations and 8 desolations. Zhang Min said that he wanted to destroy it by casting a spell, but he did not succeed. At this time Lu Yanren cast a spell to make them immobile. Lu Yanren lied to them to come in, and then saw that their actions were misleading. Chu Linglong got that Zhang Minyan was bullying his sister and wanted to do something to him. Chu Xuanji hurriedly stopped her, but she couldn't explain clearly. When Chu Linglong saw the dagger, she misunderstood that Zhang Minyan liked Chu Xuanji again. Lu Yanren also let Yu Saifeng leave. Chu Xuanji caught up and stumbled. Yu Saifeng rushed over to look at her. At first, Ao Yinjin on his body entangled the 2 of them because of the blood of Chu Xuanji. Lu Yanren wanted to separate the 2 of them, but she couldn't solve it no matter what. She also wanted to chop Chu Xuanji's hand with a knife, but Yu Saifeng stopped it. Zhang Minyan found Chu Linglong to explain, but getting more and more complicated, Chu Linglong walked away weeping. Because of Ao Yinjin, Yu Saifeng and the others are temporarily inseparable. They can only live in one room and decide to go to Xuanyuan faction to find a solution. In the room, Chu Xuanji kept saying that he liked Brother Six, which made Yu Saifeng very unhappy. Chu Xuanji was hungry, and Yu Saifeng ordered something delicious for her. Because of inconvenience, Yu Saifeng had to pick her up. After eating and drinking enough, Chu Xuanji began to sleep, but did not fall asleep, and said a lot to Yu Saifeng. She came to Yu Saifeng and wanted to touch his mask, but Yu Saifeng stopped her. Yu Saifeng said that the past will never come back. Why do you like Zhang Minyan? Chu Xuanji replied. She didn't know what Yu Saifeng meant by saying that she got brother 6 was very good. She wanted to be with brother 6, and there was a secret between them. Hearing Chu Xuanji say this, Yu Saifeng was even more sad, and asked Chu Xuanji to stop talking and go to bed as soon as possible. Chu Xuanji returned to the bed and began to sleep. At this time, the lover's curse mask was also making Yu Saifeng anguish, and he calmed down and healed slowly. The elder Ling Shi was looking through the collection, and wanted to make a Kun Yin pill by himself. Finally, he saw the record of Kun Yin pill in one of the books. His apprentice broke in, and was wounded and clutched his chest. Elder Ling Shi hurriedly gave him treatment. The headmaster came in and saw Elder Ling Shi reading the demon and evil pill, and asked him where he got it, which made my Xuanyuan sect disciple look like this. The elder Ling Shi knelt down and said that he was wrong. This was a sinking at the beginning. They said that the Kun Yin Dan could enhance the skill, but they didn't expect that if they didn't continue taking it, there would be a dead end. The headmaster asked who they were, and the elder Ling Shi replied that it was Tianshu Hall that they wanted to get the spirit key. The head was very angry with him. He let the Xuanyuan faction disciples fall into disaster. The head let the elder Ling Shi leave Xuanyuan faction. The head elder asked the head to give him a few days, and the head pushed him away. Said that the Xuanyuan sect disciples had to fight the evil spirits. He let the flute prepare to fight. Zhang Min Yan and Chu Exquisite outside the room, and saw the exquisite Chu came out, and wanted to give her explanation. Chu Linglong ran out. Zhang Minyan hurried to catch up. Chu Linglong saw a child crying in the wilderness. She went to ask what was going on. The little girl told her father was sick, and she came down the mountain to collect medicine. She twisted her foot and couldn't go back. Chu Xuanji was carrying the little girl to go home. Zhang Minyan followed her, but there was no little girl behind her. Zhang Minyan saw Chu Xuanji being carried by the little girl in the air. The little girl slowly became more and more mature. Zhang Minyan went to chase away the demon spirit. At this time, the demon spirit came to catch them with more demon spirits. Zhang Minyan was injured and was taken away by a group of vines. In the room, Yu Saifeng asked Chu Xuanji to get up, and Chu Xuanji said that she was not feeling well, so let's go to Xuanyuanpei tomorrow. Lu Yanren and the others told Yu Saifeng that Zhang Minyan went out this morning and has not come back. Yu Saifeng and the others went to the woods to find Chu Linglong and others. Chu Xuanji saw the sword marks on the wood and knew that Zhang Minyan had left them. They searched separately, and they seemed to have lost their minds in this woods. The demon spirit came out and wanted to catch a few of them, but Chu Xuanji had nothing to do. The demon spirit took Ruya and the others. Chu Xuanji gave Yu Saifeng water with her mouth. Yu Saifeng woke up and was startled and pushed her away. Yu Saifeng took Tizan pill and said that he had always wanted to be with Chu Xuanji. She was the most important person in Yu Saifeng. Yu Saifeng's medicine was over, and he didn't say anything. They met Chu Linglong and told them that they would lose their minds if they got wet in the rain. Yu Saifeng knew the origin of the demon spirit inside. Those demon spirits tempted Zhang Minyan and the others to die. Yu Saifeng and the others saw many dead people in a tree, but fortunately there was no Zhang Minyan for them. Yu Saifeng blew the tune and the mere tree blossomed. They followed Yudi to Zhang Minyan and rescued them. When the demon spirit saw that Yu Saifeng and the others had ruined her good deeds, a group of vines entangled towards them. Yu Saifeng was accidentally entangled into a cocoon by the vines, and Ao Yinjin also loosened. Chu Xuanji said to the demon spirit, "Let go of Yu Saifeng and confront me." Chu Xuanji opened the vine with a palm and rescued Yu Saifeng. The two of them joined hands and ran away the demon spirit. Chu Xuanji trapped the demon spirit with the demon slayer talisman, and brother Lu suddenly came out to make their men show mercy. Yu Saifeng guessed that this demon spirit was his daughter Yuer. Ruya said that this demon spirit had killed many people and should have died. Lu Yishuan protected Yuer and told them that Yuer had killed people because she had been controlled. Yuer suddenly held her head in pain, and then turned into a light and flew away. Chu Xuanji said she could smell it, and they chased it. Seeing that Yuer hadn't brought back the blood fruit, Lingxi wanted to use her to refine medicine. Lu Yishuan and the others hurried to rescue her. They found that this was the elder Lingxi of the Xuanyuan sect. People from Tianshu Hall rushed past and rescued Lingxi, but Zhang Minyan was injured. Zhang Min said that he only cared about Chu Linglong alone, and Chu Linglong was afraid that Chu Xuanji was sad and walked away. Yu Saifeng asked Big Brother Lu that they were all right, and Chu Xuanji also ran over to ask Yu Saifeng why everyone was so sad. Brother Lu said that they were unhappy because of you. They went to find Yuer's Lingxi. Zhang Min said they didn't want to let Yuer go. Yu Saifeng and Chu Xuanji spoke for Yuer. Chu Linglong and the others felt reasonable and decided to let go of the demon spirit Yuer, and Yu Saifeng destroyed the rune that controlled the demon spirit. Yuer thanked him for not killing and left. Lu Yishuan hurriedly pursued it. Yor was very dissatisfied with Lu Yishuan. Lu Yishuan said that he would not let Yor leave him in the future. Chu Xuanji and the others went to the Xuanyuan sect to report the incident. When they went to the Xuanyuan sect, they found that the scene was a bit strange. They found the head of the Xuanyuan sect and told about the Lingxi elder. The head asked them to give gifts to Mrs. Fu Island, and Yu Saifeng and the others left. When Yu Saifeng and the others left, the two people from the Tianshu Hall put their swords on the neck of the head of the Xuanyuan school. Elder Moshi said that the head gave the gift to dispel their worries. The people from the Tianshu Hall let the head be obedient. Only by surrendering the key can Xuanyuan faction be preserved. The head did not listen to them, and would rather die than hand over the key. The people in Tianshu Hall left. Elder Moshi and the others advised the headmaster to hand over the spirit key, and the headmaster would rather die than yield. Yu Saifeng told Lu Yanren not to tell the truth about the matter to Chu Xuanji. It was his own decision to be moved by Chu Xuanji. He felt how easy and happy this moment was. Lu Yishuan came to Yu Saifeng's room and told him that there was a way to solve the love spell. Lu Yishuan told him that day when he ran into Lai's palace to see Yu Saifeng, he heard a dialogue between the palace lord and the deputy palace lord. They had a secret room in Lai's palace, and there was a book in the secret room that recorded the solution. The way the lover spells the mask. And only Chu Xuanji can save Saifeng Yu. The way to solve the lover's curse is that the person he loves only loves himself and has no others in his heart, so you can remove the lover's curse mask. Yu Saifeng hadn't heard of this, saying that Chu Xuanji already belonged to him and was unwilling to force Chu Xuanji. Lu Yishuan said that Chu Xuanji is now in love and does not understand feelings. Chu Xuanji was on the bed thinking of what Lu Yishuan had said to her. At the dinner table, Zhang Minyan told Chu Linglong that the person he liked was only Chu Linglong and that he had no affair with Chu Xuanji. Chu Xuanji also proved to Chu Linglong that he had made a mistake. She liked Zhang Minyan, but it was all a misunderstanding. Chu Xuanji said, "Didn't you tell me before that if you like someone you want to see him every day?" At that time he liked him because senior brother 6 gave her food. She only knew that Chu Linglong and Zhang Minyan were the ones yesterday. Like each other. Chu Xuanji gave Zhang Minyan's dagger to Chu Linglong so that they would not quarrel in the future. Chu Linglong remembered the last time they hugged each other on the bed. Chu Xuanji explained to her that there was a weird power in her body, and they wanted to destroy the mirror. Zhang Minyan resolved the misunderstanding with Chu Linglong and gave her the dagger. Yu Saifeng asked Lu Yanren in the room, knowing that she was responsible for what happened last time, and Yu Saifeng warned her. Lu Yishuan gave Yu Saifeng an idea to chase Chu Xuanji, making her like him. Yu Saifeng accompanies Chu Xuanji for a walk in the yard, and Chu Xuanji took out her book with an important name and showed it to Yu Saifeng. Yu Saifeng was a little bit happy when he saw him there too. Yu Saifeng understood that Chu Xuanji didn't understand love and friendship in her heart, and told her that there was no need to memorize it deliberately. Chu Xuanji said that her 6 senses were incomplete, and she was very contradictory in her heart, and she didn't know whether to find her 6 senses. After Yu Saifeng's enlightenment, Chu Xuanji decided to use the mirror of myriad tribulations and 8 desolations. Yu Saifeng gave her the mirror. Some scenes appeared in Chu Xuanji's mind, and Chu Xuanji could smell it. Yu Saifeng took her to a peach forest, and Chu Xuanji was still smelling Yu Saifeng, saying that he smelled good. Yu Saifeng gave the chef silver and asked him to teach him cooking. When Chu Xuanji saw a large amount of food on the dinner table, Lu Yishuan started directly, and Chu Xuanji and the others began to eat. Yu Saifeng brought a dish and asked them if it was delicious. Yu Saifeng cut off another dish and asked them if it was delicious. They knew that Yu Saifeng made the dishes, so they were relieved that they didn't have to spend money. Chu Xuanji said to Yu Saifeng, "You are so good, so I won't be afraid that I won't have any delicious food with you in the future." Yu Saifeng said, "Because you don't like to eat, so you won't think of Shaoyang's cooking." Lu Yanren also came. Let her taste the meal Yu Saifeng cooked for Chu Xuanji. The two of them would quarrel when they met. Lu said that they had a quarrel and they said that they would take the food back to Yor to have a taste. During this time, she has been ignoring me, and this food might be able to pry her mouth open, said Lu Yishuan, and left with a dish. Yu Saifeng asked Lu Yanren to cook and eat, and they started to eat again. Chu Linglong asked Chu Xuanji that she could smell the smell, and Chu Xuanji said that she refining a fragment of a mirror from 1,000 tribulations yesterday, so she regained her sense of smell. She also said that she figured it out, and will continue to find it from now on 6 senses. Zhang Minyan asked if she was not afraid of falling into the trap of the demon again. Chu Xuanji said she was not afraid. She knew everyone would help her, and they celebrated Chu Xuanji's regaining sense of smell. Lu Yishuan's daughter left a letter, and Lu Yishuan was going to chase her back. When he left, he told Yu Saifeng a fragment of a mirror of tribulations. Chu Xuanji and the others came to Zhongli City. The city was very lively. Chu Linglong and Lu Yanren were noisy along the way. Yu Saifeng found an ant and asked her where she knew where Gaz Mountain was. The person told him that there was only one fairy mountain in Zhongli City where Gao Xinggu lived. He asked about the place of Shinrin Mountain and was going to Shinrin Mountain. Yu Saifeng and the others took out a magic weapon to attack the barrier of Shinrin Mountain. They did not open the barrier with all their strength, and finally decided to go to Zhongli City and wait, because the goddess Gao Shinrin of Shinrin Mountain will be in the world today. They were walking around in Zhongli City. Fang Yifan found Yu Saifeng and the others and said that Gao Xinggu wanted to kill them. Yu Saifeng asked them what was going on. Fang Yifan said that this aunt Gao Xian would choose 4 men to serve in the mountain every year. This year he chose 4 of them. It would be a loss of life to go to the mountain, so he came to ask for help. Fang Yifan also said that Aunt Gao Xian was not a fairy, but a monster, and Chu Xuanji asked how he knew. Fang Yifan explained that he was curious about Gao Xinggu's appearance, so he secretly took a look and found that Gao Xinggu was a demon. Yu Saifeng said that there is a barrier on the mountain. How did the selected people go up? Fang Yuan said that every year the selected person would wait outside the gate, and when the time came, Xinggu would send someone to welcome her. Yu Saifeng promised them to save them, and prepare to pretend to be the chosen men with Minyan tomorrow, and they can go up the mountain to find what they want, killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Yu Saifeng and the others were sitting on the sedan chair and placed outside the mountain gate. The door slowly opened, and several women walked out. They opened the curtain of the sedan chair and let them get off the sedan chair. When Yu Saifeng and the others went down, the woman asked them to change into wedding dresses. They changed into the red wedding clothes, and the Karth Xuanyuan faction was in charge of them, and they were fighting with the people of Tiangshu Hall. Wu Tong appeared and killed 2 Xuanyuan faction disciples. Wu Tong asked him to surrender the spirit key. The headmaster would never hand over the spirit key. He wanted to fight the evil spirits to death. The head was controlled by Wu Tong, and the other Xuanyuan faction did not dare to fight. The rest of the Xuanyuan faction succumbed to Wu Tong's threat. The leader wanted to fight with Wu Tong, but he took Kun Yin Dan and was knocked to the ground by Wu Tong, vomiting blood. Wu Tong asked them where the spirit key was, and if he didn't say that he would die. One of the disciples was afraid and told Wu Tong that he knew where the spirit key was. It turned out to be Shi Fang. Wu Tong asked him to take him to get the spirit key. When they reached the place, they found that the Tianjaizu holding the spirit key was gone. Wu Tong asked him who had been here recently, and Wu Tong told Wu Tong about Yu Saifeng that day. Yu Saifeng and the others were taken to Gao Xinggu. Gao Xinggu was a fox demon who confuses Yu Saifeng and others. Chu Xuanji was a woman, so she didn't get the trick. She wanted to do something with the fox demon, but she was caught. Wanting to kill Chu Xuanji, Yu Saifeng's Yujin blocked it. Gao Xinggu wanted to kill Chu Xuanji, and Yu Saifeng Yujin repelled Gao Xinggu. Gao Xinggu saw that Yu Saifeng and Chu Xuanji were lovers and said they wanted to play a game. She wanted to suck up Yu Saifeng's yang energy and make him his servant, so that Yu Saifeng could completely forget Chu Xuanji. Gao Xinggu threw Chu Xuanji out of the mountains, and Chu Xuanji knocked on the door to get in. The door could not be entered, so she went to other places and looked at the pictures on the wall. Chu Linglong used a bell to transmit to Chu Xuanji, and Chu Xuanji told them that Yu Saifeng had been taken away, and Gao Xinggu was a fox demon for 1,000 years. Chu Linglong asked her where she was, and Chu Xuanji told them that the fox demon's palace was between 2 mountains and there was a stream. Lu Yanren heard her say that there was a stream, and it happened that there was a stream beside them, and they immediately went to rescue them. When Chu Xuanji saw that a stone monkey was also trapped, he opened the iron chain with a magic technique. At this time, a door beside it opened. Yu Saifeng and the others woke up, but they couldn't move. The fox demon looked at the mask on Yu Saifeng's face and knew it was the mask of Lover's Curse. Yu Saifeng said that Aunt Gao Xian was a 1,000-year-old demon, and Aunt Gao Xian was angry, saying that if they were saying she was old they would eat them. Seeing that they didn't eat hard, Gao Xian had to let them taste her tricks. Yu Saifeng and the others were confused by Gao Xian and regarded the people in front of them as their sweethearts. Chu Xuanji walked in the cave, came to a dark river, and unexpectedly met the former shaman pavilion slave. Chu Xuanji told him about the fact that they were caught by the fox demon, and Chu Xuanji asked if Ting Nu had also been caught. Ting Nu said that she had something else to do with him. He said that the purple fox was doing something beyond her ability, and asked Chu Xuanji if she really didn't know. Ting Nu told her that she could only find her real body if she wanted to defeat the purple fox, and Ting Nu asked Chu Xuanji to take him so he could help. Chu Xuanji pushed Ting Nu, and Ting Nu took out a conch and blew it up, trying to draw out the real body of the purple fox. When the agency opened, she found the real body of the purple fox, and Ting Nu asked him to communicate with Gao Xinggu through the real body of the purple fox, and Gao Xinggu temporarily left. Yu Saifeng woke up and called a few of them to wake up. They left quickly, but they kept circling inside, and couldn't get out. Yu Saifeng broke the blindfold and finally left. Ting Nu asked Chu Xuanji to leave as soon as possible, and Zir came. Zir said that he had killed them. Chu Xuanji became angry. The strange power in her body came out again. Zir was not an opponent, and wanted to run away. Chu Xuanji had no mercy and shot the purple fox down. Zir was anxious, saying that she had never killed anyone, but Chu Xuanji was not what she used to be at this time. She raised her hand to kill Zir. At this time Yu Saifeng rushed to her, which made her return to normal. Only then did Chu Xuanji know that Yu Saifeng was not dead, and she didn't know what had happened to her. They tied up the purple fox and Ting Nu spoke for her. Chu Xuanji asked Zir to tell the truth, but Zir did not want to tell. Ting Nu explained to her that she did catch those people to suck their sperm and blood, but in order not to hurt their lives, everyone only sucked a little. Zir said that if it weren't for saving people and guarding the Dingai Taishuo in this mountain, she would not suck human blood. Yu Saifeng asked her what was going on. She was saving her sweetheart. She told them the origin of the spirit key. Tianxia Tang wanted to wake up the evil spirit star and subvert the three realms. Chu Linglong and the others found a mirror of horror and evil behind the painting. Gao Xinggu took them to see the people in Zongliqing. Yu Saifeng and others saw that Gao Xinggu was harmless, so they didn't pursue them. Elder Lingxi's people were brought over and found Tianjaizu on Chu Xuanji. The elder Lingxi told the conspiracy of Tianshu Hall. Yu Saifeng said that they rushed to Fuo Island and informed them to rescue Xuanyuan faction. When they came to the mountain, Zir suddenly asked Chu Xuanji to show her Tianjaizu. Chu Xuanji asked her not to hit Tianjaizu's idea. Zir said, "Don't think I don't know, the Xuanyuan sect spirit key is hidden in your Tianji pearl. I have been looking for it for a long time. Give it to me." Zhang Minyan said, "The spirit key matters a lot, how can it fall into the hands of you monsters?" Zir said that she was different from the demon in Tianshu Hall, she just wanted to rescue Wuziki. Yu Saifeng told her that if she wanted the spirit key, she could exchange it with the mirror. Zir said she didn't know the mirror of myriad tribulations and 8 desolations and asked them to find it by themselves. At this time, Chu Linglong and Lu Yanren came and said that she had seen the mirror of horror. Zir said she wanted the spirit key, and she wanted it too. Suddenly a group of red birds flew towards them and fought with them. The people from Tianshu Hall also came out. 2 of them took out a bunch of tokens. Elder Lingxi saw that it was their Xuanyuan sect disciple token and knew that they were all dead. The people in Tianshu Hall went to fight with them. The purple fox saw a red bird taking away the mirror from the 10,000 tribulations and 8 desolations. She hurried to chase it, and the purple fox attacked and knocked out 3 pieces of the mirror. The red bird took one away, and the purple fox got one and one more. Obtained by Chu Xuanji. Chu Xuanji got the mirror and flashed the picture in her mind. She could see the color. Wu Tong appeared. They knew that Wu Tong had become a member of the Tianshu Hall. Wu Tong asked them to surrender their spirit keys, otherwise they would treat them like Xuanyuan sect people. Wu Tong asked his subordinates to take them down, and the elder Lingxi asked them to go to the side to cover him. Yu Saifeng didn't know what he was going to do. The elder Lingxi flew into the air and let them go quickly. He put his hands together and exploded directly, destroying many of Tianxia Tang's men. Yu Saifeng and Chu Xuanji were also pushed to the cliff by the impact and fell into the lake below the cliff. Inside the lake, some memories appeared in Chu Xuanji's mind. The strange power in Tian's body appeared, but it quickly disappeared. Chu Xuanji woke up, Yu Saifeng was beside him, his face was bleeding, and Chu Xuanji took off his lover's curse mask. Yu Saifeng woke up and asked her if she saw anything else. Chu Xuanji didn't understand, so he took off his clothes and gave him medicine. Yu Saifeng found that his mask was missing, and Chu Xuanji said she had taken off the mask. Yu Saifeng hugged her, very happy because he knew that Chu Xuanji loved him wholeheartedly. Ruia's mask was broken. He said he would go back to receive the punishment. The people in Tianshu Hall were still looking for them. Chu Linglong contacted Chu Xuanji with a sound transmission bell, and Chu Xuanji asked them to leave Gaoshi Mountain as soon as possible. Yu Saifeng asked them to report to Fuan Island first, and Zhang Minyan asked them to be careful. Chu Xuanji saw that Yu Si was badly wounded and went out to find him food. Chu Linglong and Zhang Minyan were surrounded by the people of Tianshu Hall. Chu Linglong was captured by Wu Nu, and the rest were besieging Zhang Minyan. Chu Xuanji met Ding Kun, the sword of her previous life, under the tree, but she didn't know it. Chu Xuanji picked up the fruit for Yu Saifeng, fed it to Yu Saifeng, and asked him if it was delicious. Yu Saifeng said it was delicious. Chu Xuanji tasted one and found it was bitter. Yu Saifeng took out a steamed bun to Chu Xuanji, and Chu Xuanji divided it into half for Yu Saifeng. Yu Saifeng said that he would just eat wild fruits and let Chu Xuanji eat it himself. At night when Chu Xuanji fell asleep, Yu Saifeng took off her coat and put it on her. Then sitting beside her, Chu Xuanji leaned her head on his shoulder. Yu Saifeng took his hand and fell asleep. Chu Linglong was locked up, and Wu Tong woke her up with a bell. Wu Tong asked her to tell him how to contact them, or she would die. Chu Linglong was holding the bell and wanted to destroy it, but Wu Tong pinched her neck. Zhang Minyan was discovered by 2 hunters. Chu Xuanji and the others were still in the cave, and Yu Saifeng looked for an exit. Yu Saifeng said that something should be guarded here. They went to find the mask, but found that the mask was a crying face. Yu Saifeng looked at the lover's curse mask really crying. Yu Saifeng asked Chu Xuanji, "Xuanji, did you really take off this mask?" Chu Xuanji answered him in the affirmative. Yu Saifeng didn't know why this happened. He looked at his arm and found that the curse of the lover's curse was still there. Yu Saifeng was a little panicked. Yu Saifeng told Chu Xuanji not to worry, now the important thing is to get out of here. Chu Xuanji pointed to the sword under the big tree and said, "Saifeng, this is the stick. The last time I touched it, it struck me with lightning." Yu Saifeng attacked the stick, and then said, "This stick should be an eye. I will go up and see if I can break through this world." Yu Saifeng attacked, but he himself fell into it. Chu Xuanji wanted to save him and had to pull the stick with her hand. She pulled the stick out with a harder effort, but a piece of energy appeared to envelop her. Yu Saifeng was very worried and asked her to let it go quickly. At this time some strange images appeared in Chu Xuanji's mind. She was trapped by a group of heavenly soldiers and generals, saying that she had done something wrong. Chu Xuanji slowly lifted into the air, then threw the stick out, called Ding Kun, and then the stick turned into a sword. Chu Xuanji also fainted, and Yu Saifeng went to catch her. Chu Xuanji woke up, but she couldn't remember. Ding Kun's sword turned into a light and entered her body. Yu Saifeng agreed to wait for them to find the fragments of other mirrors, so that they could be clear. Ruya and Lu Yanren found them, and they left this place. If the jade mask was damaged, he planned to return to Lai's palace to be punished and left them. Yu Saifeng confessed to Lu Yanren and asked her to enter the Tianshu Hall to inquire about the whereabouts of the mirror. If there is news, don't do it rashly. Senior brother Haoshen came to the place where Ding Kun's sword was sealed. It turned out that he was Emperor Balin of the Celestial Realm, and the god of war was also caused by him. This time he went down to the world to prevent the god of war from studying the past. He didn't want the god of war to get Ding Kun again, but he didn't expect that she would get it in this life. Chu Linglong was imprisoned by Wuten, and Wuten asked her to kneel down to beg him. Of course Chu Linglong couldn't do that. When Yu Saifeng and Chu Xuanji came to Fuo Island, they found the disciples of Fuo Island and asked to see the owner of Fuo Island. They followed the disciples on the island. Seeing the island owner of Fuo Island, Yu Saifeng told the island owner about the Xuanyuan faction. At first they didn't believe their words. Yu Saifeng said that the Xuanyuan faction leader Tianjizu had been given to them. Chu Xuanji gave the Tianjizu to the owner of Fuo Island, and the owner saw that it was a Tianjizu. Only then did the people on Fuo Island believe them and planned to go to Xuanyuan faction to take a look. Chu Xuanji also said that they were looking for the spirit key in the Tianshu Hall to revive the evil spirit star. The island owners heard that it was the resurrection of the evil spirit, but they didn't believe it, saying that the evil spirit was wiped out thousands of years ago. Yu Saifeng also said that the people in Tianshu Hall did have this ambition. They were working step by step, and the Xuanyuan sect was just the beginning. However, the owner of Fuo Island didn't take the people of Tianshu Hall seriously and asked them to open the Fuo Island sword formation. What else did Chu Xuanji want to say, and was taken by Fuo Island to rest. Chu Xuanji want to go out looking for Zhang Minyan and Chu Exquisite. Atoll chief said he would send someone looking for. When Yu Saifeng saw many red bumps on the island owner's hands, Yu Saifeng and the others were tired, and Yu Saifeng felt that the island owner had been caught. The island owner hosted a banquet for Yu Saifeng and the others. Yu Saifeng took out their wine from Lai's palace. The owner drank and said that the wine was tasteless. The island owner's wife came, and the island owner asked his wife to take a seat quickly. The wife looked at the wine that Yu Saifeng had brought, and the island owner asked her to taste and poured her a glass of wine. The wife said that the wine was much better than the wine on Fuo Island. The wife talked about Xuanyuan faction, but between the lines revealed her disdain for Xuanyuan faction. The people on Fuo Island said to Yu Saifeng, "Shaoxia, Yu Mrs. Yu has something to do. I would like to invite you to her courtyard to discuss something." Yu Saifeng followed him to his wife King Rong's courtyard. Cheng Rong was playing the piano and let the man go down. Yu Saifeng paid a visit to the island owner's wife and asked him what he could do with him. Cheng Rong asked, "Is the piece I just played nice? Why don't you look at me? They all say that I am the #1 beauty in the world." Cheng Rong said that after she drank the wine from Lai's palace, she made it many times, but did not get the taste. "Can you tell me how to make it?" The island owner came, and Cheng Rong suddenly pushed Yu Saifeng away, and then ran to the island owner, and said that Yu Saifeng had a bad heart for her. Cheng Rong asked the island owner to kill Yu Saifeng, but she had no face to live. Yu Saifeng said that she was slandering him. The island owner asked him to shut up, dare to be disrespectful to his wife. The island chief fought Yu Saifeng, and Chu Xuanji stopped him and asked him what he was going to do. The island owner said that Yu Saifeng acted on his wife, and he had to kill him today. Chu Xuanji said that it was absolutely impossible for Yu Saifeng to be like this. The island owner said that he discovered that Yu Saifeng was abnormal during the day, but he didn't expect that he would not put me in this way. Yu Saifeng said that he was unwilling to speak bad words, so please think about it calmly. Owner, you have always been upright, how can you be at the mercy of this matter? Cheng Rong lost his temper to the island owner and left. The island owner hurried to chase after him. Yu Saifeng told Chu Xuanji that the island owner had been poisoned by King Rong. Chu Xuanji told him about his wife King Rong and about the island owner and Zitong-chan. Cheng Rong played the piano for the island owner. A goo insect wanted to harm him, but was caught by the island owner. Yu Saifeng and the others also came. Chu Xuanji asked her why the island owner was so good to you, why did she harm him? The island owner also questioned her, tell me why all this is. Yu Saifeng said, if you guess correctly, you should not be a victim of a cult, but a saint of the cult. There is no way to escape, so I pretend to be pitiful and save my life. The island owner knows the truth, why are you killing him? Seeing them like this, Cheng Rong broke the jar and asked them to kill her. The island owner still loves her. Cheng Rong said that she has returned her flesh and blood, and they are reconciled as before. But I didn't expect Cheng Rong to have an affair with the people around the island owner. Chu Xuanji drank with Yu Saifeng. Yu Saifeng was drunk, and Chu Xuanji wanted to send him back. Yu Saifeng said, you always make my dreams unforgettable and restless, you say what you should do. Chu Xuanji didn't understand what he meant, saying that she often dreamed of Yu Saifeng. The two of them lay in the flower bed. Yu Saifeng said, Xuanji, you have to know that if you take off my mask you will be responsible to me. Chu Xuanji said that of course she was responsible to Yu Saifeng. They came to the marriage stone on Fuo Island and they wanted to try it, but there was no response, and Chu Xuanji pulled him back. The next day, Chu Xuanji brought him sober soup and let him drink it. The deputy lord of Lai's palace, he was very surprised that Yu Saifeng took off the mask and told Yu Saifeng to take off the mask of the lover's curse, so that Lai's palace would not be forced to stay. But to hand over the lover's curse mask, the deputy palace lord asked him to hand it over. Yu Saifeng said that the mask fell into the abyss in Gaoshi Mountain. But the deputy palace lord took out the mask, looking at it with a crying face, and let Yu Saifeng go back and explain it himself. Yu Saifeng asked him to give him some time, and he would figure out what was going on. But the deputy palace lord did not agree, and Yu Saifeng was about to return to Lai's palace, and he said goodbye to Chu Xuanji. Chu Xuanji asked the deputy palace lord to guarantee him that he would not hurt Yu Saifeng. The deputy palace lord said that unless you marry Yu Saifeng, Chu Xuanji said she would. Chu Xuanji smashed the lover's curse mask, and the deputy palace lord also recognized Ding Kun, and the deputy palace lord fought with Chu Xuanji. Senior brother Hao Chen knocked Chu Xuanji out. Several heads were discussing the Xuanyuan sect and Lingshu, but some people doubted that Tianshu Hall wanted to resurrect the evil spirit star. Chu Linglong was still locked up with an iron chain on her hand. Someone brought her food to Chu Linglong. Chu Linglong asked him about Wu Tong, but the person left without answering. When Chu Linglong wanted to eat, Wu Tong came in and took the squeaky chicken to her mouth, saying that it would not harm her. Chu Linglong couldn't help it anymore. After eating, Wu Tong patted the chicken, grabbed a handful of vegetables and stuffed Chu Linglong's mouth. Wu Tong was sleeping on his bed, and Chu Linglong wanted to kill him with an iron chain, but he was found kicked out of the bed. Chu Xuanji was still asleep. Senior brother Hao Shen took Ding Kun out of her body, remembering that the god of war had obtained Ding Kun. Hao Chen tried to determine the connection between Kun and Chu Xuanji but did not succeed. Hao Chen used Shinshu to temporarily suppress Ding Kun's hostility so as not to awaken Chu Xuanji's memory. Si Ming reseals the memory and life pillar of the god of war in the heavens. God Snake Tongue stopped him and asked him where the god of war had gone. Si Ming asked him why he was looking for the god of war. Tongue Snake said he wanted to try the god of war. Test Tongue She said that his guard Ding Kun had been lost, and he was going to find Ding Kun. Si Feng didn't tell him. Tong Shi went elsewhere. When Chu Xuanji woke up, he saw senior brother Hao Shen and asked him if he saw Yu Saifeng and if he knew where Yu Saifeng was. Hao Chen said he was all right. Hao Chen asked Chu Xuanji, "Do you know the promise you made to the master when you left the customs, saying that you will protect the secret realm for a lifetime? How can you say that you want to marry someone else?" Chu Xuanji said that she had taken off Yu Saifeng's mask and that if she was not responsible, Yu Saifeng would be punished. Senior brother Hao Shen said that Lai's palace does not have these rules, and that it is Lai's palace's own business anyway. Hao Chen said to take Chu Xuanji to Lai's palace to explain clearly, and Chu Xuanji said that she could not turn back. Hao Chen asked her again what she was looking for in Gaz Mountain, and Chu Xuanji said that she had gone to Gaz Mountain to find a lot of disasters. Chu Xuanji said that she really wanted to restore her six senses and that she wanted to be the same person as everyone else, and some people said that the mirror of myriad tribulations and 8 desolations is not an evil mirror. Let Chu Hao Chen Sheung Peak Xuanji back to practice, said to have been looking for someone to Zhong Min Yan and the Chu exquisite. Hao Chen wanted to take Chu Xuanji back after the Fu Island matter was over. Chu Xuanji wanted to explain to him, but was sternly called back to the room by senior brother Hao Shen. Chu Xuanji was in the room thinking about what they said, feeling impetuous. Ruya asked from Chak House deputy ruler not to back away from Chak Palace. Vice Miyaji said that since Xuanji Chu Yu secretary for win so hard then we left to try. Hao Chen looked at the lover's curse mask in the room and knew the origin of the mask, but the mask had been lifted, but the lover's curse did not solve his doubts. Chu Xuanji wanted to find Yu Saifeng. The deputy palace lord appeared and wanted to fight with Chu Xuanji, and Yu Saifeng came out to speak for her. The deputy palace lord said that Chu Xuanji was not sincere to Yu Saifeng, let Chu Xuanji kind of heart light. Chu Xuanji planted a heart lamp in the room, but never planted it. She worked hard to transition and fainted. Hao Chen came to her room and was about to leave to find that the heart lamp had actually been planted. Hao Chen took Xinning away, and Yu Saifeng was taunted by the people who were leaving Z Palace. Chu Xuanji woke up and found that there was a heart lamp in the flower pot, so Chu Xuanji took the heart lamp to find the deputy palace lord. Chu Xuanji took it out to show them, and the deputy palace lord asked him to put the heart lamp in Yu Saifeng's hand to prove his sincerity to Yu Saifeng. Chu Xuanji put the heart lamp in Yu Saifeng's hand, but the heart lamp left. Hao Chen came out and told them that Chu Xuanji had only moved her compassion, and Hao Chen took Chu Xuanji away. Chu Xuanji worried about Yu Saifeng, and the deputy palace lord said that this matter would not be pursued. Hao Chen took Chu Xuanji away. Yu Saifeng was extremely lost. Chu Xuanji was practicing the meditation mantra, but he was thinking of Yu Saifeng in his heart. Yu Saifeng came over to talk to Chu Xuanji, set his mind and kissed Chu Xuanji. Chu Xuanji's heart was beating so badly that he stepped away. Yu Saifeng approached Chu Xuanji and gave her a hairpin. Chu Xuanji didn't take it, and ran back. Yuning asked her what was going on. Chu Xuanji told her, and Yuning said that she was tempted by Yu Saifeng. In order to prevent Chu Xuanji from being trapped by love, Hao Chen told her that this was because of the ruthless resolution of the practice road. Let her not think so much. Chu Xuanji returned to the room and lay down to sleep, but in her heart was thinking about Yu Saifeng kissing her today. She suddenly got of what senior brother Hao Shen had said, and quickly forced herself to sleep well, not thinking so much. Lu Yanren secretly stunned a monster and obtained his token. Yu Saifeng was thinking about the matter with Chu Xuanji in the room, looking at the lover's curse in his hand. When Chu Xuanji got up in the morning, a disciple told her that the head of the island master had gone to Xuanyuan faction, and then left. Chu Xuanji met Yu Saifeng, and Yu Saifeng asked if she frightened her yesterday. Chu Xuanji said that they can keep a little distance now, and wait until her heart beats. Hao Chen came over to let Chu Xuanji go back to practice, and then told Yu Saifeng that she should not disturb Chu Xuanji. Yu Saifeng argued with him and left. The head of Chu, the island master of Fu Island and the deputy palace master of Lai's palace opened the barrier of Xuanyuan sect, entered Xuanyuan sect, and found that the disciples of Xuanyuan sect had been killed by the demon of Tianshu Hall. They found the head of pillar, and found that he was still breathing. Several people rescued him. The head of Ju Shi said that he escaped a catastrophe because of Xuanyuan school secret road and treasure protection. The head of Zushi wanted to get the spirit key back. The other head said that the head of Zushi was not healthy yet. If he was discovered by the Tianshu Hall, they were afraid that he would be in danger. Yu Saifeng found Chu Xuanji again, and they wanted to ask about Chu Linglong and Zhang Minyan. Yu Saifeng talked about their affairs with the Tianshu Hall and wanted to ask the head of Zushi, but he didn't get anything. The head of Pillar Shi came to the wild, but became another person, who turned out to be a fake. Chu Xuanji took out what the 6th senior brother gave her before and asked Yuning to do divination for them. Yuning said it was a big murderer, and Chu Xuanji worried. Yuning said that this divination technique was not true. Zhang Minyan was rescued by a hunter and finally woke up. Zhang Minyan wanted to go out to find Chu Linglong. He found that two Shuoyang school disciples had caught Yuer. Zhang Minyan asked what was going on. They got she was from Tianshu Tang. Yuer said that she knew that Chu Linglong was there. She told a group of little demons that there was a place called Tianshu Hall, and then she saw Chu Xuanji had been taken away. Lu Yanren was inquiring about the news in the sub-stage of the Tianshu Hall. She went to see Chu Linglong and wanted to find the mirror. Wooten came over again saying that he was going out to do business, and was coming to see him at night. Wutong went to see the mirror of myriad tribulations and 8 desolations and found clues, and asked Chu Linglong who had been there. Chu Linglong said she didn't know. Wutong was looking in the room, and she had to find Lu Yanren. Chu Linglong took the meal and threw her at Wutong. Wutong took her hand and said that she would come back to serve her at night, and Wutong had left. Lu Yanren go out to see that he put the mirror of myriad tribulations and 8 desolations there. Wutong went to see the hall master and gave him the mirror, but was still slapped by the hall master. Wutong explained to him that the hall master asked Wutong to chop off Chu Linglong's arm, and then handed it to Chu Linglong's father for them to exchange the spirit key. Chu Xuanji wanted to escape but was discovered by Wutong. Wutong took off his clothes and showed her the scar on his chest. Wooten said he was going to kill her father, sister, and lover. Hao Chen knew about the fake pillar, so he took out the pill and asked him to take it. Pillar had no choice but to take it. When Hao Chen saw that he had nothing to do, he left. As soon as Hao Chen left, the wolf vomited blood. They took Chu Linglong over and took out the knife to chop off her arm, but he chopped off another person's arm, took off Chu Linglong's bracelet and sent it to the head of Chu. Chu Linglong was sent into the room again. Wutong asked them who owned the knife. They were silent. Wutong asked people to pull out the people who had recently entered the Tianshu Hall. Zhang Minyan came. Wutong found him and asked people to catch Zhang Minyan. Zhang Minyan was taken away, but Lu Yanren was found. Wutong was about to kill Lu Yanren when Yu Saifeng arrived and rescued her. Yu Saifeng and the others fought with the people in Tianshu Hall. Wutong brought a bunch of people over. Several people were holding something like a trumpet. Wutong said to them, "Just you guys still want to break into my territory? Court death." Wutong asked them to blow their horns and send out waves of sound waves. Yu Saifeng and the others covered their heads, very uncomfortable. At this time, a sword smashed those horns and senior brother Hao Chen came to the Tianshu Hall. Wutong was not senior brother Hao Chen's opponent, so Hao Chen beat him back with a palm. Wutong let his subordinates go up to deal with him. Yuer was accidentally injured. Yuer quickly left, and Chu Xuanji chased him up. Zhang Minyan went to find Chu Linglong, but Chu Linglong was controlled by Wooten. Zhang Minyan wanted to save her, but Wooten was not the opponent of Wooten, and Wooten choked her neck. Yu Saifeng arrived and rescued Chu Linglong, but Wutong took the second brother Chu Xuanji and left. Wooten asked him to bring the second brother back to the main altar, and Yuer followed Wooten to say that he would seek refuge in the Tianshu Hall, but was imprisoned by Wooten. Head Chu and they were treating Chu Linglong, and they found that she was okay. Zhang Minyan fainted. They found that they were poisoned after inspection. They wanted to find 5 kinds of poisonous weeds to detoxify. They prepared medicines for understanding poison, but one of the poisonous weeds has 2 properties. If it is negative, Zhang Minyan will die. They need someone to test the medicine. Chu Xuanji said she would help Zhang Minyan test the medicine, but Yu Saifeng took it directly. Started the medicine and drank it. A lot of sweat broke out on Yu Saifeng. Aunt Chu Xuanji checked him and found that the medicine was positive and could detoxify. Chu Xuanji took Yu Saifeng to rest. Yu Saifeng went to the cold ice pond to see Chu Xuanji. Zhang Minyan had Chu Linglong in his mind and Chu Xuanji was going to take care of him. Zhang Minyan got Chu Xuanji was Chu Linglong and Chu Xuanji comforted him and said that when he gets better, he will let his father let them marry. Yu Saifeng didn't know the situation and was heartbroken when he heard Chu Xuanji say this. Yu Saifeng turned and left, walking desperately, thinking about the past, thinking that Chu Xuanji didn't like him. Yu Saifeng was hurt by love. His lover curse broke out, and Yu Saifeng lay on the ground. Lu Yanren discovered that the UC-style mantra had occurred, and he treated him with exercises, but it did not get better. Yu Saifeng took back Lu Yanren who wanted to kill Chu Xuanji. Chu Xuanji saw him, and wanted to chase him. Yu Saifeng returned to the room, closed the door, and Yu Saifeng fainted. Chu Xuanji found Yu Saifeng to give him medicine. Yu Saifeng said that Zhang Minyan and Chu Linglong had turned their heads into peace, and it was time for him to return to Lai's palace. Chu Xuanji heard that Yu Saifeng said that he was going back to Lai's palace, and was very worried about him. She also said that she didn't want Yu Saifeng to leave, hugged Yu Saifeng, and gave him a kiss. Yu Ning came to Yu Saifeng's room to exchange flowers for him, and Yu Saifeng asked Chu Xuanji to go back. Chu Xuanji returned to the room and told Chu Linglong, who was still unconscious, that Yu Saifeng had driven her out. Chu Xuanji said that she was a little angry in her heart, but she didn't know why she was angry. Chu Linglong opened her eyes, but did not speak. Chu Xuanji became anxious and quickly went to find someone else. Chu Xuanji found Yu Saifeng and told him that something was wrong with Chu Linglong, and Yu Saifeng went to Chu Linglong's room. After checking, senior brother Hushan told them that Chu Linglong had been taken away from her soul, and now she only had a fetus in her body, so it was like this. The head of Chu said that there was any danger, and Yu Saifeng said that there was no danger right now, but Chu Linglong would not be able to hold it if he couldn't return the soul within a month. Chu Xuanji knew that Wooten did it, so she wanted to find Wooten, but was stopped by the head of Chu. They all advised Chu Xuanji not to be impulsive. The head of Chu said that Wu Tong had taken Chu Linglong's soul, indicating that there was another picture. Aunt Chu Xuanji saw that Chu Linglong's hand had been tugging. She opened her palm and the light flew out of Chu Linglong's hand and then revealed one hand for the spirit spoon, the other hand for the soul. The head of Chu is very entangled. Yu Saifeng comforts Chu Xuanji and will rescue Chu Linglong with him. Chu Linglong was lying on the bed, and the head of Chu was very worried. The head of Chu Shi found the head of Chu Linglong and said that he had heard about Chu Linglong. He said that he was willing to exchange the spirit key of the Xuanyuan faction for Chu Linglong's soul, and the head of Chu was grateful. The head of Chu Shi said that he would go to see the owner of the Eastern Island now, and get the spirit key to save Chu Linglong. The head of Chu said that he felt that this matter was not appropriate. This key is related to the safety of the people of the world, and it should not be because Chu Linglong is alone to ignore the safety of the people of the world. This matter still needs to convene the heads of the 5 factions to discuss together, and there is a strategy for both. When the head of Chu Shi saw that head of Chu said this, he could only agree. The persons in charge of the 5 factions are discussing, and the deputy palace lord said that there is a way the Xuanyuan faction's Tianjaizu is ingenious. If you make a fake key, you can exchange it for Chu Linglong. The head of Zashi said that of course he was willing to exchange Tianjaizu for the daughter of the head of Chu, but he said that his body had not recovered yet, and he could not use the secret method of unlocking Tianjaizu. The deputy palace lord of Lai's palace said that there were no other schools in the Sheoyang school secret realm. They wanted to know, and they worked together to protect the spirit key. To show his sincerity, the head of Chu told them the secrets of the Sheoyang school. Thousands of years ago, the heart and soul of the evil spirit star did not perish, but was sealed in the glaze lamp in the secret realm of the Sheoyang school. They bother the valley master of dotting the valley to crack the Tianjaizu, and the Gu said he will definitely crack the Tianjaizu tomorrow. The master of dotting valley was cracking the Tianji pearl, took out the spirit key, and then put in the fake spirit key. They were going to the Tianshu Hall to exchange for Chu Linglong's soul, and Chu Xuanji went after Yu Saifeng. A demon attacked Fuo Island, and Yu Ning opened the sword net of Fuo Island, but still let the demon from the Tianshu Hall break in. The disciples on Fuo Island fought with them, and the head of Chu and them also arrived. Another group of monsters attacked Fuo Island. The owner of Fuo Island wanted to help them, but King Rong rushed over. The owner gave her a token of the owner of Fuo Island. The island owner went to the formation to stabilize the formation, but was stopped by the Tianshu Hall, and the formation was about to be broken. Yu Saifeng rushed to restore the formation. However, under the attack of Tianshu Hall, Yu Saifeng couldn't hold on anymore, and Chu Xuanji used her body's strength to smash the demon away. Chu Xuanji told Daddy that there were monsters on this island, and he pointed out a direction. The island owner knew it was the treasure pavilion. Qing Rong stunned Yu Ning, and went to the treasure pavilion. Qing Rong and Earth Wolf took the spirit key from the treasure pavilion and left. The island owner and the others rushed over. They had already left. The island owner found that the spirit key had been taken, and they blocked King Rong and the others. The head of Chu and the others are not the opponents of the wolf. They were injured. Yu Saifeng and Chu Xuanji teamed up to defeat the wolf. The owner of the island was about to kill the wolf. King Rong stood in front of the wolf. The wolf took the opportunity to take King Rong away. The island owner interrogated the little demon they had caught, and knew that Tianshu Hall wanted to rescue Wazaki, because he had Junshin Heiki in his body that could revive the evil spirit star. Only then did several heads realize that Tianshu Hall wanted to resurrect the demon evil star. They were discussing the affairs of Tianshu Hall. They had already obtained the spirit keys of Xuanyuan sect and Fuo Island, and they must beware. The deputy palace lord asked them what they should do now, and the head of Chu said that he had sent someone to search the whereabouts of the Earth Wolf, hoping to find the location of the Tianshu Hall. The head of Chu urged Dian Jingnu and Li Zugong to be extremely careful and never let the monster succeed. The Earth Wolf is healing. He was injured, but he got the blood of the head of Chu. The earth wolf put the blood of the head of Chu in his hand into the jade bottle. Yu Saifeng found Lu Yanren and wanted to know the whereabouts of Chu Linglong's soul. Lu Yanren was very anxious that Yu Saifeng was taking such an adventure for Chu Xuanji. Yu Saifeng said that it was because of this that he knew that Chu Xuanji was anxious. Yu Saifeng asked Lu Yanren to give him the ring she got from Tianshu Hall. Yu Saifeng found the little demon who had deceived that he was from Tianshu Hall and then asked him a few questions, and suddenly a few flew over. Poisonous needle, the little demon got a needle in the neck. Chu Xuanji was locked in the room by his father. Chu Xuanji took out Dinkan and finally broke the barrier. As he was about to go out, senior brother Hao Chen told Chu Xuanji not to be arrogant, but to understand that the world is the most important. Chu Xuanji said she couldn't do it, only Chu Linglong grew up with her. When Hao Chen saw that Chu Xuanji was doing this, he said that he would take Chu Xuanji back to the Sheiyang faction. Chu Xuanji was unwilling, and was trapped by Hao Shen's spell. Yu Saifeng came over and said that Hao Shen could not take him back because Chu Xuanji didn't want to go back. Yu Saifeng fought with Hao Shen, and Lu Yanren also came out to help Yu Saifeng. Aunt Chu Xuanji came over and said that Zhang Minyan was awake, and they stopped. Chu Xuanji went to see Zhang Minyan, but Hao Chen left Lu Yanren. Zhang Minyan looked at Chu Linglong like this, very sad, but Chu Linglong did not respond. Zhang Min said that they wanted to find the Tianshu Hall. The head of Chu stopped him, and Lu Yanren was caught by them. Yu Saifeng said it was his spirit beast, and he had never harmed anyone. They asked Yu Saifeng to release Xiao Yanhua, but Yu Saifeng did not agree. The demon in the dungeon died. They went to see. Hao Chen found blood stains on Yu Saifeng's clothes. Yu Saifeng explained that he had indeed been there, but wanted to entice the demon to tell the whereabouts of Wu Teng, and then someone attacked the demon. The thing on my body is to block the hidden weapon. Yu Saifeng said to give him some time, he must find the demon. None of them agreed, believing that Yu Saifeng was just trying to hide Xiao Yanhua. They caught Yu Saifeng. Chu Xuanji wanted Hao Shen's help, but Hao Shen was unwilling, so he was not allowed to plead for Yu Saifeng. Wu Tong found Canna, who was going through the catastrophe, helped her through the calamity, and then made Canna into Chu Linglong's appearance. Wu Tong put Chu Xuanji's soul into her body, but only half of the soul went in. Chu Xuanji was looking for the demon on the island. Zhang Min said that the demon was Xiao Yanhua. Chu Xuanji said why Zhang Minyan didn't believe in Yu Saifeng, he was as worried about Chu Linglong as we are. Zhang Minyan said that he didn't know what to do now, only that Xiao Yanhua was the only clue. Zhang Min said that he heard from his master that Yu Saifeng had already been tortured, but he was still stubborn, and asking for trouble. When Chu Xuanji heard Zhang Minyan say this, she was very worried about Yu Saifeng, pushed Zhang Minyan away and left. In the dungeon, Yu Saifeng was tied by an iron chain. The island owner of Fuo Island was torturing Yu Saifeng. Yu Saifeng was dying. The island owner asked Yu Saifeng where the stronghold of Tianshu Hall was and where King Grong had been taken by the Earth Wolf. Yu Saifeng said that he was not the demon clan of Tianshu Hall at all. If he really worked for Tianshu Hall, why would it be better to take away the Fuo Island spirit key with her after breaking the matter of Madame Gu? Yu Saifeng asked him to think about it. All kinds of coincidences pointed to him, why didn't he take the Tianjizi directly? The island owner said that he had believed in King Grong and Oolong, but now he knows that credulity in others is the biggest mistake he has committed in his life. The island owner executed Yu Saifeng again, and Yu Saifeng said that he was indeed not the demon of Tianshu Hall. The island owner wanted to kill Yu Saifeng. The head of Chu and the others came and asked him why he didn't try it together. The head of Chu was afraid of hurting innocent people, but others disagreed, saying that severe punishments could make him speak out. Yu Saifeng said that he had truthfully told the truth, and the master of Gugu had tortured Yu Saifeng. Chu Xuanji wanted to enter the dungeon, but Zhang Minyan was dragged away. Head Chu asked him to release the spirit beast and give them an explanation. Yu Saifeng said that you didn't believe in the conspiracy of Tianshu Hall at the time, and each had ghosts. Now it is impossible for you to want me to come back. Yu Saifeng didn't take the blame, and the Lord of the Valley continued to torture Yu Saifeng. Canna Linglong changed into a new dress in front of Wu Teng and asked him if he liked it. Linglong said that if he didn't like it, she wouldn't dress like that. Wu Teng doesn't like her, saying that this is not what she should be. You are so proud. As long as there are things you can't see, you will provoke. From the first time I saw you under the Sheiyang school, that's it, your bad temper makes people angry. Linglong didn't know what he was talking about. He wanted to let Linglong slap him. Linglong slapped him over, and he smiled happily. Chu Xuanji wanted to break the seal of Brother Hao Shen in the room, but Zhang Min said that she couldn't break it at all. Chu Xuanji said that she couldn't help Yu Saifeng at all. Zhang Min said that he had obtained master's consent and could go to the dungeon to take a look at Yu Saifeng. Wu Tong went to see the hall master, and the hall master shot Wu Tong directly. Wu Tong said that he helped the wolf to get 2 spirit keys, and he didn't know why he was punished. The hall master said that he did have merit in the battle on Fuo Island, but the merits could not be offset. How many demon army was lost by attacking Fuo Island? Wu Tong said that the Zhuxian school had also suffered heavy losses. Isn't the purpose of the hall master to destroy the 5 major schools? The hall master said that the spirit key matters were all taken care of by the Earth Wolf, so that Wu Tong was not allowed to interfere, and he had no right to mobilize the demon army of the Tianshu Hall. Zhang Minyan went to see Yu Saifeng. Zhang Minyan fed him water, and asked him if he really wanted to ignore his friends and himself for that Lu Yanren. Yu Saifeng said that Lu Yanren was definitely her false name, but as she walked along the way, the common tribulations were true. Zhang Min said that he is a demon, which is fundamentally different. Zhang Minyan told Yu Saifeng that Chu Xuanji was desperately trying to save him now. Yu Saifeng asked him to tell Chu Xuanji that he had nothing to do and would be released in the future. Chu Xuanji came to the dungeon and was blocked. Zhang Minyan came out and told him that Yu Saifeng was fine. But Chu Xuanji found that there was blood on Zhang Minyan and wanted to rush in, but Hao Chen stopped it. Hao Chen destroyed Yu Saifeng again, but Chu Xuanji didn't believe it, saying that the Yu Saifeng he knew was not what he said. Seeing that Chu Xuanji would not listen, Hao Chen went to the dungeon and asked Yu Saifeng what his purpose was, and said that Yu Saifeng bewitched Chu Xuanji to search for the 6 senses. Yu Saifeng said that Chu Xuanji's life should be decided by herself, and Hao Shen gave Yu Saifeng a palm and then left. Chu Xuanji asked his father to let Yu Saifeng go, but his father told him that it was impossible to let him go. Chu Xuanji said that the Zhuxian school was ruthless and unjust, so that the head of Chu was angry and gave Chu Xuanji a slap. Cheng Rong was arrested back and identified Yu Saifeng as a member of the monster race. Chu Xuanji wanted to ask questions, but was knocked out by the head of Chu. In front of several heads, Cheng Rong said that Yu Saifeng was a member of Tianshu Hall. Cheng Rong was no longer reasonable. They took Yu Saifeng down to prepare for interrogation. Ji Linglong took the second brother away to become a slave. The master of Dotting Valley took out their divine weapon to hit the demon whip and decided to let senior brother Hao Shen use the demon whip. Chu Xuanji and the others heard that they were going to use the demon whip. People pretending to be Fuo Island broke into the dungeon, stunned the guards, and found Yu Saifeng. Yu Saifeng asked Chu Xuanji if she believed him, and Chu Xuanji said that of course she believed him. There must be other reasons why Shaolin spent money at Tianshu Tang. Yu Saifeng told Chu Xuanji that he asked Xiao Yinhua to go to the Tianshu Hall to find the mirror of the myriad tribulations and 8 desolations. He wanted to know the whereabouts of the mirror and wanted Chu Xuanji to restore his 6 senses. This was an agreement between them. If he tell them, they will know the uncontrollable power in Chu Xuanji's body. Chu Xuanji took Yu Saifeng away and was surrounded by them. The head of Chu asked Chu Xuanji to put down the sword, and Chu Xuanji said that if they had to wrong Saifeng Yu, she would give them her life. Chu Xuanji said that doing things is not worth it, only reluctantly. Yu Saifeng asked her to hand out the sword, saying that he could endure the 3 flogging demon whips, and they locked up Yu Saifeng. On the Fuo Island Square, Yu Saifeng was chained by them. Hao Chen stepped onto the stage and said that the monsters were rampant recently and killed my immortal disciples, but the monsters were cunning, and it was difficult to distinguish the form of a cultivated man. Today, there is a disciple of Lai's palace, Yu Saifeng, who colluded with the demon clan of Tianshu Hall and should be killed. However, the Immortal Gate has always used reason to convince people. Today, he can verify his body by hitting the demon whip. If Yu Saifeng can endure the demon whip 3 times, it will be fine. Hao Chen invited the demon whip, and he had to act on Yu Saifeng. Chu Xuanji stopped Hao Chen and said that Yu Saifeng was not a monster and he could not be beaten with monsters. Hao Chen said that Yu Saifeng sent monster beasts to kill the immortal disciples in the Tianshu Hall. Today it was just to verify Yu Saifeng's true body, and nothing else needs to be said. Chu Xuanji said that Yu Saifeng sent Xiao Yinhua to the Tianshu Hall to help her get the mirror of myriad tribulations and 8 desolations and to help her restore her 6 senses. He had nothing to do with the Tianshu Hall. Hao Chen didn't listen to Chu Xuanji's explanation. After the 3 demon whips were beaten, they would know, and they controlled Chu Xuanji. Hao Chen beat Yu Saifeng with a demon. Yu Saifeng fell on the ground and vomited blood. Chu Xuanji was very anxious. Hao Chen asked Yu Saifeng if he was a demon. Yu Saifeng did not answer him. He got up the second episode of beating the demon and whiplash was on Yu Saifeng's body. Someone pleaded with Yu Saifeng, but the other leaders did not agree. The power in Chu Xuanji appeared again. When Hao Shen hit the 3rd whip, Chu Xuanji's imperial envoy Ding Kun blocked the demon whip, and Chu Xuanji forced Hao Shen back. She did not allow them to hurt Yu Saifeng, and the eyeball the demon whip was destroyed by Chu Xuanji. Chu Xuanji also knelt on the stage and then fainted. Zhang Minyan said that they took Chu Xuanji away, and the master of the valley said that it was destroyed by the demon whip, and he still wanted to torture Yu Saifeng. Guju was about to act on Yu Saifeng. Yu Saifeng's master, the palace lord of Li's palace, appeared and rescued Yu Saifeng. The palace lord asked Ruya to take Yu Saifeng away, and Ruya took Yu Saifeng away. Hao Chen said that Yu Saifeng was suspected of colluding with the demon clan. The palace lord threw a demon and said that the demon was using a hidden weapon to escape, but he ran into him on the island. Aunt Chu Xuanji went to check the little demon and said that there was indeed residual venom on the demon. Hao Chen also said that even though Yu Saifeng had nothing to do with the little demon, the evidence that he sent the little demon to kill the immortal disciple in the Tianshu Hall was conclusive. The palace lord asked his subordinates to bring up a person, saying that this was what they said was the slain disciple. Zhang Minyan was also very puzzled. He saw that this person was already dead. It turned out that Xiao Yanhua used the Li's palace secret technique to wound him into a suspended animation, and then he avoided the Tianshu Hall and survived. The palace lord asked them who had identified his apprentice as a demon, but none of them spoke. The palace owner tortured Cheng Rong and asked her where the demon in Tianshu Hall was. Cheng Rong said that she was in Zhaoshan. The lord of Li's palace led people away. The palace owner found the deputy palace owner and asked him why he wanted them to torture Yu Saifeng. The palace owner warned him. Yu Saifeng was still asleep. Zhang Minyan asked him if he was better. Zhang Minyan apologized to him, saying that he had misunderstood him before. Zhang Minyan told Yu Saifeng that Chu Xuanji was unique to him. Hao Shen said to the head of Chu that he wanted to make a sentimental decision with Chu Xuanji to return to Zhuang Fengxia, and he was willing to become a cultivator with Chu Xuanji, and the head of Chu said that he also wanted to promote their relationship. Chu Xuanji went to see Yu Saifeng. Yu Saifeng said something Zhang Minyan told him, and Chu Xuanji said that Yu Saifeng was very precious in her heart. Yu Saifeng said she would teach her to fall in love with him slowly, and Chu Xuanji said that as long as Yu Saifeng taught her, she would like to learn. Elder Constellation found Wuten, and the Hall Master needed Wuten to find someone with an open eye. This message was Lu Yixuan, and Wuten had to look for the others. Linglong was calling the second brother, and the second brother committed suicide with their sword. Wuten told Linglong that he was looking for someone named Lu Yixuan, and Lingling told him that the father of a little demon in the dungeon was Lu Yixuan. Hao Chen returned to Xuang Peak and told Master about the latest events. The master said that passing the Dao Yuking Ju to him meant that Hao Chen and Chu Xuanji could practice together. Hao Chen asked Master to propose marriage and betroth to marriage with Chu Xuanji. Yu Saifeng was teaching Chu Xuanji some things, and other men could not hug her. Lu Yanren held the rice fruit that Chu Xuanji gave her, feeling glum. When he accidentally bumped into Ruya, he was about to leave, remembering that Yu Saifeng said he wanted to thank the people who helped her, so he gave the rice fruit to Ruya. Ruya looked at Mi Guozi in the room, thinking about her previous desire for her sister. His sister was controlled by the deputy palace lord. Zhang Minyan was feeding Chu Linglong soup, but she couldn't drink it at all. Yu Saifeng came in and told them that it was because the soul was separated from the body for too long. Chu Xuanji and the others knew the seriousness of the matter and wanted to go to Buzaoshan to rescue Chu Linglong's soul immediately. But they didn't know the place of Fuzhou Mountain. Yu Saifeng said that he might find it if he kept looking westward. They were about to leave when the head of Chu came out. They were not allowed to leave. The lord of Li's palace also came out and gave Yu Saifeng a lesson, not wanting him to be with Chu Xuanji and the others. The palace lord took Yu Saifeng back and said that they were not allowed to be together in the future. Master Chu Xuanji asked Hao Shen's position in her heart, and Chu Xuanji said it was naturally very important. Hao Shen said she would marry Chu Xuanji as his wife, but Chu Xuanji disagreed, saying that she could not marry Hao Shen. The head of Chu said to lock up Chu Xuanji and prevent her from going out of Sheoyang. The lord of Li's palace was teaching Yu Saifeng, and Yu Saifeng said that he had given his heart to Chu Xuanji. The palace owner said that if Chu Xuanji knew the true identity of Yu Saifeng, would she still believe you? Yu Saifeng said that Chu Xuanji was different, and she would not harm him. The palace lord said that since Yu Saifeng wanted to go his own way, he would ignore him. If Yu Saifeng died, he would die a little bit further. After they beat him or kill him, the palace lord would not care. Chu Xuanji wanted to go out to see Yu Saifeng, but the disciples outside did not agree. Lu Yanren suddenly appeared in her room. Lu Yanren asked if she had to go to Wu Zhaoshan, and then handed her the invisibility talisman, the puppet talisman, and asked her to follow her plan. Lu Yixuan was chasing Yuer and finally caught up. Suddenly Wu Tong surrounded Lu Yixuan and Wu Tong took Lu Yixuan into the Tianshu Hall. The hall master of the Tianshu Hall appeared, and the hall master said that he wanted to ask him a question whether the god of heaven was Chu Xuanji or not. Lu Yixuan said that he didn't know, and the chief of the hall did something to Yor. Lu Yishuan opened his eyes. Chu Xuanji was indeed the god of war, and the hall master asked them to take Lu Yishuan. Zhang Minyan went to Chu Xuanji's room and said to see her, and they started to follow the plan. When the disciples found something was wrong, they went in and found that it was fake. They told them to head Chu, and soon someone was looking for them. Ruya found them and wanted to save Chu Linglong together. Yu Saifeng agreed, and they decided to leave together. The purple fox came to Fuo Island but was blocked by the barrier. Hao Chen found them and stopped them, and the head of Chu also came, but found that they were all fake. It turned out that Zero rescued them. Zero wanted the spirit key. Lu Yanren told Zero that the spirit key had been taken away by the people of Tianshu Hall. Zero knew the place of Bu Zhaoshan and said to take them along. But first find Ting Nu, he knows the place of Zhaoshan. They decided to rescue Ting Nu first, and then went to Bu Zhaoshan to rescue Chu Linglong together. Head Chu and they wanted to find Chu Xuanji and the others, and Hao Chen said he could find their whereabouts. Wu Tong went to see the hall master, and the hall master asked Wu Tong to send Lu Yishuan and his daughter to the entrance of Bozao Mountain tomorrow. Wu Tong didn't bring anyone over, saying that the hall master didn't want to kill the Xiuxian faction. Wu Tan wants to make a deal with the hall master. He wants to control the demon soldiers of the Tianshu Hall, and he goes to destroy the 5 major factions. The hall master wanted to do something to Wu Tong, but Wu Tong took out the flying dragon seal. The hall master was restricted and the mask on his face also fell off. It turned out to be the deputy master of Lai's palace. The hall master agreed, and Wu Tong said that he could help him. Chu Xuanji and the others are looking for Ting Nu. It is getting late, they are ready to rest. Wazaki trapped the purple fox in the vineyard, and the two of them stayed for hundreds of years without knowing it. The purple fox drew for 500 years of cultivation, and turned into a beautiful woman. The purple fox woke Wazaki, but Wazaki did not recognize the purple fox. But Wazaki said that the purple fox is still beautiful and fluffy. At that time, a friend of the Asura clan asked him to be the left envoy of the demon realm. Wazaki was captured by the heaven realm and trapped by the heaven realm. Zero said that she must rescue Wazaki, and Chu Xuanji said that their relationship is much better than the relationship between the Eastern Island owner and Cheng Rong. Chu Xuanji wanted to know what was the relationship between the god of war in the mirror of myriad tribulations and 8 desolations and her. Chu Xuanji and the others started on the road, and the purple fox was still looking for the whereabouts of Ting Nu. Ruya said that Lu Yishuan had opened the eyes of the sky, and he could find Ting's slave. But Zir didn't know Lu Yishuan or the smell of him. Yu Saifeng remembered what Lu Yishuan had left, and let the purple fox smell it. They found Lu Yishuan, they asked Yor, and told Lu Yishuan that he wanted to stay in Tianshu Hall. Yu Saifeng said that it was a matter of business and wanted Lu Yishuan to open his eyes to search for Ting Nu's whereabouts, but Lu Yishuan said that he had opened his eyes a few days ago and could not open it for a short time. Lu Yishuan asked them to stay with him for a few days first, and then he tried to find the whereabouts of Ting Nu. Lu Yishuan was kidnapped by Wu Tan because of Yor. Wu Tan asked Lu Yishuan to do one thing: take the mirror of myriad tribulations and 8 desolations, let Chu Xuanji take a photo and stimulate the power of God of war in Chu Xuanji. Lu Yishuan didn't want to agree, but Wu Tong tortured Yor, and Lu Yishuan agreed. The people in Tianshu Hall let Lu Yishuan act quickly. Lu Yishuan called Yu Saifeng and the others, saying that he felt the position of Ting Nu. Lu Yishuan took them to Guanting Yu's place. Yu Saifeng felt something was wrong, and they went in. The purple fox found Ting Yu's spirit beast Denkang, and Denkang told them that Ting Nu was locked in a secret room, and wanted to take them to find Ting Nu. When they came to a room, Lu Yishuan stepped on the formation secretly and was trapped. Yu Saifeng, Chu Xuanji, and the purple fox found the imprisoned Ting slave. Ting slave was trapped by a mirror of 1,000 calamities and 8 desolations. At this time, the mirror of Chu Xuanji and them merged with the mirror of 1,000 calamities and 8 desolations. Together, the 3 of them were sucked into the mirror of myriad tribulations and 8 desolations. Chu Xuanji and Yu Saifeng were together, but the purple fox was gone. Si Ming found Hao Chen and said that the god of war's life pillar had been shaken again, and I was afraid that Chu Xuanji had already entered the mirror. Hao Chen asked Si Ming where Chu Xuanji was. Si Ming said that he could not know about things in the world, but he told Hao Shen that Chu Xuanji and the others watched the mirror of myriad tribulations and 8 desolations will attract the sky thunder, and let him follow this information to track down. There were many fragments around Chu Xuanji and them, and a picture appeared in front of Chu Xuanji and them, and the god of war inside was exactly the same as Chu Xuanji. Someone announced an order to the god of war, letting the god of war lead the battle. Looking at these pictures, Chu Xuanji, god of the war between the heavens and the demons 1,000 years ago. In the screen, Ting Nu appeared, fearing that the injuries of the god of war would increase. The god of war went to see King Shura. But Chu Xuanji and the others couldn't see the screen. Chu Xuanji wanted to look closer, but was blocked by other things. The screen reappeared, and the god of war went to find Emperor Bo Lin, wanting to ask for more information. The god of war was used by the heavens to kill people who shouldn't be killed, and also to condemn her. Yu Saifeng also saw him in the picture, and he appeared in the picture together with Chu Xuanji. When Yu Saifeng looked at the screen, he seemed to remember something, and called Chu Xuanji not to go. In the screen, Chu Xuanji killed many people. Not only was she going to kill them, but also burned them. Her father relatives were slandered by them, men were beheaded and girls were exiled. Yu Saifeng said that all this was for revenge, and Chu Xuanji said that she was on her mind now. Yu Saifeng took out some money and asked her to leave here quickly. When the officers and soldiers came, Yu Saifeng told Chu Xuanji to leave. Yu Saifeng was arrested and went to the guillotine. Yu Saifeng was beheaded by Ayako's hand. Yu Saifeng thought that he and Chu Xuanji had met each other in the past. In another life, Yu Saifeng helped Chu Xuanji kill her father, making her the new emperor. After Chu Xuanji waited for the foundation, he still killed the innocent. She committed a crime to Yu Saifeng and wanted to kill Yu Saifeng. Yu Saifeng drank the poisoned wine given by Chu Xuanji, and then vomited blood. Chu Xuanji put a drop of blood in the corner of his eye, and Yu Saifeng died. In reality, Saifeng Yu saw this result every time, and couldn't believe it. Chu Xuanji became a witch in this life, but her eyes were invisible. Yu Saifeng used a forbidden technique to exchange his eyes for her. Chu Xuanji opened her eyes and saw the world. Yu Saifeng said he would die a little farther away, and then left. In the picture, every life, Yu Saifeng died because of Chu Xuanji. Yu Saifeng looked at the screen, and was very confused about their future. He was afraid that it would be the same result with Chu Xuanji every time. Ting Nu woke up and found that their soul had been taken into the mirror of myriad tribulations and 8 desolations, and the demons had developed. On the other side, Zhang Min said that they were thinking of a way out and found that blood could break the formation, so they cast spells together and finally broke the formation. Ting Nu used mana to help Yu Saifeng and the others. The previous life Yu Saifeng once again died because of Chu Xuanji. Yu Saifeng was very sad for this result every time. Yu Saifeng vomited blood in reality, and Chu Xuanji was also uncomfortable by the content of the screen. Chu Xuanji's god of war power began to awaken, and Si Ming tried to control the pillar of life, but did not succeed. Chu Xuanji summoned her armor, which was fused into her body. Lu Yixuan said that Chu Xuanji was really the reincarnation of the god of war, and that the power of the god of war in her body had begun to awaken. Zhang Minyan asked them to use a meditation curse so that they could save Yu Saifeng. The heavenly commander was preventing the awakening of the god of war, and Chu Xuanji woke up, and the people around him were accidentally injured by her. Yu Saifeng's body was getting weaker and weaker. Lu Yixuan took action to destroy the mirror of myriad tribulations and 8 desolations. Chu Xuanji fainted and everyone was not dead. Fujiizaki wanted to find the god of war for a good fight, but was stopped by King Long. Yu Saifeng and Chu Xuanji were still in a coma, and Ting Nu said they would recover after a while. Chu Xuanji finally woke up. Zhang Min said that they would take care of her by the side. Ruya asked Chu Xuanji what she saw in the mirror, and Chu Xuanji said that she had seen her previous life, and she was the general of God of War. Chu Xuanji said that she hated God of War, hated herself, and hated everything in the mirror. Chu Xuanji said that she only knew that she was locked up at the time, and they would not listen no matter what she said. Ting Nu said that the people in Tianshu Hall should not know about Chu Xuanji. Lu Yixuan said that Yu Saifeng X died because of her, and Chu Xuanji wanted to find Yu Saifeng. Yu Saifeng was still thinking about what was in the mirror, and Chu Xuanji looked for him all over the street. Finally found Yu Saifeng by the lake, and Yu Saifeng was standing there. Chu Xuanji found Yu Saifeng, ran over to hug him, and told Yu Saifeng that she used to be heartless, but told Yu Saifeng not to leave her, she could reason, and teach her. Chu Xuanji said that she has regained her 6 senses and can treat Yu Saifeng very well. Yu Saifeng said that in the 9th century, there was also a person who told him that he would remember him every time, but the result was nothing. Chu Xuanji said that she didn't remember the past 9th life, she only knew the current life. Chu Xuanji said that she liked him and wanted to be with him forever, so Chu Xuanji kissed Yu Saifeng. Chu Xuanji asked him if he wanted to leave, but Yu Saifeng said that he had never said to leave. Lu Yanran was unhappy when she watched Yu Saifeng and Chu Xuanji reconcile as before. Chu Xuanji and the others went to the Magpie Bridge, and someone told them to make a wish on the Magpie Bridge very well. Chu Xuan wanted the hairpin that Yu Saifeng gave her last time, and Yu Saifeng said that he was his person who took the hairpin. They took the dough man, and went to the Magpie Bridge to make a wish. Lu Yixuan asked him in the room if he wanted to fall down at the same place for the 10th time. Yu Saifeng said that it was before. Now he is just Yu Saifeng. He believes that they will have a good time. Ting Nu told them that the soul of the purple fox is still in the mirror of the horrible tribulations, she is indulging in the past and will not wake up tired, she will forget the reality and the soul will slowly disappear. Chu Xuanji asked how he could save the purple fox, and Ting Nu said that only Yu Saifeng or Chu Xuanji re-entered the mirror. Chu Xuanji said she was going in, Yu Saifeng took her hand, and they wanted to go together. They entered the mirror of myriad tribulations and 8 desolations, and the purple fox didn't want Wazuki to participate in the battle of immortals and demons. Wazuki said too much to Zio and asked Zio to leave her. Zio left and said he would never come back again. Wazuki saw that the purple fox was gone, he had nothing to worry about. Wazuki left, the soul of the purple fox wanted to make the memory come again, and was consuming his soul. Chu Xuanji said that she understood the feelings of Zio, but the answer she wanted was outside, and Chu Xuanji asked her to go back with them. Zio returned to reality and she woke up. Chu Xuanji said that she promised that Zio would rescue Wazuki. Zio said that if he can't be rescued, she will be there to stay with him. They decided to go to rescue Wookie together. Lu Yixuan wanted to go out alone, but Ting Nu found him. Ting Nu couldn't understand why the people in Tianshu Hall were so sure that Chu Xuanji would definitely go. Could it be that they had found someone with Tianshu early in the morning? Lu Yixuan said that who knows how these people feel at ease. Lu Yixuan said that he couldn't sleep, and was going to drink, and then left. Lu Yixuan went to see the people in Tianshu Hall, and they let Lu Yixuan kill Yu Saifeng, and Chu Xuanji was stimulated. Lu Yixuan was unwilling, but was threatened by him. Yu Saifeng and the others came, and Ting Nu said he was from Tianshu Hall. The people in Tianshu Hall wanted to catch Chu Xuanji, but was rescued by Zio. When they returned home, Lu Yixuan told the truth about the matter. Zio is very disagreeable with God of War. Zio said Wazuki was framed by Yuan Long, and she always wanted to find Yuan Long. Ting Nu told them to go to Buzasan early in the morning, and Ting Nu told them how to find the address of Buzasan. But Lu Yixuan couldn't go. Yu Saifeng said he would definitely bring Yuer back. Chu Xuanji and the others went to Buzhao Mountain, they could only pass by on the road. Vine Snake found Si Ming and asked him to talk about the God of War. Si Ming said about the God of War under the persecution of the Vine Snake. But it wasn't what tongue she wanted to hear. Seeing no useful things tongue she left. Yu Saifeng and the others are resting and Chu Xuanji is leaning on Yu Saifeng. They are looking for the entrance of Bozao Mountain, and they are going to leave at midnight tonight. Head Chu and the others were waiting for Chu Xuanji and others in Qingmu Town, but before Chu Xuanji was already there, they searched separately. Zhang Minyan felt that something was wrong outside, so he went out to take a look and found that the head of Chu had arrived. Head Chu asked him if he came here alone with him behind his back. Is there a master in the smoke? Zhang Minyan knelt down. He just wanted to rescue Chu Linglong. Now that he was outside of Bozao Mountain, he would not go back. Chu Linglong said that he was single-minded to Chu Linglong, and he was his most proud disciple. Head Chu said that there was a more important task to be entrusted to him, and Ruya saw it from inside the door. Chu Xuanji and the others began to look for the entrance again. They found that the path of moonlight was the real way, and they knew the entrance. The purple fox opened the entrance of Bozao Mountain, and they all entered Bozao Mountain. The head of Chu and the others showed up, and told them not to go. Chu Xuanji said she would definitely go. Chu Xuanji promised that they would return safely, kowtowed to them, and then went in. The purple fox was waiting for them, and they saw Bu Zhaoshan. The purple fox is going to Fen Rushan to find Wazuki, let them follow the shadow to find the Tianshu Hall. Chu Xuanji and the others went to the Tianshu Hall to save people, and the purple fox entered Fenru City. Zio followed the steps and kept calling Wazuki. Wazuki was very excited when he heard someone visit him. Zio ran to hug Wazuki, but Wazuki seemed to have lost her memory. Zio asked him to think about who she was, but he couldn't remember. The wax candle of the purple fox was destroyed by the people in the Tianshu Hall, and the purple fox was about to be taken out. Chu Xuanji and the others rescued her. But Yu Saifeng and the others were discovered by the gods because of their mana. They recognized the general of the God of War, but they refused to let her in and let her go back. The gate of Fenru City opened, and they must go back. The purple fox was shaken out of Buzhou Mountain. She was not dead. She went to see her birthday wax. The people from Tianshu Hall came out. It turned out to be Yuan Long, that is, the head of Tianshu Hall. The purple fox was taken into the purse by Yuan Long. Hao Chen rushed over and found that there was one missing birthday wax, and he fought Yuan Long. He was not Yuan Long's opponent, and was knocked to the ground by Yuan Long. Chu Xuanji and the others searched for a long time, but still did not find the Tianshu Hall. They found a disciple of the Xuanyuan school in a palace. Chu Xuanji and the others saw Linglong. They didn't know that she was a fake. Zhang Minyan told her many things in the past, which made Linglong emotionally unstable. Yu Saifeng knocked her out and tied her up. Chu Xuanji said that she had an evil spirit, not Chu Linglong. Yu Saifeng called out Xiao Yanhua and asked Linglong to take them to Tianshu Hall. Linglong only took them to the Tianshu Hall. Yu Saifeng asked Yuer again and asked her to take them to find Yuer. They rescued Yuer, and Yu Saifeng asked her if she knew there were places where people were not allowed to enter. They got it must be in Wuten's room, so Linglong took them to Wuten's room. However, there were so many primordial spirits in the room. They were about to take the primordial spirit back, and were about to leave surrounded by Wuten and others. The exquisite spirit was on his Wuten. Zhang Min said that Wuten couldn't get Chu Linglong's heart, so he made a fake Linglong with this flower demon. Wu Tong was said to be in pain and controlled Zhang Minyan, saying that if they were coming, he would move his head. Zhang Min said that even if he kills him, he will never get Chu Linglong. Yu Saifeng told Wu Tong that if he hurt Zhang Minyan, he would let Xiao Yanhua kill the flower demon. Wuten took a look, and then said that if you want to kill the flower demon, kill it. Anyway, he can create a second Linglong. Xiao Yanhua bit Wuten's hand before she was ready, and Zhang Minyan took the opportunity to run away. The birthday wax was about to burn out, and Wuten asked his men to deal with them. Yu Saifeng and the others were almost unable to hold on. Zhang Minyan said that he had given up. As long as he let Chu Linglong go, he would stay for him to drive. Wuten asked the flower fairy to act on Zhang Minyan, and the flower fairy was about to pierce his body, and was stopped by Wuten. However, Wu Tong asked him to bring the second senior brother up and asked Zhang Minyan to kill the second senior, otherwise he would not be given Chu Linglong's soul. Chu Xuanji, and they told him not to do it. This is a trap. Wu Tong gave Zhang Minyan the black and white ring of their Tianshu Hall and told him to kill the second brother. Zhang Minyan chopped off a hand of the second brother, saying this is sincere enough. Chu Xuanji and the others can't get out now, and Ruya also said that they are willing to surrender. Ruya's sword pierced Yu Saifeng's chest. Chu Xuanji was stimulated, and the power of the god of war in his body awakened and took Yu Saifeng away. Yu Saifeng's condition was not good, he vomited blood, and he couldn't hold on. Yu Saifeng lost consciousness. Haoshan arrived, and Chu Xuanji asked him to save Yu Saifeng. Yu Saifeng and the others were treated by Master Yin Hong, but said that he would not last long. Chu Xuanji wanted to use Shouyang School's forbidden technique to save Yu Saifeng, and Hao Chen said he would save Yu Saifeng. Hao Chen used the forbidden technique to rescue Yu Saifeng, but he needed to find the heavenly materials and earth treasures to restore Yu Saifeng. The head of Chu and the others went looking for it. Chu Xuanji took care of Yu Saifeng in the room. Xiao Yanhua brought medicine, but it didn't work. Chu Xuanji shed tears. The marriage flower she planted exuded powerful spiritual power. She felt that she might be able to save Yu Saifeng. Chu Xuanji used his mouth to feed the Lang Yuan flower into Yu Saifeng's body. Chu Xuanji handed Chu Linglong's soul to the head of Chu, and the head of Chu asked her who Zhang Min spoke. Chu Xuanji said that Zhang Minyan had become Wu Tong's subordinate, and also chopped off the second brother's hand. The head of Chu suspected Ruya, and Chu Xuanji believed it too. The head of Chu told Chu Xuanji about her brother Haoshan's wishes, but Chu Xuanji knelt down and said about the marriage she and Yu Saifeng had long been privately appointed for life, except for Yu Saifeng, she would not marry anyone. Head Chu asked her to get up and talk about this later. Xiao Yanhua was taking care of Yu Saifeng, and Yu Saifeng couldn't stand such powerful spiritual power. Xiao Yanhua was about to unlock the seal that sealed Yu Saifeng's demon body. Yu Saifeng told her not to untie it, but Xiao Yanhua did not listen to him and untie it for him. But still unable to control it, Yu Saifeng asked her to find Lu Yishuan. Chu Xuanji was making medicine for Yu Saifeng and then sending it to him. She found that the room was sealed, and Chu Xuanji said that he had found a monster, opened the room, and Yu Saifeng ran away. Haoshan found Yu Saifeng, and Chu Xuanji also came. They took Yu Saifeng back, and Haoshan felt strange to Yu Saifeng. A demon poison was found in Yu Saifeng's body, and Ting Nu and the others came and wanted to help Yu Saifeng and the others. With Chu Xuanji's insistence, the head of Chu agreed. Ting Nu used Chunli to eliminate Yu Saifeng's demon, and Hao Chen saw Ting Nu recognize him. Haoshan was helped into the room, and Ting Nu asked them to go out and wait, and he would rescue Yu Saifeng. Ting Nu said that to help Yu Saifeng reshape his heart, he needs to stay sober and let him be patient. Ting Nu began to cast a spell to rescue Yu Saifeng, and Chu Xuanji and the others waited outside the door. Ting Nu has reshaped his heart, and Yu Saifeng is no longer a serious problem. Ting Nu has cured Yu Saifeng, but his body is a little weak. The fact that Yu Saifeng is a demon was also concealed by them, and Ting Nu asked him if he was afraid of being seen by Chu Xuanji and then ran out, but if you want to stay together in the future, Then how can you tell Chu Xuanji? Yu Saifeng said he didn't know how to speak, and Lu Yixuan said he couldn't speak. If he spoke, the identity of Lai's palace would be exposed. Ting Nu told him not to think so much. The most important thing now is to keep his body well. Lu Yixuan and the others went out and told Chu Xuanji that Yu Saifeng was okay and was resting now. Ting Nu explained Yu Saifeng's affairs to the head of Chu, saying that he was poisoned by a monster. Chu Xuanji took care of Yu Saifeng in the room. He told Yu Saifeng that she had never been so scared. The 5 of them went to Zhaoshan, but only 2 of them came back. She only realized now that she felt really bad now. Up. Chu Xuanji secretly vowed that she would become stronger and would not hurt the people around her. Zhang Minyan and Ruya were assigned to work in the kitchen, but they didn't expect to enter the Tianshu Hall. Zhang Minyan asked him if it came true to enter the Tianshu Hall to survive. Ruya said that since he knew that Zhang Minyan had entered the Tianshu Hall with his master's orders on his back as a brother, he couldn't do nothing. Zhang Minyan was surprised. Ruya said that he heard the head of Chu tell him that he would sneak into the Tianshu Hall and take the opportunity to grab the key. Ruya also wanted to sneak into the Tianshu Hall with him because he heard it. Yu Saifeng woke up and saw Chu Xuanji lying beside his bed. Yu Saifeng took her hand and Chu Xuanji found that Yu Saifeng was awake and wanted to call Ting Nu. Yu Saifeng stopped her and said that he was really fine. Chu Xuanji said that the feeling of loving someone turned out to be this way, and asked Yu Saifeng not to leave her in the future. Head Chu and the others came in and checked Yu Saifeng's body. He was not in a serious condition now. Chu Xuanji asked his father to return to the Sheiyang faction to return Chu Linglong's soul to her place. Yu Saifeng was injured and could not act well, so Chu Xuanji said he would stay and take care of Yu Saifeng. The head of Chu told Chu Xuanji that the hairpin conference was about to begin again. When Yu Saifeng got better, he dared to return to the Sheiyang faction, and head Chu left. Seeing that the head of Chu had left, Lu Yixuan asked how his daughter was doing. Chu Xuanji released Yor and hugged them together. Yor said she must practice well in the future. Ting Nu asked Yor to practice in the land of their Yu clan, and Lu Yixuan asked him to take them quickly. Zhang Min said that they were looking for the key, but they were guarded by Wuten and had no chance to find it. Zhang Minyan they watched the flower demon kick the shuttlecock and remembered Chu Linglong's past. The flower demon's key fell to Zhang Minyan's side. The flower demon took out the whip and hit Zhang Minyan with a whip. The dagger of Zhang Minyan fell out. The flower demon picked it up and took a look. There was a memory in her mind. She threw away the dagger and let them beat Zhang Minyan. The head of Chu returned to the Sheiyang school and put the soul into Chu Linglong's body, but he did not immediately wake up. Ruya suspected that Chu Linglong's primordial spirit was in the body of the flower demon. They were going to investigate slowly. Zhang Minyan held the mirror of myriad tribulations and 8 desolations, and the flower fairy wanted to see it. She held the mirror of myriad tribulations and 8 desolations and remembered some previous things. The wolf wanted to threaten Linglong to obtain the spirit key, but Wuten drove away. Linglong brought medicine to Zhang Minyan and asked him if he wanted to see his second brother. Linglong took him to see the second brother. Zhang Minyan fed him the elixir, and Linglong let him go. Zhang Min said that they didn't give the second brother food this time. Linglong gave him a glutinous rice cake saying it was her favorite to eat. Zhang Minyan said that her favorite is sweet-scented osmanthus cake. Linglong returned to Wuten, and Wuten asked where Linglong had gone. Linglong said that she had gone to Huagu and wanted to pick some nice flowers to make a sachet for him, but she didn't expect to meet the right one. Wuten asked her to drink some tea and then gave her cakes. While Linglong was not paying attention, Wu Tong put something in the cake. Wuten explained that Tian had a lot of fun with her, and Linglong hadn't been with her for a few days, so Linglong happily agreed. Wuten asked her to give the cake to the second brother to eat. Linglong didn't know that it was poisonous, so she agreed. Chu Xuanji and the others searched the neighborhood and found a place with a lot of smoke, so they rushed over. God Snake Tongue appeared in front of them, and Chu Xuanji had seen him in the mirror of myriad tribulations. Chu Xuanji was very dissatisfied that Tung Shi went down to make the surrounding people homeless, and Tung Shi also shot at them. Yu Saifeng was not Tung Shi's opponent, and was slapped flying by the palm of Tung Shi. Chu Xuanji got that Yu Saifeng was killed by Tung Snake, and was very angry. Chu Xuanji took out Ding Kun to kill Tung Snake because he injured Yu Saifeng. Tung Shi was trapped by Chu Xuanji. At this time Yu Saifeng came back, and he was not dead. Yu Saifeng said that he should be Chu Xuanji's spirit beast. Yu Saifeng helped Chu Xuanji condense the blood soul orb so that he could conquer Tung Snake. Tung Snake became Chu Xuanji's spirit beast. He wanted to resist Chu Xuanji, but was controlled by Chu Xuanji with blood soul beads, and Vine Snake was fainted with anger. When he woke up again, Yu Saifeng asked Xiao Yanhua to follow Tung Snake. Seeing that Yu Saifeng and the others had left, Tongue Snake wanted to run away. But he did not succeed, and without the permission of his master, he could not run far. Yu Saifeng wiped Chu Xuanji's face and saw that her eyebrows were burned, so he drew her eyebrows on Chu Xuanji. Tongue Shi was making trouble outside and smashed the whole street because he couldn't run away and had to come back. Tongue Snake was controlled by Chu Xuanji with blood soul beads to apologize to the people, and Yu Saifeng told Chu Xuanji to train Tongue Snake as a puppy. Chu Xuanji discussed with Tongue Shi, but Tongue Shi was furious. Chu Xuanji and the others went to Ting Nu and told them that Chu Xuanji had found Tongue Snake. Tongue Shi wanted to leave the yard, but he couldn't do without. Xiao Yanhua gave him an idea to give Chu Xuanji medicine, and then cut off her arm so that she could leave. Tongue Shi gave her the wine to drink, but Chu Xuanji was fine, but Tongue Shi's face was swollen. He found Lu Yishuan and wanted to find him for an antidote, but Lu Yishuan said there was no antidote. Chu Xuanji asked Lu Yishuan if there was any way to save him. Lu Yishuan said that Chu Xuanji's blood could detoxify. Chu Xuanji gave him the antidote and said that he could leave them. Yu Saifeng applied medicine to Chu Xuanji, and he said that he shouldn't have helped her conquer Tongue Snake if he knew it. Chu Xuanji also said that she would not accept it if she knew so much trouble. Yu Saifeng said that it was because Chu Xuanji had put too much God on Tongue Shi, and Chu Xuanji understood that Yu Saifeng was jealous. Yu Saifeng said that to be jealous is to be jealous. Chu Xuanji comforted Yu Saifeng, saying that Tongue Shi was about to leave anyway. Yu Saifeng asked him if he wanted Tongue Snake to stay. He had a way to let him stay. Tongue Snake's poison was solved. He smelled the food and saw the food on the dinner table. Chu Xuanji told him that he was leaving, so he would not be allowed to eat. Tongue Shi looked at so many delicious foods, he sat down to eat. Tongue Shi said he would not leave and asked them to feed him delicious things tomorrow. Chu Xuanji asked him who the emperor was, and Tongue Shi said what Si Meng had told him, saying that Chu Xuan rebelled against the heavens because of love. Yu Saifeng passed Tongue Snake God Lord, and prepared something to eat. Tongue Snake said that he had nothing to do with his hospitality, and there must be something wrong. Yu Saifeng said what was going on with the god of war and the emperor, and Tongue Shi said that the whole heaven was spread like that, so he had to believe it. Yu Saifeng said that because of love and hatred, he felt that god of war was not such a person. Chu Xuanji was still unlocking the Lubin lock that Saifeng Yu gave him, but she couldn't unlock it. Hao Chen used Yu Saifeng's hair to test, but there was no response. Could it be that he guessed wrong? Hao Chen said that when he started with the demon that day, he found something in him. He still wanted to go to Zhaoshan to take a look. The head of Chu said that he was injured, it is better to let his spirit beast take a look. A disciple reported to the head of Chu that Zhang Minyan brought the people from Tianshu Hall. When the head of Chu saw him, Zhang Minyan was scolded by the head of Chu. Zhang Min said that he did not come this time to forgive, he came to represent Tianshu Hall this time, and they only got half of the soul. The people in Tianshu Hall asked Zhang Minyan to finish the matter explained by the altar master as soon as possible. They attacked Tianshu Hall and found that there was the second brother in the box. Zhang Minyan didn't know what was going on, so he explained it to the head of Chu. The head of Chu wanted to do something on Zhang Minyan, and Ruya took Zhang Minyan away. Zhang Minyan blamed himself very much, thinking that he killed the second brother. Ruya cheered Zhang Minyan so that Linglong could be saved. Chu Xuanji learned about Zhang Minyan. They didn't believe Zhang Minyan would kill the second brother. Chu Xuanji's father Spirit Beast sent a letter to Chu Xuanji saying that they should return to the Sheiyang faction earlier, and that Chu Linglong's soul was only half. Chu Xuanji told Tung Shi that he could definitely go to Wuzhou Mountain, and Tung Shi said that she could go, but she was now immortal and his strength was limited. However, Yu Saifeng said that he should be able to summon the other half of the soul with the soul of Linglong, and they immediately returned to Sheiyang. Zhang Minyan returned to Wuten, who already knew about them. Under Linglong's persecution, Zhang Minyan knew that she was not the same Linglong she used to be. She returned to the place where she had suffered, and remembered the past. Chu Xuanji and the others returned to the Sheiyang faction, and they asked Tung Shi to quickly retrieve the exquisite soul, but tried several times to no avail. Tung Shi said this shouldn't be, unless her sister's soul is trapped by another body. Tung Shi was going to see the other half of the soul through the soul. Chu Xuanji told Zhang Minyan what happened. Tung Shi drew a talisman for Zhang Minyan. As long as she took out the soul-inducing bell, he could find him. Zhang Minyan discussed with Linglong, and she helped to get the Yin Hunling so that she could restore her former appearance. Tung Shi took them to the outside of Buzhou Mountain. Linglong secretly got the Yin Han bell, and married Zhang Minyan and the others. Tongue Snake started to cast the spell, preparing to separate the Linglong Yuanshan from the Flower Fairy, and the Yuanshan was taken out by them. However, the Flower Demon has not recovered immediately. Ruya is going to use the Flower Demon to get the Spirit Key, But Zhang Min said that this is not something that a decent person should do. Ruya said such a good opportunity, if he does not go to the spirit key, he will not be able to complete it. For the task assigned to him by the head of Chu, Zhang Min said that he had no choice but to listen to Ruya. They controlled the flower demon to get the spirit key, but only got the dragon seal. Zhang Minyan and they were discovered by the people in Tianshu Hall. Ruya went to lead them away. Let Zhang Minyan go first. Ruya was knocked off the cliff by them, and Tongxi finally came to Zhang Minyan's side. Zhang Minyan told them that Ruya had been knocked off the cliff by them and asked them to save him as soon as possible. The flower demon wore her own clothes and made Wooten look at her. Wooten was very angry, and she asked the flower fairy where Linglong had been brought. Wooten didn't say much to the flower demon, and killed the flower demon. The spirit beast of the head of Chu found the demon whip fragments near Bazao Mountain, so the demon of the Tianshu Hall was hidden in the four elders. A disciple reported to the head of Chu that Chu Xuanji and the others had returned with Zhang Minyan, and head of Chu came out to see them. Zhang Minyan knelt down for him, and Chu Xuanji said that Zhang Minyan entered the Tianshu Hall for the sake of the exquisite soul. The head of Chu took the soul and put it into Chu Linglong's body. Chu Linglong finally came back, and she woke up. Chu Linglong asked Zhang Minyan where he was there, and Chu Xuanji said that she had cooked something for her. The head of Chu went to ask Zhang Minyan. Zhang Minyan said that it was his order to get into the Tianshu Hall, and Hao Chen asked him to tell the story of this period of time. However, the head of Chu did not give him these orders. Hao Chen said that the wolf in the Tianshu Hall had deceived everyone, and Zhang Min said that he might have been deceived. Hao Chen asked him where the spirit key was. Hao Chen said that he had already obtained the spirit key, but they were chased by the people from the Tianshu Hall, and Ruya was forced to jump off the cliff. Head Chu asked Zhang Minyan to lock up. Ruya got the spirit key and gave it to Yuan Long, and asked him to continue with Yu Saifeng and the others, and wanted to take the opportunity to kill Yu Saifeng. Yuan Long asked Ruya to meet his sister and told her that she would definitely take her back. An accident occurred in the secret realm of the Sheiyang school, and a crack opened, and Hao Chen and the others rushed over. The Peak Master of Zhuang Peak said that Chu Xuanji would marry Hao Shen and practice sentimental decision together, but Chu Xuanji was unwilling. Tongue Snake found Chu Xuanji. Hao Shen and the others asked who Tongue Snake was, and Chu Xuanji told them that Tongue Snake was her beast and friend. Tongue Snake said that he was a god in the sky. The head of Chu and the others did not believe it. Tongue Snake said that their enchantment was created by him and the four spirit beasts at that time. The head of Chu thought that Tongue Shi was bragging and told Tongue Shi to leave quickly. Seeing that they didn't believe in his strength, Tongue Shi said that they must let them take a look at him. Tongue Shi easily repaired the cracks in the secret realm. Head Chu also believed that Tongue Snake was a god, and wanted him to help resist the Tianshu Hall. Si Ming came to report to Hao Chen, and Hao Chen asked him if he could let Tongue Shi leave, but Si Ming had no choice. Si Ming also told him that God of War's life pillar could no longer be suppressed. Chu Xuanji went to Chu Linglong, and Chu Linglong asked him what was going on. Chu Linglong looked at the sweet-scented Osman, his cake, and remembered some of her things in the body of the flower demon. She wanted to stay alone for a while and let Chu Xuanji leave. Tongue Shi sneaked into Chu Linglong's room to eat sweet-scented Osman, his cake, and Chu Linglong asked him if he knew anything. Tongue Shi told him that Zhang Minyan went to the Tianshu Hall as an undercover agent and killed the second brother. Chu Linglong remembered that it was she who gave the poisonous Osman, his cake, to the second senior brother, which poisoned him. Chu Xuanji and the others went to see Zhang Minyan and brought him warm meals. Zhang Minyan didn't see Chu Linglong. He didn't know that Chu Linglong was secretly watching him behind. Zhang Minyan said that the only thing he was sorry for was the second brother. Zhang Minyan took care of the killing of the second brother by himself, and asked Chu Xuanji to tell Chu Linglong. In fact, he had been lying to her and asked her to find a better person. He committed the crime. A big mistake. She can no longer like her. Let her take care of herself. As long as Chu Linglong is happy in the future, it is enough. Chu Linglong listened secretly behind them, crying sadly. Tongue Shi appeared behind her and asked her why she didn't look. Chu Linglong said that she was sorry for Zhang Minyan. She had done so many bad things in Tianshu Hall. A disciple passed orders, and Zhang Minyan was to be tried. The head of Chu asked Zhang Minyan if he was guilty, and Zhang Minyan said he was guilty. The head of Chu asked him to talk about what crimes he had committed. Zhang Min said that he did not respect his master's orders, and that he was humiliated by being with the demons. Chu Xuanji told the head of Chu that Zhang Minyan made a mistake because of bewitched by the demon, and it was not his fault. The head of Chu told her to stop interceding with him. The head of Chu asked him how he should apologize. Zhang Min said that he should apologize with death, and he would commit suicide with a knife. Chu Linglong came to stop him. Chu Linglong said it was not him who was wrong. She had already remembered what happened in the Tianshu Hall. Zhang Minyan told her not to say it, it was all his fault. Zhang Minyan begged Master Chu to die. Chu Xuanji knelt down and interceded for him, and other disciples also pleaded with Chu. The head of Chu asked them to get up, saying that Zhang Minyan was forgiven for being deceived by demons, but that Shouyang faction must be expelled. Head Chu asked Zhang Minyan to hand over his name tag, and Head Chu put away his name tag. Zhang Minyan kowtows to the head of Chu, and Chu Linglong also handed over her name tag, saying that today's affairs are because of her, so she wants to go with Zhang Minyan. When Chu Xuanji saw them leaving, she had to hand over her name tag and walk with them. Chu Linglong persuaded Chu Xuanji that if he wanted to choose, he would choose the most important one. Chu Linglong said that even if she was a Shouyang school disciple, she was still her sister. The head of Chu asked her if she really decided, and Chu Linglong said that she had decided. Head Chu could only take away the name tags of the two of them, saying that Shouyang disciple Chu Linglong Zhang Minyan expelled from Shouyang from today. Head Chu told them that this Yangfeng would always be their home. Chu Linglong was packing her things in the room, and Chu Xuanji took her hand and said that they were living under the mountain first, and when Dad was angry, I would go and persuade Dad. Chu Linglong said no need to persuade, if you want me, you can come to see me. Chu Linglong gave a bead to Chu Xuanji, saying that it was a surviving bead. It was a bit of a record of Chu Xuanji's miserable lack of six senses in the past. Zhang Minyan came in, and Chu Xuanji asked him to take care of Chu Linglong. Chu Linglong and the others came to their residence down the mountain. There were no candles in the room. Zhang Minyan was going to buy them. Chu Linglong said that the moonlight was pretty good today, and it was bright enough. Yu Saifeng asked the head of Chu to take good care of Chu Xuanji, and head of Chu also agreed to stay together. Teng Shi appeared beside them, pushed them away and left. Aunt Chu Xuanji saw the hairpin on Chu Xuan's head and asked where it came from. She said that the golden red bird was the right-hand man of the demon clan, and fled to the world after the immortal demon battle. She asked Chu Xuanji where the hairpin came from, and Chu Xuanji lied to her, saying that she bought it by herself. Chu Xuanji took out the invigorating bead that Chu Linglong had given her, and let Yu Saifeng watch it with her. Chu Xuanji said that she remembered that it was the golden red bird demon who killed her mother. Yu Saifeng said that this hairpin was given to him by her mother, and that not all golden red birds in this world are bad. Yu Saifeng asked Xiao Yanhua to investigate the matter, but Xiao Yanhua wanted to persuade him, but Yu Saifeng let her go out. The head of Chu was still worried about the spies in the Tianshu Hall, and Hao Chen said that he could find them out. Wu Tan was caught by Yuan Long, and then Wu Tan's hand was broken. Wu Tong said that he still had a way to serve the hall master, saying that he had a way to break their institutions. Yuan Long said that if he could scorch his broken arm wound with the fire of a brazier, he could give him a chance. Yuan Long loosened him. Wu Tong reluctantly stretched his arm into the brazier, and Yuan Long said he was giving him a chance. But let him not have other ideas, otherwise it will make him worse than death. Yuan Chak back from the palace, it was reported that he said had found Miyagi what they need, but this time Miyagi find people. Yuan Long went to find the palace lord and told him that the chalcedony had grown. The palace owner cooperated with Yuan Long to get the chalcedony at the hairpin conference. After the Shouyang sect disciples assembled, the head of Chu was ready to take them out. Chu Linglong and Zhang Minyan came and said that the enemy is now, although they are not disciples of the Shouyang school, they can do their best. Zhang Min said that he and Chu Linglong have been entangled with the people of Tianshu Hall for so long, knowing each other, and knowing each other. Seeing that he said this, the head of Chu also agreed with them to go to the Zanhua conference and let them go to the Valley of Eyes with them, but be sure not to act recklessly. They came to the Dotting Valley, and Chu Xuanji got the Dotting Valley was very beautiful. Lord Rongbu came to meet the head of Chu, and people from other schools also came. Teng Shi couldn't wait any longer. Why did Master Rongbu talk so much and couldn't eat? Lord Rongbu said that he had prepared food and drinks and let them sit in. At this time, the head of Chu said that there was something he wanted to take a step to talk about. Teng Shi ate the chicken legs and then accidentally threw the bones on the disciple of Dian Jingnu, and there was a conflict. Chu Xuanji went to explain to them. When Lai's palace arrived, Yu Saifeng rushed over to visit his master. Yu Saifeng knelt in front of the palace owner. The palace owner said that they were cunning by nature and had never treated them kindly. Yu Saifeng said that the few friends he made had never harmed him, so he was relieved. The palace owner asked Yu Saifeng if he dared to tell Chu Xuanji his identity, and Yu Saifeng said that he would tell her when he found the right opportunity. The palace lord told him not to regret and leave as soon as possible. Yu Saifeng still has something to ask him, whether the death of Chu Xuanji's mother is related to them. The palace owner said that they left Z Palace to kill too many people. The palace lord asked Yu Saifeng to leave Chu Xuanji earlier, and Yu Saifeng said he wanted to give her an explanation. Hao Chen and the others are discussing finding out the spies of Tianshu Hall. Yu Saifeng told Chu Xuanji that he had to deal with some things personally. If she heard or saw something, don't be surprised. Chu Xuanji said that when he caught the demon in Dotting Valley, he went to Lai's palace to intercede with the palace lord. Hao Chen finally discovered that Yu Saifeng was a demon and found evidence. Yuan Long took the Earth Wolf to open the secret room of Dianjing Valley and then went in. They found something wrong, there was nothing inside. Suddenly the sleepy monster formation inside trapped the Earth Wolf, and the Earth Wolf asked Yuan Long to leave as soon as possible. Head Chu and they came in wanting to inquire about the situation. But the Earth Wolf blew himself up and died in smoke. They want to reinforce the formation, together with several persons in charge. The head of Chu and the others knew that the deputy master of Lai's palace was a demon, and Hao Chen took out the red feather bird feathers and said that Yu Saifeng was also a demon. Hao Chen said that this Yu Saifeng might have approached Chu Xuanji intentionally, and they also suspected that Lai's palace was a monster nest. They discussed how to trap the disciples of Lai's palace quietly. Xiao Yanhua found that something was wrong, and Yu Saifeng found that the people leaving Z Palace seemed to have something to do. Yu Saifeng found the lord of the palace and asked him what he wanted to do when leaving Z Palace. The palace master said that it was time to make a settlement with them. They killed Haofeng and prevented Haofeng from marrying him. He wanted them to regret. Yu Saifeng asked him who Haofeng was, and the palace owner told him that it was Haofeng of Dotting Valley. Over the years, he tried his best to bring Haofeng back to life. This time he just had to kill them all and grab the Millennium Stone of Dotting Valley. Marrow can bring Haofeng back to life. Yu Saifeng said that if Shi Ning knew that he had killed all the disciples in Dotting Valley, she would be very sad. The palace lord did not listen to Yu Saifeng. Yu Saifeng said that he would never let Lai's palace go on a slaughter. Yu Saifeng trapped the palace lord and the deputy palace lord and didn't want them to kill. Yu Saifeng wanted to leave the Zegong disciples to withdraw from the Hairpin Conference. He went to discuss with Lord Rongu about quitting the Hairpin Conference. Yu Saifeng told him about resigning, but Yu Saifeng was caught by them. Hao Chen pinched Yu Saifeng, and Yu Saifeng said that he could solve the matter. The Lord of Lai's palace and the others have been out of trouble, and the Hairpin Conference has begun. Chu Xuanji competed with the disciples of Lai's palace, but Lai's palace disciples' moves were all ultimate moves. The head of Chu rescued Chu Xuanji, but was blocked by the Lai's palace lord. They discovered that the person fighting with Chu Xuanji was the lord of Lai's palace, who was holding Lai's palace, and several other parties. Tongue Snake and Chu Xuanji were trapped by the spirit beast of Palace Master Lai's, and Tongue Snake said they could not get out. The spirit beast attacked them, and within it the strength of the spirit beast greatly increased. The two sides started fighting. Yuan Long sacrificed the purple fox. Their magic weapon was dirty. Yuan Long broke the formation, and the purple fox took the opportunity to run away. The two sides began to scuffle. Chu Xuanji and the others were still fighting with the spirit beast. Tongue Shi said that Chu Xuanji could not use the 9-day profound fire, and could not win it at all. Tongue Shi asked Chu Xuanji to run. Chu Xuanji said that they would advance and retreat together. Yu Saifeng was still trapped in the same place. Xiao Yanhua sneaked up to him and helped Yu Saifeng knot the rope, but she was trapped and Yu Saifeng cast a spell on her to ensure her safety. Yuan Long found Chalcedony and asked his disciple to leave with him. A disciple asked if he wanted to reunite with the palace lord. Yuan Long said that he had settled the major issue of leaving Z Palace. As for his personal affairs, he would settle it himself. Yuan Long led the people to leave, and the disciple went back and told the palace lord that the deputy palace lord had left. The palace lord asked him about the Millennium Chalcedony. The disciple said that the deputy palace lord asked him to get it by himself. The palace lord took people to find the Chalcedony. Yu Saifeng saw it and followed. Chu Xuanji broke the mist of spirit beasts and came to reality. The spirit beast bit at Chu Xuanji and was killed by Chu Xuanji with a sword. Chu Xuanji looked at the disciple lying down on the ground, and Chu Linglong told her that this was done by Lai's Gong. Yu Saifeng stopped Master and asked him what he wanted to do. The palace owner said that once he took the shot, there would be no turning back. Yu Saifeng asked him what was the relationship between Lai's palace and Tianshu Hall, and the palace owner said that he didn't care what the relationship was. As long as Haofeng was resurrected, he wanted to avenge Yu Saifeng Nang. The palace lord told Yu Saifeng that Haofeng was his mother. The palace lord is his master and his father. The palace lord told him that he and Haofeng could resurrect Haofeng. The disciples of Lai's palace told the palace lord that they had suffered heavy losses and had already forced them back. Yu Saifeng wanted to explain, but it didn't work at all. Wings grow out of the palace lord's back, and the other disciples do the same. Their skills have greatly increased, and they are fighting with the decent of the immortals. The immortal gate fell into the wind and palace master Lies put them under a lot of pressure. The immortal door was too low to stop, and Yu Saifeng blocked the palace owner. Chu Xuanji rushed over, and Hao Chen said that Yu Saifeng was a demon. Chu Xuanji didn't believe he was a demon and asked if Yu Saifeng lied to her. Yu Saifeng said, "I'm sorry, he is not a monster of Tianxu Tang." Chu Xuanji couldn't believe it. Chu Xuanji was very entangled in the palace Lord of Lies and said, "What's wrong with the demon, can't you be with people?" Hao Shen made Chu Xuanji sober, and the head of Chu asked them to take them down. Yu Saifeng did not resist. Chu Xuanji told them not to hurt Yu Saifeng. Chu Xuanji was very sad, and Hao Chen also said that her mother was killed by the golden red bird demon. The Lord of Lies Palace said that he killed Chu Xuanji's mother, and Yu Saifeng asked her to listen to him explain. Chu Xuanji wanted to avenge her mother, and the palace lord absorbed the true energy of the people around him, and Yu Saifeng told master not to kill anymore. Chu Xuanji wanted to do something to him, but Yu Saifeng blocked her and was injured. Yu Saifeng said that he would not let the palace owner kill. Yu Saifeng grew wings behind his back, interrupting the palace owner's spellcasting. Those immortal disciples concentrated their efforts on Yu Saifeng's back, and Yu Saifeng was seriously injured. The palace lord took him away. The palace lord healed Yu Saifeng, and Yu Saifeng asked the palace lord to leave as soon as possible. He wanted to find Chu Xuanji. Chu Xuanji found Yu Saifeng, and Chu Xuanji said that all this was because of the palace lord, and she wanted to kill him. Yu Saifeng was afraid that the palace owner would hurt her, so Chu Xuanji left as soon as possible. Miyaji Wen took Yu Division Wu Tong to find and fight off Zigong disciples. Xuanji Chu wanted her arrested. Zhang Minyan and Wu Chu exquisite deal with children, but not his opponent, Chu Xuanji trap. Head Chu they knew about Chu Xuanji. A disciple told Head Chu that Wu Tong personally brought the people from Tianxu Hall to attack. Chu Linglong and Zhang Minyan were surrounded. When Chu Xuanji heard Wu Tong coming again, she was very angry that she was going to kill these monsters. Chu Xuanji's war god armor possessed him, and instantly came to Chu Linglong and the others, and then rescued Chu Linglong. Head Chu and they arrived, and Hao Chen knew that Chu Xuanji's power of war god had awakened. Chu Xuanji wanted to make Wu Tong a dead end. Wu Tong knew that Chu Xuanji was the god of war, and had already prepared for it. He was not so afraid of the power of the gods. Chu Xuanji said that he didn't expect that the things she used before were now used by him to deal with him. Chu Xuanji wanted all the demons to die without a place to bury her. She summoned the 9 heavens profound fire, and Wu Tong let the people of Tianxu Hall line up to resist. But to no avail, they hid in the cave. Wu Tong asked the people of Tianxu Hall to retreat, and he also hurriedly left. Hao Chen came to Chu Xuanji and wanted her to stop. With Hao Chen's efforts, Chu Xuanji finally stopped. Chu Xuanji fainted. Chu Linglong and the others rushed over to check Chu Xuanji's situation, and Hao Shen said it was okay. Chu Xuanji had a nightmare shouting Yu Saifeng all the time. Chu Xuanji finally woke up. Hao Chen said that the monster clan was cunning and unbelievable, and they all lied to her. Yu Saifeng had never been honest with Chu Xuanji. Everything he did was to use Chu Xuanji. Hao Chen asked her to rest well, and he went out first. Chu Xuanji was very worried about Yu Saifeng. Chu Linglong found her, held them together, and Chu Linglong told her not to think so much. Chu Xuanji asked Chu Linglong if Yu Saifeng was sincere to him. Zhang Min said how many times Yu Saifeng was born and died with them. Chu Xuanji said that he must find Yu Saifeng, and he must ask clearly. Chu Xuanji went to see the head of Chu and them. Lord Ronggu said that their last spirit key had been taken by the Tianxu Hall, and begged Chu Xuanji to lead the demon and kill the demons. Chu Xuanji was unwilling to let them find someone else. The head of Chu also knelt down to beg her. But suddenly he vomited blood, and Chu Xuanji asked Teng Shi to come and have a look. Teng Shi easily healed the head of Chu, and Chu Xuanji let him rest. They forced Chu Xuanji to lead the integrity and slay demons and demons. Chu Xuanji had no choice but to agree to their request. In Lies, the palace lord was healing Yu Saifeng. The palace lord asked him if he was better, and gave him the antidote to his lover's curse, and let him take the antidote. He would forget Chu Xuanji after taking the medicine. Yu Saifeng said he could not take it, and he didn't want to forget it either. Yu Saifeng asked him if Chu Xuanji's mother was really he killed. The palace owner said who told this woman to be nosy and want to take Haofeng away. The palace lord took Yu Saifeng to see his mother, and Yu Saifeng asked him why he didn't tell him. The palace owner said that he would tell him when she was resurrected, so that their family could be reunited. The palace lord told Yu Saifeng that he met and fell in love with Haofeng. Yuan Long lit Danya and told the palace lord that he would change the palace lord. Yuan Long didn't want him to continue to be the lord of the palace, and the lord said that he didn't want to be anymore. The palace owner asked Yu Saifeng to be the palace owner, but Yuan Long disagreed, saying that he was not qualified to be the palace owner. The palace owner pinched Yuan Long's neck and Yuan Long asked the palace owner what he wanted to do after he abdicated. The palace owner said that he would return to the forest with Hao Feng. Yuan Long laughed, and the palace lord fought with the deputy palace lord, but the palace lord could not defeat the deputy palace lord. Yuan Long said that the palace owner said that Hao Feng was in love with him, but she didn't know that her love for Yu stayed before the demon. Yuan Long said that the palace owner was only wishful thinking, and Hao Feng would only hate her. The palace lord asked Hao Feng to take off his lover's curse mask, and he was swallowed by the lover's curse. Yuan Long said that if he hadn't killed Chu Xuanji's mother, the palace lord would be discovered. Yu Saifeng knew that Yuan Long was the one who killed Chu Xuanji. Yuan Long admitted, saying that he couldn't do anything if he knew. Yuan Long said that in order to make the palace owner less sad, the old palace owner found Wang Qingdan before he died, and let him take it. The palace lord didn't believe it. Yuan Long said that Elder Luo also knew about it. The palace lord asked Elder Luo to tell him that this was false, and Elder Luo said that these were all past events. Seeing that Elder Luo was reluctant to say, Yuan Long took out the blood book Hao Feng had written to her father, and Yuan Long read it out. The palace owner didn't believe it, he was heartbroken. The palace lord's lover curse had happened, and Yuan Long was still saying that Yu Saifeng told him to shut up. Yuan Long also said that because the palace owner stole Hao Feng's body, Hao Feng could not be resurrected. Yuan Long asked Hao Feng's body to be brought over, the coffin opened and Hao Feng suddenly disappeared into the air. The palace lord fell to the ground and said that Yu Saifeng's mother had loved him before she knew he was a demon. Gong advocated opening the wings and slowly feathering in the air, leaving only one piece of clothing. Yu Saifeng picked up the Jinia order. Yuan Long wanted to be the lord of the palace, and wanted Yu Saifeng to give him the Jinia order. Yu Saifeng asked them how many people in Tianshu Hall were away from Z Palace, and asked those people in Tianshu Hall to leave or withdraw from Tianshu Hall, otherwise he would never forgive them. Yu Saifeng declared war on Yuan Long, and Yuan Long kidnapped the disciples in Li's palace. Yu Saifeng wanted to do something with Yuan Long, but they began to kill the disciples of Li Zigong. Yu Saifeng handed the Jinia order to him, and Yuan Long gave the first order to join the Tianshu Hall up and down in Li's palace. Chu Xuanji was drinking alone, and she was still sad for Yu Saifeng. Purple Fox watched the Chu Xuanji kiosks. Slaves have cured her injury. Zir told Chu Xuanji that she could be friends with Tingnu and Zir. Why not be friends with Yu Saifeng? Chu Xuanji said he shouldn't lie to her, and Zir asked her to make a clear statement with Yu Saifeng. Chu Linglong was alone by the river and blamed herself for her affairs in Tianshu Hall. Zhang Minyan came to her and stayed with her. Zir was still comforting Chu Xuanji, asking her whether she wanted to follow the fairy gate or follow her own heart. Zir explained that Tian found a way to find Yu Saifeng and let them meet. Chu Xuanji said that she would return to the Sheiyang faction tomorrow, and Zir let her discover that she could find them. Chu Linglong has nightmares, and Wooten has always troubled her. Yu Saifeng paid homage to his father, looked at the portrait of his mother, and thought of what the palace lord had said to him. Xiao Yanhua came to him. Xiao Yanhua said to the palace lord that he hoped that Yu Saifeng would understand his lesson from the past, take the wanking pill as soon as possible, forget Chu Xuanji, and hope that the demon clan will rise and kill those people. Yu Saifeng said to her, "What are you talking nonsense here? Let Xiao Yanhua go out." Yuan Long came over, and Yu Saifeng said that he had already got the golden feather order, so what else did he come to do? Yuan Long said that they are of the same clan, and it is their wish that the golden red bird will fly to Huangtengda. They can work together. Yu Saifeng said, "You, a person like you who can kill as a group, are ashamed to talk about cooperation with him." Yuan Long said that the people he killed were useless people. But Yu Saifeng is different. As long as he opens his bloodline, he can become a great demon. Yu Saifeng said that if you want to use his power, you must have a little sincerity. It's better to tell him exactly what he wants to do. Yuan Long said that what he wants to do is to do great things for the Yaozu. He asked Yu Saifeng if he knew what their golden red bird was, and Yuan Long told him that their golden red bird was the subordinate of the demon king Shura 1,000 years ago. Yu Saifeng asked him what he wanted him to do, and Yuan Long said that he wanted him to go to the demon realm once to rescue Wu Ziki. Yuan Long said that the reason why humans and demons are enemies is because they are evenly matched. But if they become bigger and stronger, they will not dare to hate them. Yu Saifeng said that there are many crises in the demon realm, and he just wants him to die. Yu Saifeng told him to get out, and Yuan Long left. Yu Saifeng told Elder Luo that now the Tianshu Hall is so powerful that we have to seek perfection and preserve our strength. He now knows Yuan Long's plan. Give him some time, and he will surely protect the golden red birds. Yuan Long killed a disciple in Li's palace with a magical instrument that looked like a pill furnace. Yuan Long refined a magical instrument that could restrain the god of war. Yuan Long also wanted to control the evil spirit by reviving the evil spirit. If Yu wanted to see his sister, Yuan Long asked him to stare at Chu Xuanji. Lu Yixuan came to Lai's palace, and Elder Luo took him to see Yu Saifeng. Lu Yixuan told Yu Saifeng that Chu Xuanji would like to meet Yu Saifeng tomorrow, and he was here to tell him. Chu Xuanji kept staring at the hairpin, and a disciple sent a letter to Chu Xuanji. Chu Xuanji rushed to the place they agreed, and Yu Saifeng and the others were waiting for Chu Xuanji's arrival. Chu Xuanji met with Yu Saifeng. Yu Saifeng said that in fact he always wanted to tell him the truth, but she didn't expect to be known so early. Yu Saifeng said that he would never lie to her in the future, and Chu Xuanji asked him if he knew anything about Yuan Long, whether it was involved in it. Yu Saifeng said that he had never been involved in it, and he had only recently learned about these things. Yu Saifeng asked her if she believed her, and Chu Xuanji said he believed. Chu Xuanji said that she believed it, but it didn't mean that everything was solved. She saw her mother was killed by the golden red bird. Yu Saifeng told her that it was Yuan Long who was killing her mother. Yuan Long said it himself. Yu Saifeng said that he would find the truth, but he wanted to protect the golden red birds, and he would change them. Yu Saifeng said that if he defeated Tianshu Hall and regained Lai's palace, he would give an explanation to each of the Shenmen. Chu Xuanji said she had to think about it, and then left. Chu Linglong went to buy cloth, but was made things difficult by some immortal disciples. Zhang Minyan rushed over and beat them up. Chu Linglong ran back to the yard. Chu Linglong said that Wooten was in her head and couldn't hide. Chu Linglong looked at Zhang Minyan, who was sleeping, and unless she died, she would not be able to get rid of it in this life. Zhang Minyan found that Chu Linglong was missing, and told Chu Headmaster that Chu Headmaster quickly sent someone to find Chu Linglong. Chu Linglong was by the river, stuck her sword into the ground, and then walked into the river by herself. Chu Linglong wanted to commit suicide. Zhang Minyan finally arrived and pulled her out. Zhang Minyan said she was so worthy of all the people who saved her. Zhang Min said that if she wanted to die, he would not live anymore. Hao Shen found Teng Shi and asked him where Chu Xuanji had gone. Teng Shi told him that Chu Xuanji was in Qingnu town. The Purple Fox and Lu Yixuan were arguing, and Lu Yixuan said that Tianshu Hall had already obtained 4 spirit spoons. Purple Fox got in his heart that he must find a way to rescue the spirit key. Hao Shen appeared next to Chu Xuanji and asked her that she must have come to see Yu Saifeng, and said that Yu Saifeng had deceived Chu Xuanji for so long. Chu Xuanji said that Yu Saifeng was a demon, but he never harmed anyone. Hao Chen asked her to stop saying that he would make a break with Yu Saifeng. Chu Xuanji blocked Hao Chen. Hao Chen said that Chu Linglong had something wrong. Chu Xuanji asked her what was going on, and Hao Chen told him that it was all right. Chu Xuanji went back to find Chu Linglong. Chu Linglong had figured it out. She wanted Wooten to take revenge. Chu Linglong said that there is nothing good for anyone who has a relationship with a demon, and Chu Xuanji said that Yu Saifeng really didn't hurt the nature and reason. If he harmed others, I would not spare him. Lu Yixuan was drinking but did not see Yu Saifeng and asked the Purple Fox where Yu Saifeng had gone. Zhou said he should go to see Chu Xuanji. Lu Yixuan asked Zhou what kind of answer Chu Xuanji would give Yu Saifeng. Zhou said that since Chu Xuanji is willing to come to see Yu Saifeng, he should believe him in his heart. Yu Saifeng wandered outside Chu Xuanji's door and knocked on the door. Chu Xuanji did not open the door. Yu Saifeng opened the door and found that Chu Xuanji was not there. Yu Saifeng wanted to find her. Xiao Yanhua stopped him, and then showed him the silver hairpin, saying that she had found it on the ground. Yu Saifeng thought that Chu Xuanji did not want to forgive him. Suddenly a fire broke out on the Purple Fox, and they were trapped in the barrier. Yu Saifeng recognized that it was the 9 heavens profound fire of the god of war. Yu Saifeng spread his wings and wanted to break. After the enchantment, it turned out that Hao Chen trapped them. Hao Chen said that this fire could not trap them, but it could break their relationship. Yu Saifeng and the others had nothing to do. Xiao Yanhua said that Chu Xuanji did it. Yu Saifeng and the others felt that there must be a misunderstanding. Yu Saifeng wanted to go to the Shuiyang faction to ask a clear question. Zhou and the others tried to persuade him, but they did not succeed. The head of Chu told Chu Xuanji to kneel down, saying that her mother had died at the hands of Jin Kai Bird Demon. Chu Xuanji said that not all medicines are bad. Yu Saifeng promised her that he would help her find out the truth. The head of Chu slapped Chu Xuanji angrily, saying that she was a god of war, and she shouldered a huge responsibility. Chu Xuanji said that even if she is the god of war, if she is asked to be a god of war who can only kill, she would rather not do it. The head of Chu told Chu Xuanji that if she still went to find Yu Saifeng, she should not call her father. The head of Chu asked her to swear not to go to Yu Saifeng and make a clean break. The head of Chu was forced to die, and Chu Xuanji had no choice but to swear. Yu Saifeng heard Chu Xuanji's words outside the door, thinking that Chu Xuanji really wanted to break with him. Yu Saifeng ran out. He didn't want to make it difficult for Chu Xuanji. If Ruya went to the Sheoyang school secret realm, Yu Saifeng caught up, and then asked him if he was doing things for the deputy palace. Lord Ruya said that he knew it was too late, and since he was here, he helped Tian deal with Zuolong. The two fought with Zuolong, and the Sheoyang faction also knew that Yu Saifeng beat Ruya away, and Haoshen and the others arrived, thinking that it was Yu Saifeng who wanted to resurrect the evil star. Chu Xuanji didn't believe him anymore. Yu Saifeng said that he found Ruya here, so he wanted to block him. But Haoshen didn't believe it. Yu Saifeng told Chu Xuanji that it was not important to explain or not. They wanted to catch Yu Saifeng. Chu Xuanji wanted to protect him, but Yu Saifeng was still locked into Mingxia cave. Xiao Yanhua and the others are still waiting for Yu Saifeng, but they haven't waited yet. Zhu discussed that he wanted to steal the key, but Zhu went alone. Chu Xuanji asked Teng Shi to find Yu Saifeng, said Chu Xuanji had given him something, and then asked him what was going on. Zhang Minyan sent a letter to Yuan Long, and it is impossible for Yu Saifeng to exchange the spirit key for Yu Saifeng. Yuan Long asked them to kill Zhang Minyan and the others, and they were rescued by Zhu. Zhu also knew that Yu Saifeng had been caught by them, and Zhu asked them to cooperate with her and steal the key together. They secretly entered the Tianshu Hall. Zhang Minyan saw that Yuan Long and Elder Constellation were talking about the evil spirits. Yuan Long felt them and asked them to chase Zhang Minyan. Zhu asked Tingyu's spirit beast to rescue them. Uncle Yamong came over and said that the glazed lamp in the secret realm could no longer be suppressed, and senior brother Hengyang had been injured. Only then did they believe that the evil star might be resurrected, and Hao Chen said that he would kill Yu Saifeng in public to show his decent prestige. Lord Ronggu said that Chu Xuanji and Yu Saifeng had a good relationship, and he would definitely not agree. The head of Chu said that Chu Xuanji had vowed to be incompatible with Yu Si. Zhang Minyan told Chu Xuanji that they were going to take action on Yu Saifeng, and he was going to rescue Yu Saifeng with Chu Xuanji. Zhang Minyan drew Master Yinglong away and asked Chu Xuanji to steal things out. Yu Saifeng fainted in Mingxia cave, and Chu Xuanji arrived and healed Yu Saifeng's exercises. Yu Saifeng finally got better. Yu Saifeng asked her what she was doing here, and Chu Xuanji said she was here to rescue him. Yu Saifeng said that she was not afraid of being entangled with his demon, so she was not afraid that they would know. Yu Saifeng said she didn't believe him. Why did she come to rescue him? Chu Xuanji helped Yu Saifeng to leave, but Haoshen blocked him, and Chu Xuanji asked Tung Snake to stop Haoshen. Xiao Yanhua felt that Yu Saifeng was in danger and wanted to save him. Yu Saifeng told her that he had only lied to Chu Xuanji once, and he had never been with the Tianshu Hall. Xiao Yanhua also came, and Chu Xuanji wanted to take them away. The elders of Hengyang and the others were repairing the Lulizan. Yuan Long didn't know how to get in and defeated them. Hengyang was also killed. Yu Saifeng was about to leave, but he was suddenly trapped. The head of Chu and the others came wanting Chu Xuanji to kill Yu Saifeng. Chu Xuanji let Teng Shi break the formation. Hao Chen stabbed them with a sword, and Yu Saifeng blocked it. The evil spirit star is about to be resurrected. The head of Chu and the others also found something wrong. The evil spirit star is summoning his soul. Hao Chen said that Yu Saifeng is the evil spirit star, but Yu Saifeng understands that Chu Xuanji is the one. Devil star. In order to protect Chu Xuanji, he admitted that he was the evil spirit star and wanted to kill them. Yu Saifeng and Chu headed them fighting, and Chu Xuanji stopped them. Then he asked Yu Saifeng why he lied to her again and again. Yu Saifeng said that he did not expect her to be so easy to lie. Yu Saifeng left. The head of Chu and the others went after Yu Saifeng, and Chu Xuanji couldn't accept it. The head of Chu found that Master Yinglong had fainted, and they got it was Yu Saifeng who did it. A disciple reported that Master Hengyang and the others were also dead, and Chu Xuanji was very sad. Teng Shi told Yu Saifeng that there was something strange about the evil spirit star, and he went back to the heavens to investigate. Chu Xuanji did not speak. Teng Shi said that he would be able to find out the matter, and maybe he could let Yu Saifeng come back. The head of Chu and other heads discussed the evil star, and the other heads wanted an explanation from Chu Xuanji because she let out Yu Saifeng time and time again. In order to give them an explanation, the head of Chu broke one of his fingers. He handed the position of the head of the Sheoyang faction to Hao Chen and asked him to lead the Sheoyang faction to slay demons and demons. Hao Chen was at the request of the head of Chu. I agreed. Other schools say that Chu Xuanji and Yu Saifeng are also personal, and they cannot convince the public. Hao Chen said that he and Chu Xuanji were destined by fate, and this matter was already known on Fu Island. Chu Xuanji wanted to explain, but Hao Chen said that they were already sentimental. Hao Chen also said that they had a marriage contract, and they had already settled on getting along day and night. Chu Xuanji had no choice but to say that she has nothing to do with Yu Saifeng from now on. Chu Xuanji was alone in Mingxia cave and locked in it alone thinking about the affairs with Yu Saifeng. Chu Linglong, and they persuaded Chu Xuanji. Chu Xuanji asked them to leave and let her be alone. Hao Shen asked them to leave first, and Chu Xuanji said it was all her fault and was deceived by Yu Saifeng time and time again. Hao Chen said that killing Yu Saifeng was all over, and Hao Chen used a spell to give her a good rest. Ruya went back to report to Yuan Long saying that he had seen Yu Saifeng awakening the power of the evil star. Yuan Long also suspected that Yu Saifeng was the incarnation of the evil star. Yu Saifeng woke up and told Yuan Long that he was still the same. Yuan Long asked him if he was Jiju, and Yu Saifeng asked him to call him Yu Saifeng, saying that he was just awakening some memories. Yu Saifeng said that he must go ahead and open the glass cup, let him hand over the spirit key, and then he can rescue Wazuki. Yuan Long said that the time has not come, let Yu Saifeng take a good rest. Yuan Long needs time to verify whether Yu Saifeng is the evil star, and Xiao Yanhua came out and said that Chu Xuanji was the evil star. Yu Saifeng told her not to talk nonsense. He wanted to rescue Wazuki and understand the truth. Yu Saifeng asked Xiao Yanhua to give him Chu Xuanji's blood. Chu Xuanji woke up. Hao Shen carried something to Chu Xuanji to eat, but Chu Xuanji did not eat. Hao Chen told her not to think about ways to hurt herself. Chu Xuanji said that she knew the marriage contract that Hao Chen said to help her rescue her. Hao Chen said that she was wrong. In fact, this was his mind. He had already loved her for a long time, and she had long been lingering in Hao Chen's heart. He asked Chu Xuanji if he knew why the marriage stone of Fuo Island would be fulfilled on them, because their affection was far earlier than they came, and there is also their past in the mirror. Hao Chen gave Chu Xuanji the mirror of myriad tribulations and 8 desolations, and Chu Xuanji saw the god of war. It was the memory of god of war and Emperor Balin. The god of war gave the marriage flower to Emperor Balin. Chu Xuanji said that she was in a mess in her heart, and Hao Chen said she could wait, but they must practice sentimental determination. Regardless of Elder Feng's obstruction, Yu Saifeng entered the Shengyuan, and Yuan Long was still consuming the soul to practice. Someone told him that Yu Saifeng had gone to the Shengyuan. Purple Fox saw the stove. You want to take, by the anti-hurt Ruya found someone in there. Yu Saifeng found the magic flower of Shengyuan and dripped Chu Xuanji's blood on it. The magic flower was indeed in full bloom. He knew that Chu Xuanji was the magic star. Yuan Long rushed to Shengyuan and found that the magic flower had come back to life. Ruya was tracking the purple fox and didn't find him. Many disciples rushed over to read the news of the resurrection of the magic flower. Yu Saifeng said he was the evil spirit star and asked them to follow him. Those people knelt down and said they were willing to help Yu Saifeng. Yu Saifeng asked Yuan Long to hand over the golden feather order, saying that Yuan Long was the right envoy of the demon realm, and asked him to hand over the spirit key. Yuan Long said that 3 days later, he handed over the position of palace lord, and that everything was in charge of Yu Saifeng. He brought them the bloodbath of the demons and the immortal sect, and he handed over the golden feather order. Zero was discovered by Yu Saifeng, and she was wounded and turned into a monster. Yu Saifeng treated her. Yu Saifeng said that they were all here for the spirit key, and he didn't know where the spirit key was. Zero said that Yuan Long and him were not of the same mind, and Yu Saifeng said that he just didn't want them to suffer heavy losses. Zero told him that he probably didn't know about Yuan Long's practice with Lai's palace disciples, and he didn't know anymore. Yu Saifeng didn't know this. He didn't expect Yuan Long to start with his own clan. He asked Zero what is the use of Yuan Long's training. Zero said he had heard Wazuki say it, but she didn't know it. Zero said they could cooperate. Yu Saifeng helped her get the spirit key and rescued Wazuki. She asked Wazuki to get rid of Yuan Long, and Wazuki would retaliate against Yuan Long. Chu Xuanji and Hao Chen are practicing sentimental determination, and they have achieved great success. Hao Chen said attacking Lai's palace is more certain. Lai's palace sent a war note and asked Zhuoyang faction to hand over Lu Laizhen. Hao Chen asked Chu Xuanji to kill Yu Saifeng himself, and Chu Xuanji could only agree. Tongue Snake went to the heavens and wanted to find information about Yu Saifeng from Ximeng. Yu Saifeng inherited the position of the new palace master of Lai's palace, and he invited other monsters. Secretary Yu said the wind now need to clean house, the black children and Ruya charge into the dungeon. Wooten tried to escape, but was caught back. Yu Saifeng told them that it would not be necessary to rescue Wu Ziqi and let Yuan Long teach the spirit key. At this time, a disciple reported that the Xiuxian sect attacked Lai's palace. Yu Saifeng said that Lai's palace suffered heavy losses and should not fight them to the death. When Yu Saifeng went out, Chu Xuanji took out the battle book to Yu Saifeng, and Yu Saifeng said he didn't make it. Chu Xuanji asked Yu Saifeng if he was a demon star, and if he lied to her. Yu Saifeng said that she had already drawn a clear line and wanted to kill demons and demons. Yu Saifeng said they couldn't tolerate fire and water, and let Chu Xuanji fight him to the death. Chu Xuanji fought with Yu Saifeng, and Zir saw that Yuan Long was holding the stove and didn't know what he was going to do. Yuan Long just wanted to do it, and the barrier was broken. The barrier of Lai's palace was broken, and Hao Chen and the others attacked Lai's palace by secret way. The immortal disciple attacked Lai's palace. Yu Saifeng asked Chu Xuanji this was their tactic, and Chu Xuanji said that was not the case. The disciples of Lai's palace suffered heavy losses, and Yu Saifeng saw that Hao Shen could also use the 9-day profound fire. Yu Saifeng turned into a battle between Jin Qiniao and Hao Chen. The disciples of Lai's palace retreated to Lai's palace, and Yu Saifeng trapped the disciples of Shinmen. Yu Saifeng said that he used to think that Shinmen disciples would stand still, but he didn't expect to be so insidious and cunning. If they didn't evacuate from Z Palace, they would be beaten to pieces. Hao Chen told Chu Xuanji to ignore them and directly killed everyone in Lai's palace. Head Chu said that it would be too much to pay such a price. Chu Xuanji agreed to Yu Saifeng's request and withdrew from Lai's palace. Chu Xuanji told them that these were all lives and every life should not be sacrificed in vain. Yu Saifeng said that he took out the artifact, opened the diamond cover, and Yu Saifeng left. Elder Luo didn't want Yu Saifeng to let them go, so Yuan Long asked them to take a look inside the hall. Inside were a group of disciples from Lai's palace. Yuan Long said these disciples were killed by the Immortal Gate. Yu Saifeng knew that this was what Hao Chen did. Yu Saifeng asked Elder Feng to hand over the artifact. He wanted to let Hao Shen come out and kill Hao Shen. When Yu Saifeng came out, Chu Xuanji asked him to let them go. Yu Saifeng only let Hao Shen come out. Zhang Minyan asked him why he turned back. Yu Saifeng said that he knew the secret way and brought them in, and watched Hao Chen kill the young disciples of Lai's palace. Chu Xuanji asked Yu Saifeng if there was still the truth inside, and Yu Saifeng said he deserved to die. Hao Chen fought with Yu Saifeng. He was not an opponent alone. Fortunately, Chu Xuanji saved him. Chu Xuanji confronted Yu Saifeng, and Hao Chen took the opportunity to insert the sword into Yu Saifeng's back. Yu Saifeng asked Chu Xuanji that he really wanted to kill him. Chu Xuanji couldn't bear it, and Hao Shen's skill decreased, and Yu Saifeng was pierced into the chest with a sword. Xiao Yanhua wanted to help Yu Saifeng, so she stabbed Chu Xuanji, and was taken in by Yu Saifeng. Tingnu gave Yu Saifeng treatment, and Lu Yixuan knew that Yu Saifeng was not a evil star. Yu Saifeng said he was trying to deal with Yuan Long. Lu Yixuan guessed that Chu Xuanji was the evil star, and Yu Saifeng told him to keep silent. Tingnu was treating Lai's palace disciples, and Yu Saifeng asked about the situation. Yu Saifeng said that Yuan Long put Lai's palace into a crisis, and he privately wrote a war note to Shinmen. Yu Saifeng asked him what he wanted to do. Yuan Long knelt down and said that he was only for the demon clan, he would not frame the demon star. Zhang Minyan was thinking about what Yu Saifeng said in his heart. A young junior girl wanted to practice sword for her, but Chu Linglong saw it. Zhang Minyan told Chu Linglong not to think too much. Chu Linglong said she was not worthy of Zhang Minyan's liking. What happened to her in the Tianshu Hall? Zhang Minyan was very angry and left. Tongue Snake was still looking for relevant information. Tongue Snake finally found it. King Long found him and asked him what was going on. Tongue Snake said he was sleeping here. Zir heard Tingnu and the others talking and knew that Yu Saifeng was not the real evil star, and she also wanted to enter the demon realm with Yu Saifeng to rescue Wazaki. Tingnu said that he could help them prepare some elixir, which could help them alleviate the damage of the evil spirit of the demon realm. Chu Xuanji went to see Hao Shen, and Hao Shen said he didn't know Chu Xuanji cared. Their Dao Yuking Ju had been broken, and in Chu Xuanji's heart, it was Yu Saifeng who still cared. Chu Xuanji said that she would not be soft when seeing Yu Saifeng next time, but Hao Shen did not believe that Chu Xuanji could do it. Chu Xuanji said she needs a little time, and Hao Chen said she forgot about her mother. Hao Chen said that Yu Saifeng had become Chu Xuanji's demon, and if there was no break, it would be impossible. Chu Xuanji said she was going to Lai's palace. Chu Xuan wanted to go to Lai's palace. Hao Chen said that if she really wanted to break with Yu Saifeng, she would go to Fen Rushan. Yu Saifeng would definitely go to the demon realm to save the helpless Qi, because only Yu Saifeng and the god of war could bear it. The evil spirit of living in the demon domain. Hao Shen asked Chu Xuanji to go to the demon territory. At that time she knew that Yu Saifeng was doing everything for the demon clan. Hao Chen gave Chu Xuanji a gas cylinder and told her that if she couldn't bear to kill Yu Saifeng, she would take him in. Net gas cylinder. Chu Xuanji said that she knew and left. Chu Linglong went to see her father and told his father that it was time for her to leave, and the head of Chu asked her what was going on. Chu Linglong said that this time she wanted to leave. The head of Chu asked if Zhang Minyan made him angry, but Chu Linglong denied it. The head of Chu told Chu Linglong that Zhang Minyan came to him today and wanted to marry Chu Linglong as his wife. Chu Linglong didn't believe it. Zhang Minyan came out saying that he really wanted to marry Chu Linglong. Zhang Minyan confessed his heart to Chu Linglong. Zhang Minyan knelt down to propose to the head of Chu, wanting him to marry Chu Linglong to him. The head of Chu asked him to get up and said that this period of time is not suitable for marriage. It is better to prepare them for the marriage after a period of time. Zhang Min said that he couldn't wait, just because he was afraid that Chu Linglong would be wronged. Chu Linglong said that she was willing. Yu Saifeng led people to the border of the demon realm. Yu Saifeng asked Yuan Long to hand over the key, but was threatened by Yuan Long. When Yu Si came to the demon realm, Yu Saifeng was in Fen Rushan and opened Fen Rushan with a spirit key. Just about to enter, Chu Xuanji stopped him, and Chu Xuanji fought Yu Saifeng, but Yu Saifeng ran in. Chu Xuanji also went in, and Zira also sneaked in. Yu Saifeng told Chu Xuanji not to yell loudly, and Chu Xuanji asked Yu Si to make a move. At this time, the demon spirits of the demon realm came to them, and they could only fight with the demon spirits. Looking at the mural, Yu Saifeng probably knew about Chu Xuanji. Yu Saifeng and Chu Xuanji can only travel together. Yu Saifeng gave Chu Xuanji the classics of their golden red bird recording things, saying that only Yuan Long was given the evil spirit by King Shura in the past 1,000 years, so they were killing Chu Xuanji's mother. It is Yuan Long. Chu Xuanji said that Yu Saifeng had promised to send Yuan Long in front of her, but now he is collaborating with him. Yu Saifeng said that what he was trying to save was not helpless, and she would understand it one day. Yu Saifeng was seriously injured, so Chu Xuanji looked at King Lian on the opposite side and said that King Lian might be able to heal him, and Chu Xuanji went to get King Lian. Yu Saifeng tried to save Wazaki, but Chu Xuanji found and stopped him. At this time, a monster appeared behind them, and the two of them finally defeated the monster. Chu Xuanji asked Yu Saifeng to hand over the spirit key, and Yu Saifeng gave the spirit key to Zir and asked her to save Wazaki. Zir rescued Wazaki, but Zir was seriously injured. Zir asked Wazaki to help Yu Saifeng, and Wazaki agreed to her. Yu Saifeng asked Chu Xuanji to give him some time, and he would definitely explain it clearly. Chu Xuanji didn't believe it. She took out the clean gas cylinder to dissolve Yu Si's aura. Yu Saifeng was in pain. Chu Xuanji wanted to stop, but couldn't stop it. Chu Xuanji was very anxious. Wazaki came out and told Chu Xuanji that this was a Suzaku bottle that would turn people into pus. Wazaki rescued Yu Saifeng and left. Yuan Long was waiting outside for Wazaki, but Wazaki did not believe in Yuan Long, and Wazaki brought Yu Saifeng back to Lai's palace. Wazaki came to Lai's palace, but didn't look good to them. Wazaki asked them to hand over Ting's slave. Ting Nu told them that it was enough to find two people with the same cultivation level to force Yu Saifeng out of evil spirits. Tongue Snake was still looking for information about Yu Saifeng in the heavens and finally saw a useful piece of information, but King Long discovered it. Yu Saifeng was still lying on the bed. He woke up. Ting Nu and the others were in the room. Also his very important friend. Yuan Long told Yu Saifeng that their formation for capturing the power of the god of war was ready, and tomorrow they would attack the Sheiyang faction and seize the power of the god of war. Chu Linglong was preparing to marry, but Chu Xuanji was unhappy. Chu Xuanji was led by Yu Saifeng to the place where they deployed, and Wooten led the people to kill the Sheiyang faction. Chu Xuanji was trapped by them, and several of them started to cast spells, but Chu Xuanji turned into a purple fox, which turned out to be a purple fox's illusion. Yu Saifeng and Wazaki trapped Yuan Long, and Yuan Long was controlled by the soul refining cauldron. He couldn't break free, and the corners of his mouth were bleeding. Chu Xuanji followed Yu Saifeng's trail, but found that she seemed to be trapped. She took out the sword to break the formation. At this time Lu Yishuan came out. Chu Xuanji asked him where Yu Saifeng was. Lu Yishuan said about them. Solved it by himself, and then left secretly. In Shaoang Hall, Chu Linglong and Zhang Minyan came to the head of Chu in their wedding gowns. Yuan Long told Yu Saifeng that they could not treat him like this. He had done everything for the demon world over the years, and let Yu Saifeng let him go. Yu Saifeng said that he was not the evil star at all. Yu Saifeng told the truth, and Yuan Long told Wazaki not to be deceived by Yu Saifeng. But Wazaki did not believe what he said, because Yuan Long betrayed him thousands of years ago. Wazaki wiped out the ashes of Yuan Long. However, Wuziki said that Yuan Long had become particularly weak. He remembered that Yuan Long would still do the avatar technique. Yu Saifeng and Wazaki went to Sheiyang school. Yuan Long was not dead. He was attached to the corpse of King Shura. Yuan Long was going to get a glass cup. Hao Chen was still stabilizing the Lurlizan, but his body was getting worse and worse. He wanted to find a way to destroy the Lurlizan. At this time Yuan Long appeared beside him and fought with Hao Chen, and Wu Tong fought with Zhang Minyan. If Ruya came out, it was said that he had taken the spirit key and slandered Yu Saifeng. Only then did Zhang Minyan know that he had wronged Yu Saifeng. Yuan Long was about to kill Hao Chen and was stopped by Yu Saifeng, but Lu Lizhen had changed. Chu Xuanji found that someone had moved the glass cup and rushed to the Shuiyang secret realm. Chu Linglong was waiting for Zhang Minyan, but Wu Tong didn't want to uncover Chu Linglong's hijab. Chu Linglong was about to collapse. She was held by Wu Tong and wanted to leave. Zhang Minyan stopped him and fought Wu Tong, but Zhang Minyan was not Wu Tong's opponent, and Chu Linglong let him let go, so that he would die. Chu Linglong begged Wu Tong to let him go, and she agreed to go with him. Wu Tong was unwilling to let him go, so he was about to kill him. The head of Chu came to rescue them. Wu Tong also left. Yu Saifeng was still fighting against Yuan Long, but Yu Saifeng restrained Yuan Long, and once again defeated Yuan Long. Waziki said that now that his grievances with Yuan Long have been understood, the misunderstanding between him and Chu Xuanji can be resolved. Yu Saifeng wanted to heal Hao Shen, but it didn't work. However, when Chu Xuanji arrived, Hao Chen made Yu Saifeng stabbed himself with a sword, causing Chu Xuanji and the others to misunderstand Yu Saifeng. Hao Shen said that Yu Saifeng wanted to seize the glass lamp. He wronged Yu Saifeng, but they would not believe how Yu Saifeng explained. Hao Shen also let Chu Xuanji destroy the glass lamp. Chu Xuanji could only agree to him. Hao Chen is dead. Chu Xuanji got that it was Yu Saifeng who killed Hao Shen, but she didn't believe how Yu Saifeng explained it. Chu Xuanji pierced Yu Saifeng's chest with a sword, but Yu Saifeng did not hide. Yu Saifeng was still explaining to Chu Xuanji. Chu Xuanji said that she regretted being connected with Yu Saifeng and regretted being with him. Yu Saifeng was heartbroken, and he finally understood why his previous 9 lives would be the result. Waziki left with Yu Saifeng, and Chu Xuanji knelt beside Hao Shen's spiritual position and remembered what happened between Hao Shen and her. Waziki felt that the colored glaze had changed and Chu Xuanji was casting a spell to destroy the colored glaze. Yu Saifeng wanted to stop her because Lu Lizhen would destroy her and die. Tongue Snake explained to them, but was prevented by the rules of the heavens. Yu Saifeng wanted to help Chu Xuanji, and Tongue Shi told him that Junshin Haste could save Chu Xuanji if he absorbed it, but Yu Saifeng would not be able to stand it. At the request of Yu Saifeng, Waziki General Jun Tianxihei gave Yu Saifeng, and Yu Saifeng rescued Chu Xuanji. However, the heart and soul of the evil spirit star was about to rush out of the glass cup, and Yu Saifeng wanted to seal the glass cup again. Yu Saifeng finally sealed Lu Lizhen, and he told Tongue Shi not to tell Chu Xuanji what happened today. Yu Saifeng left, but the head of Chu and the others still didn't understand. They wanted to chase Yu Saifeng. Tongue Shi told them that Yu Saifeng was doing everything for Chu Xuanji, and asked them to think about it. Yu Saifeng wanted to give the Golden Feather Order to Elder Luo, but Elder Luo refused, saying that only Yu Saifeng could command the Golden Red Bird clan. Yu Saifeng wanted to hand over the position of the palace lord to Elder Luo, and then he found a place to hide because he used Junshin to check the sea, worried that one day his body would not be able to bear it, and then he would be released from the evil spirit star. Chu Xuanji would become sure a devil. Lu Yishuan took out Wanking Pill, but Yu Saifeng was unwilling to obey Wanking Pill and forget Chu Xuanji. Wuziki and Purple Fox still drinking from Z Palace, but Wazichi Yu secretary does not understand the wind, why live so tired, but Purple Fox Yu believes it is the only humane wind division. Waziki knew what the Purple Fox meant, so he found an excuse to leave. Chu Xuanji finally woke up. Chu Linglong told him that the Lu Lizhen was sealed by the head of Chu. Chu Xuanji wanted to destroy the Lu Lizhen, but Tongue Shi told her that she could not destroy the heart and soul of the devil Tongue. The snake explained to Chu Xuanji that what Hao Shen was not saying was all true. Chu Xuanji felt that her father's ability could not seal Lu Lizhen. She had to go and take a look in person, but found that it was the seal of the Golden Red Bird. Tongue Shi told Chu Xuanji that it was Yu Saifeng who had rescued him, but Chu Xuanji couldn't figure out why Yu Saifeng did this and what he was doing. Tongue Shi told Chu Xuanji that Yu Saifeng pretended to be a demon star in order to solve Yuan Long, and now he was seriously injured because of Chu Xuanji. Chu Xuanji's father came, and Chu Xuanji said that he was going to Lai's palace to ask for a clear question. The head of Chu said that Lai's palace had already left. Chu Xuanji still wanted to go. A disciple reported that Wu Tong was found in Buzhao Mountain, and Chu Linglong had already gone to Buzhao Mountain and wanted to kill Wu Tong. After hearing this, Chu Xuanji hurried to Buzhao Mountain. Chu Linglong was discovered by Wu Tong in Buzhao Mountain. She set up a thunder formation and wanted to die with Wu Tong, but she did not succeed. Chu Xuanji arrived and wanted to resolve their old and new grudges with Wu Tong. Chu Xuanji asked Wu Tong where all the demon from Z Palace had gone. Wu Tong said that Yu Saifeng had been killed by Yu Saifeng, but he might have died. When Chu Xuanji heard what Wu Tong said was exactly the same as Tongue Shi guessed, she felt that Yu Saifeng might have been wrong. Chu Xuanji fell into the Wangchuan River. She remembered the 9th grudge she had with Yu Saifeng. She failed Yu Saifeng time and time again. Chu Xuanji also remembered her memory in the heaven. She was chased and killed in the heaven. At that time it was Yu Saifeng who sent her to Fen Rusheng and saved Chu Xuanji's life, and accompanied Chu Xuanji through the ninth world calamity. Teng Shi rescued Chu Xuanji from Wangchuan River, and sent Chu Linglong to Sheoyang to meet Tingnu. Tingnu said that Yu Saifeng asked him to heal Zhang Minyan. Chu Xuanji believed that Tingnu must know Yu Saifeng's whereabouts. Tingnu was healing Zhang Minyan. Zhang Minyan woke up. Tingnu told Zhang Minyan that Yu Saifeng asked Zhang Minyan to tell Chu Head that Tianchu Hall had been disbanded, and the Golden Red Birds would not be involved in fighting. The master pill can be practiced again. Chu Xuanji asked Aunt Yinglong if Yu Si had hurt her at the time. Aunt Yinglong said that she only knew that she was from Li's palace. Zhang Min said that if Ruya personally admitted that he hurt Aunt Yinglong, Yu Saifeng did not lie. Chu Xuanji knew that they were wrong to blame Yu Saifeng. Yu Saifeng didn't want to open the glass cup. All this was for destruction, conspiracy, and tricks to drop Yuan Long. Lu Yishuan pushed Tingnu into the forest, but Lu Yishuan was very dissatisfied because he knew that Yuan Long had injured Hao Chen, but he was bitten by Hao Chen. He was talking about these things with Tingnu, but Chu Xuanji heard them, and Chu Xuanji knew that they had wronged Yu Saifeng. Tingnu asked Lu Yishuan to tell Chu Xuanji the truth about the matter, and Lu Yishuan made the matter clear. Chu Xuanji came to Li's palace and wanted Wazaki to tell her the whereabouts of Yu Saifeng. Although Wazaki knew about it, he did not tell Chu Xuanji. Chu Xuanji said that Junchen Sihei was the one who sealed Luolizan. Please return it to her. Wuziki asked Chu Xuanji curiously, what did Chu Xuanji see in the demon realm that year, and then he turned his temper and turned against the heavens. Chu Xuanji didn't know, because the heavens erased this memory of her. Wuziki told Chu Xuanji that Tian Sihei was on Yu Saifeng and that Yu Saifeng had taken the wanking pill and probably had forgotten Chu Xuanji. Chu Xuanji must find Yu Saifeng back, and Wuziki gave Chu Xuanji no trouble fruit, which can help her hide her breath in the three realms. In order to find Yu Si, Chu Xuanji gave Tongue Snake the Lu Gong lock that Yu Saifeng had given her before and asked Tongue Snake to find Yu Saifeng based on the above breath. Lu Gong Shuo suddenly ran away and was opened afterwards. Only then did Chu Xuanji know the secret inside. It turned out that Yu Saifeng didn't lie to her. Wuziki made Purple Fox to leave, but Purple Fox have been waiting for him for 1,000 years. Purple Fox asked him in the end do not like her. Wuziki drank too much and did not answer, but she was not reconciled. She was still with Wuziki the next day, and she decided not to leave him anyway. Ruya took a feather from Yuan Long and came to the demon realm, and wanted Yuan Long to tell him to hide his sister there. Yuan Long told him. Ruya went to the dungeon to find his sister, and met Xiao Yanhua on the road, and Xiao Yanhua went to the dungeon with him. Ruya went to find his sister, but his sister died after getting out of trouble. Ruya is very sad. Xiao Yanhua also knows about them. Ruya promised Xiao Yanhua to help Xiao Yanhua find a way to terminate the contract with Yu Si. If Ruya said he was going to the demon land to destroy Yuan Long, Xiao Yanhua followed him. Chu Xuanji bid farewell to the head of Chu, and wanted to leave the Sheoyang faction to find Yu Saifeng. Yu Saifeng has never deceived her. The head of Chu said that Yu Saifeng didn't want to see her anymore, so he kept looking for them. Chu Xuanji said she just wanted to be an ordinary person, and Chu Xuanji went to find Yu Saifeng. Chu Xuanji didn't want Teng Shi to follow and wanted to terminate the contract with her. Teng Shi did not agree, but Chu Xuanji turned around to leave. Chu Xuanji promised not to mention this matter in the future. Chu Xuanji came to the place where they went down the mountain for the first time. There are many good memories with Yu Saifeng in this place. Chu Xuanji and Tongue Snake came to Qingmu town. Chu Xuanji recalled the past bit by bit, and Tongue Snake comforted him. Don't be sad, Chu Xuanji, maybe these are fate. Chu Xuanji came to Qingyang City again. Lu Yishuan lived here. Chu Xuanji felt that Lu Yishuan must know the whereabouts of Yu Saifeng, so she looked for it. Lu Yishuan did not welcome them, saying that there was no food to entertain them. But Yuer was very happy to see Chu Xuan. Chu Xuanji asked Lu Yishuan to tell her the whereabouts of Yu Saifeng, but Lu Yi was unwilling to tell her, saying that as long as he passed this life peacefully, everything would be fine. Chu Xuanji said that she really knew she was wrong, and she regretted it very much and misunderstood Yu Saifeng. Teng Shi said to Lu Yishuan that maybe Yu Saifeng was waiting for Chu Xuanji to untie the knot so that he could tie them well. Chu Xuanji also said that she wanted to have a good ending with Yu Saifeng in this life. Even if Yu Saifeng didn't remember her things in the end, she would always be by his side. Lu Yishuan heard them say this, and told Chu Xuanji that he could go to a place with abundant spiritual power in the south to take a look, maybe he could find Yu Saifeng. Ruya and Xiao Yanhua rushed to the boundary of the demon realm, and found that King Shura's coffin was empty. Ruya got that Yuan Long was wiped out by the evil spirit of the demon realm. Xiao Yanhua ignored the erosion of the evil spirit in order to find a way to unlock the contract. Chu Xuanji and Tongue Snake were still looking for Yu Saifeng. Chu Xuanji felt that a black crow was following them, but Tongue Snake didn't care. Haoshan returned to the heavens and became Emperor Bo Lin. He knew that Chu Xuanji was still looking for Yu Saifeng and was very angry. He sent the heavenly soldiers to find Chu Xuanji and brought them back. Tung Shi and the others ate and drank all the way, all their money was spent. In order to make money, Tung Shi and the others saw a demon catching notice, and went to the inn where the demon was troubled. After passing through the inn's proprietress, the proprietress agreed to let Chu Xuanji go with Tongue Snake to catch the demon. Chu Xuanji went to the room to catch the demon by himself. It turned out to be a weasel. 3 months ago the lady boss splashed it with oil, so she came back for revenge, and Chu Xuanji easily managed it. The proprietress let them live. Chu Xuanji took out the portrait of Yu Saifeng and asked the proprietress if she had seen Yu Saifeng. The proprietress felt a little familiar, but because there were too many people coming and going in therein it was not clear. Chu Xuanji and Tongue Snake searched in the south, but they still couldn't find them. Chu Xuanji decided to go to the west of Yu Saifeng's hometown, and decided to go to the west to search tomorrow. The next day Tung Shi and Chu Xuanji were preparing food, and they suddenly smelled the taste of Sanking tea, which was the tea that Yu Saifeng drank every day. Chu Xuanji saw Yu Saifeng's back and wanted to chase after him, but was blocked by passers-by. Chu Xuanji decided to look for Yu Saifeng here, so she wanted to help them get rid of the demon in exchange for Yu Saifeng news, but Alan felt that Yu Saifeng's business had been robbed, and she still liked Yu Saifeng. Alan warned Chu Xuanji, don't fight Yu Saifeng's idea. Alan went to find Yu Saifeng. At this time, someone came to ask for help. Every time a wedding was held in the town next door, it was a funeral. The newlyweds were also taken away by the demon. The people in the town wanted Yu Saifeng to help, and Yu Saifeng agreed. In order to attract the demon, Yu Saifeng and Alan pretended to be a bride, and gave Alan a jewel of the night for her to change into a wedding dress. Alan agreed, and asked the lady boss to collect Yi Mingzu. The lady boss showed Chu Xuanji. Chu Xuanji recognized that this was the Yi Mingzu from Li's palace, and he was sure that the man was Yu Si. Chu Xuanji and Tung Shi went to the wedding banquet, but it was really Yu Saifeng, and Yu Saifeng married Alan. Chu Xuanji kept watching Yu Saifeng. The monster appeared, and Tongue Snake smashed the monster away. Yu Saifeng looked at Chu Xuanji very happy in his heart, but did not show it. Chu Xuanji wanted to touch Yu Saifeng, but Yu Saifeng avoided. Chu Xuanji thought he had eaten wanking pill. Chu Xuanji took out Lu Gongshuo and the bell that Yu Saifeng had given her before, and wanted to make Yu Saifeng remember their past events, but Yu Saifeng did not admit it, and said that Chu Xuanji was at his wedding. Make trouble. Alan also quarreled with Chu Xuan, and Yu Saifeng cooperated with Alan in order to make Chu Xuan give up. Chu Xuanji got that Yu Saifeng had forgotten her, so she stopped pestering Yu Saifeng and left the wedding banquet. Tung Shi wanted to bring Yu Saifeng over, but Chu Xuanji stopped him. Tongue Snake went looking for food and overheard that Yu Saifeng and Alan were married, so he told Chu Xuanji. After Chu Xuanji found out, she went back to find Yu Saifeng. Tung Shi asked Chu Xuanji to test Yu Saifeng, did he forget her after all, but he did not expect that Yu Si did not forget her. Chu Xuanji explained to Yu Saifeng that Alan was captured by the monster at this time. Chu Xuanji and Yu Saifeng chased the demon all the way and saw the demon in the cave. Yu Saifeng guessed the identity of the demon and asked him why he came here to hurt people. When Chu Xuanji heard Yu Saifeng say this, she remembered that the local bride she had heard was arrested along the way. It turned out that this monster was doing evil. The demon admitted Yu Saifeng's speculation, but he threatened Yu Saifeng and the others with Alan, and told them to leave quickly. Yu Saifeng said that it is not easy to learn from it, so he released Alan and spared him not die. The demon said that all women in the world are savage people. When he became an adult, he fell in love with a woman, but was almost killed by her to achieve her practice. It escaped, but his people were killed by those people. Up. Chu Xuanji said that it was indeed innocent when it was betrayed by others, but it could not put hatred on other people. Yu Saifeng let him leave, and Chu Xuanji didn't want him to leave. Yu Saifeng said that he was treated like this by Chu Xuanji back then, and Chu Xuanji explained to Yu Saifeng that she was not clear about some things. The monkey demon heard that Yu Saifeng was also a demon, and Yu Saifeng approached him, and then killed him, saying that it couldn't kill anyway. Chu Xuanji explained to Yu Saifeng said that they had different ways to be a monster, and Yu Saifeng left with Alan. Yu Saifeng returned to the room and spit out a mouthful of blood. It turned out that his power was transitioned, and Jun Tianxihe in his body responded, and Yu Saifeng began to heal his injuries. Hao Chen was furious in the heavens because they lost the eyes of the sky. Chu Xuanji told Teng Shi whether she should leave, and Teng Shi said that she was looking for him because of the mountains and rivers. Chu Xuanji dared not enter the room for a long time. Teng Shi said that Sai Fing Yu just couldn't forget you, so he didn't eat wanking pill. After Teng Shi's enlightenment, Chu Xuanji finally figured it out, and she went in to see Yu Saifeng. Chu Xuanji went to cook for them. Teng Shi taught Yu Saifeng and wanted him to accept Chu Xuanji. Yu Saifeng couldn't understand why Chu Xuanji had two identities. Teng Shi couldn't tell because of the rules of heaven. Chu Xuanji cooked Yu Saifeng and accidentally burned her foot. Yu Saifeng asked her to enter the room to apply medicine. Alan came in and brought food to Yu Saifeng. Chu Xuanji looked at the hairpin and said that she had been looking for it for a long time. Yu Saifeng said she left it in Qingmu town, and Yu Saifeng told Chu Xuanji to leave. But Chu Xuanji was unwilling to leave. Chu Xuanji fell asleep in Yu Saifeng's room. Yu Saifeng brought medicine, put it on her, and covered her with a quilt. Chu Xuanji got up in the morning and made 3 clear teas for Yu Saifeng. Alan also brought breakfast to Yu Saifeng, and Yu Saifeng tasted what Alan had brought. Then he was going to gather medicine, and took Alan away. Yu Saifeng told Alan that he would not be looking for him if he had other ideas, and Alan gave her the hairpin. Chu Xuanji came again, and when she saw the double-winged colorful butterfly she caught up. Yu Saifeng was uneasy and caught up with him. Chu Xuanji told Yu Saifeng that if the lover's curse could not be solved, she would die with him. Yu Saifeng left, and he went to heal again. Chu Xuanji was still looking for Yu Saifeng everywhere. She found Alan, but there was still no result. Chu Xuanji said in the woods that what she said before did not count. Yu Saifeng heard it, but did not go to see her. Because Yu Saifeng didn't know how long he could live, he wanted her to give up. Chu Xuanji was still waiting outside. It was snowing. Alan went to persuade her, but Chu Xuanji was unwilling to go back. Alan went to see Yu Saifeng and gave him clothes, and Yu Saifeng asked her to give the clothes to Chu Xuanji. Alan gave Chu Xuanji the clothes, but Chu Xuanji still did not leave. Chu Xuanji finally fainted and Yu Saifeng carried her into the room. Chu Xuanji woke up and saw Yu Saifeng. She held Yu Saifeng and told him not to leave in the future. Yu Si hugged her and said he was really happy. Yu Saifeng and Chu Xuanji hugged each other. Yu Saifeng said that he wanted her to come again, but was afraid that she would not come, and that all of this would disappear. Chu Xuanji said that they would stay together in the future, and Chu Xuanji said that she would definitely help him untie the love curse. Chu Xuanji saw that the feathers on Yu Saifeng's chest had disappeared, and Yu Saifeng said that the lover's curse had been solved. Chu Xuanji asked Yu Saifeng why he decided to live here after visiting so many places. Yu Saifeng said he would tell her little by little in the future. Yu Saifeng took out the hairpin that Alan had repaired and put it on Chu Xuanji. Chu Xuanji asked Yu Saifeng what happened when he rescued her in the secret, but Yu Saifeng did not tell Chu Xuanji the truth. Chu Xuanji said that she felt that she had something to do with the evil spirit. Yu Saifeng said that she had defeated the evil spirit, so it was relevant. Chu Xuanji said that she didn't feel like this, and Yu Saifeng told her not to think randomly and not to approach Lu Lizan in the future. Chu Xuanji agreed, and Yu Saifeng coughed. Yu Saifeng said it was just a small injury. Yu Saifeng went to Hantan and remembered what Teng Shi said. It turns out that Yu Saifeng was dying immediately, so he didn't want to delay Chu Xuanji. Teng Shi said that the Ganoderma in the cold pool could save Yu Saifeng. Yu Saifeng went to see the Ganoderma, but he did not find that Yuan Long also knew the Ganoderma. Ruya and Xiao Yanhua came to the place where the classics were placed in Lai's palace. They found a way to understand the contract with Xiao Yanhua. They did not know that this was Yuan Long's plan. Xiao Yanhua and Ruya were introduced to the plan step by Yuan Long. Xiao Yanhua found the Ganoderma in the cold pool in a beak. Yu Saifeng was injured again, and Chu Xuanji went to look for him. Xiao Yanhua made the spirit worm cocoon, ready to find Yu Saifeng. Ruya decided to send Xiao Yanhua there and also gave Xiao Yanhua a bracelet. Under Ruya's explanation, Xiao Yanhua accepted it. Chu Xuanji found Yu Saifeng in Hantan, and Yu Saifeng fainted. Chu Xuanji healed him and asked him what was going on. Yu Saifeng said that he had absorbed the power of Junshin Qi Hai, and Chu Xuanji understood. Yu Saifeng told Chu Xuanji that Ganoderma can relieve Junshin's strategy of sea, and maybe it can save him. Tongue Snake was secretly in the heavens again. He knew that King Long and the others had been sent to the mortal world. Tongue Snake knew about this and wanted to go back and tell Chu Xuanji and them. Lu Yixuan was found by the people in the heavens and asked him to return the eyes of the heavens. Yor was arrested by them. Lu Yixuan wanted to explain, but they didn't listen at all, so they started with Lu Yixuan. Zir came to help and told them Wazuki was coming soon. They took out Lu Yixuan's heavenly eyes and ran away. The people of the celestial realm used the eyes of the sky to know something, and Chu Xuanji was sending spiritual power to Ganoderma. Tung Shi found Yu Saifeng and the others, and told the people in the heavens to come and look for them. But they didn't tell Chu Xuanji that Lingzi was about to grow up, and Xiao Yinhua and Ruya found them. Xiao Yinhua wanted Yu Saifeng to drip a drop of blood, and then unlock the contract. Yu Saifeng agreed to her, ready to break the contract with her. King Long found Tongue Snake, who was very angry. King Long is not allowed to harm Chu Xuanji, but Tongue Snake is restricted by his nature. King Long told Tongue Shi that Lu Yixuan was not dead, but they had come to catch Chu Xuanji. But Tongue Shi still won't give up Chu Xuanji, he wants to fight King Long. Yu Saifeng was unwinding the contract with Xiao Yinhua and finally untied it. Suddenly there was lightning and thunder in the sky, and Xiao Yinhua was struck by lightning. Tongue Snake is still fighting with King Long. King Long tells Tongue Snake that someone has attracted heavenly tribulation, and Tongue Snake goes to look for Chu Xuanji. Yu Saifeng blocked Tang Jue for them. Yu Saifeng was seriously injured. Chu Xuanji healed him, but there was no effect. Beast, and said a lot of cruel things. Before Tongue Shi left, she told her not to open the glass cup. Wazuki told Chu Xuanji that they should talk about what to do next, and Chu Xuanji told Wazuki that she got these things should be related. Chu Xuanji decided to open the glass cup so that he could save Saifeng Yu. Yu Saifeng was afraid that Chu Xuanji would be involved, but Chu Xuanji didn't care about it. They were ready to return to the Sheiyang school and get married. Yu Saifeng took out the eyebrow pencil to draw the eyebrows to Chu Xuanji. They remembered the first time that Yu Saifeng drew the eyebrows to Chu Xuanji. Yu Saifeng and Chu Xuan were about to leave. Alan asked Yu Saifeng where he was going and would he come back. Yu Saifeng said he would not come back in the future. Saifeng told her that she would not come back again in the future. Alan was a little sad. She said that she knew that there was no relationship with Yu Saifeng. If Chu Xuanji and Yu Saifeng got married, she would definitely go and congratulate them. Yu Saifeng and Chu Xuanji left. In the heavens, the emperor asked him to imprison Tongue Snake in the sky prison. Tongue Snake was a little confused by the words of Emperor Bai Lin. Only then did Tongue Snake know that the emperor is the Haoshan of the world. Tongue Snake said that Chu Xuanji's mind was simple, but the emperor did not believe it, saying that Chu Xuanji's body was very demonic. Tongue Snake would like to ask more clearly. The emperor said that whether it is the god of war or the devil star, as long as it is a threat to the heavens, the emperor should send the Tongue Snake to the sky prison. At the foot of the Sheiyang school, Wu Ziki said that these big demons should not go to the Sheiyang school. They stayed. Chu Xuanji and Yu Saifeng left. Wazuki also left alone. Chu Xuanji and the others were at the entrance of the martial art, and Chu Linglong brought them out and brought them in together. Chu Linglong and Yu Saifeng are as good as ever, and there is no longer a gap. When they arrived in front of the head of Chu Xuanji congratulated his father, and Yu Saifeng also congratulated the head of Chu. But other sects had opinions on Yu Saifeng, and the head of Chu asked them to follow them. Chu Xuanji said that he had something to ask for this time, and Chu Xuanji knelt down and said to the head of Chu that he hoped to allow Tian and Yu Saifeng to marry him. Yu Saifeng also knelt down, and the head of Chu did not immediately agree, saying that he should think carefully. Chu Xuanji said that it was because Yu Saifeng was a demon, and Chu said that he was afraid that they would be wronged in the future. At this time, a disciple came to tell the head of Chu. The guests were waiting for the head of Chu, and the head of Chu asked them to get up, talk about it after speaking, and then left. The backlash in Yu Saifeng's body began again, and Chu Xuanji healed her. The emperor was about to open a large formation to deal with Chu Xuanji and the others. Someone suggested that Emperor Balin ask the Emperor of Heaven what he meant, but the Emperor did not agree, saying that he would bear it alone. King Long gave Tongue Snake a dragon scale, and told him that this dragon scale could help him in the lower realm. King Long asked Tongue Shi to tell Chu Xuanji not to open the glass cup because the Emperor was ready to kill Chu Xuanji. Chu Xuanji and Wu Ziki were about to open the colored glaze cup. They began to cast spells to open the colored glaze cup. They were about to take the colored glaze lamp and leave, but Yu Saifeng appeared and took the colored glaze lamp. Lu Lizhen flew away suddenly, and Chu Xuanji caught up. Tongue Shi came to the Sheiyang faction and asked them to leave quickly. The emperor passed down a voice saying that Chu Xuanji had promised her to destroy the glass cup, and the people of the Sheiyang school also knew that the emperor was Haoshan. Chu Xuanji also remembered, it was Emperor Bo Lin who lied to her. Chu Xuanji understood everything. It turned out that they were all used by Emperor Bo Lin. The emperor opened the big formation, ready to let the Sheiyang school bury it forever. Zhu and the others also discovered the Sheiyang school's abnormal changes, and Ting Nu knew what formation it was. Chu Xuanji and the Sheiyang faction joined forces to stop the emperor, and Chu Xuanji took out Ding Kun and fought the emperor. The emperor wanted to destroy the colored glaze lamp. Chu Xuanji was affected. At this time Yu Saifeng turned into a golden red bird to stop the emperor, and Wazuki also got the colored glaze lamp. Chu Xuanji wanted to open Liulai, but Yu Saifeng did not agree. Yuan Long showed up and said he wanted to tell Chu Xuanji the truth. Chu Xuanji finally understood that she was the evil spirit star, and the god of war. Chu Xuanji was a little unacceptable, and Yu Saifeng told her not to believe Yuan Long's words. Chu Xuan asked him why he wanted to do this, and the emperor said that he was doing everything for the world. Yu Saifeng was seriously injured and the emperor was about to kill Yu Saifeng, and Chu Xuanji wanted to open the glass cup. Chu Xuanji opened the glazed lamp. The heart and soul of the evil spirit star entered Chu Xuanji's body, and Chu Xuanji recalled the past. Chu Xuanji transformed into a magic evil star. Jiju Jiju took out the hairpin of Yu Si and said that Chu Xuanji has nothing to do with him from now on. Jiju left the Sheung school. Bo Linfang was born in the Dead Sea, blocking the monster soldier, the purple fox, praying for life for helplessness. Si Feng also wanted to keep Luo Ho Jiju. Luo Ho Ji threw the hairpin that Si Feng had given to Xuanji to the ground and told him coldly that Chu Xuanji was nothing but a little memory of his thousands of years of life. The broken hairpin was returned to him, and the two have nothing to do with each other. After saying this, Luo Huji disappeared in a blink of an eye. Seeing Xuanji changed into what it is now, Si Feng felt a burst of heartache, and suddenly he vomited a few mouthfuls of blood and fainted. Wazuki and Yuan Long chasing Luo Huji both came to the demon realm. Luo Huji remembered their identities. Seeing that Yuan Long was erratic there, Luo Huji waved his hands gently and let Yuan Long. Having recovered his body, Yuan Long knelt down and thanked him. Seeing that Yuan Long was alive again, Wazuki was very angry, and he had to settle the old account with him. Luo Huji stopped Wazuki and told him not to engage in infighting, and when his revenge on the heavens was completed, the two of them loved him. Do whatever you want. According to Luo Ho Jiju's orders, Yuan Long summoned all the demons scattered in various places, and set to blast open the gates of heaven on July 7th, and kill them to the heavens. Before that, Luo Huji also destroyed Fen Rushan. Pierced the fire in the heart of the earth and resurrected the Asura army in the demon realm. After Si Feng woke up, he decided to find Luo Ho Jiju. He believed that Xuanji was only temporarily controlled by Luo Ho Jiju's heart and soul. As long as he didn't give up, he would definitely be able to get Xuanji back. Linglong and others also supported his idea. At the 10,000 Demons Council, Luo Huji announced to everyone the decision to avenge the heavens. Among them, several little demons, because they questioned his decision, were eliminated on the spot, and the rest of the demons met. It was all silent, no one dared to object. Si Feng came to the demon realm and told Luo Huji to stop killing him. The more he killed, the more his devilishness would become. When he called Xuanji's name, Luo Huji was very disgusted and suddenly choked his neck. Xuanji was in Luo Ho Jiju's body, so that he would not hurt Si Feng, and she slapped him vigorously and shouted. Luo Ho Ji was lost for a while and slowly released Si Feng. Si Feng saw the shadow of Xuanji from Luo Hujidu's eyes just now. In order to prevent Luo Hujidu from killing evil again, he took the initiative to offer Luo Hujidu as a helper, and Luo Hujidu let him Si Feng receive the palm from him. When Si Feng couldn't bear it, Xuanji was inside Luo Ho Jiju's body, reminding him again not to hurt Si Feng. After Si Feng passed the test, Luo Huji gave him a falling clock and asked him to collect grievances within 10 days, and then use it to blast through the gates of the heavens. Si Feng came to the dungeon and captured the demon world. The mortals let go and filled the Luotian bell with their own aura. When everything was ready, Luo Huji ordered Wazuki to lead the demon soldiers to kill him to the heavens. Purple Fox came to dissuade Wazuki, but Wazuki did not listen to her. Sitting in the main hall, Bo Lin suddenly heard a loud noise. Someone came to report that someone used the falling clock to blow the Tianmin open. The demon soldiers were killing the heavens. Bo Lin sneered and ordered people to be born into the Dead Sea immediately. All exchanges between the heavens and the outside world. Someone reminded Bo Lin that if he was born into the sea, the world would become another demon realm, but Bo Lin believed that in order to deal with the demon soldiers and for the safety of the heavens, he could only do so now. After the Sea of Life and Death was released, the demon soldier was struck to death by lightning bolts as if it had entered a high-voltage power grid. When a bolt of lightning struck Wazuki, the purple fox suddenly stood in front of him. Like Luo Huji and Yuan Long, he can use the Golden Bird's demon pill to carry the army across the Sea of Life and Death. Luo Huji went to Si Feng to ask about the whereabouts of the gold-winged bird family, but Si Feng would rather die than tell him. In the end, the purple fox was seriously injured and died. Wazuki was discouraged and wanted to leave the demon realm. Wazuki wanted Si Feng to leave with him, but Si Feng insisted on staying with Luo Ho Jiju. Saifeng saw only the shadow of Zhuangji on Luo Jeju's body many times, so he made a bet on Luo Huji. He wanted to retrieve Zhuangji within 3 days. If he wins, Luo Jeju will release Zhuangji out, and if he loses, he will tell Luo Jeju about the whereabouts of the golden-winged bird tribe. Bo Lin designed to kill Luo Jeju. Saifeng went to heaven to resolve the grievances between the two. During these 3 days, Saifeng accompanied Luo Jeju, deliberately telling Luo Huji everything about him and Zhuangji, including Zhuangji's favorite color, Zhuangji's favorite food and drink, and Zhuangji's those loved ones. When talking about this, Saifeng saw Luo Jeju's expression and he obviously became more gentle, especially when he talked about the situation where he and Zhuangji hang wind chimes together. Luo Jeju's expression was obviously a little excited. But when he asked Luo Jeju if he was tempted, Luo Jeju denied it. When the 3-day deadline was up, Luo Huji saw that Saifeng refused to admit defeat, so he pretended that he was Zhuangji and tricked Saifeng into telling the whereabouts of the golden-winged bird tribe. Saifeng discovered that Luo Huji was not Zhuangji, so he scolded him for being despicable and shameless. Luo Huji was furious and pinched Saifeng's neck again, but because Zhuangji was constantly struggling in his body, he couldn't kill him anyway. Zhuangji also got rid of Luo Jeju's control for a while, making Luo Jeju look like Zhuangji again. Saifeng wanted Luo Huji to admit defeat, but Luo Huji thought he did not lose and sealed Saifeng's meridians. Saifeng was trying to find someone to tell his people to escape when Tongue Snake suddenly came to him and is willing to run for him. Tang handed Luolizan and a medicine bottle to Saifeng and told him that the medicine contained Tianying cow. He eavesdropped on the conversation between Bo Lin and Suzaku. As long as Luo Jeju's heart and soul were sealed again, Zhuangji would do it. Can be saved. Bo Lin also said that as long as a drop of Luo Jeju's blood is dripped into the glass lamp, Luo Jeju's heart and soul can be sealed again, and that bottle of Tianying grass juice, if Luo Huji is allowed to drink it, can make him fall asleep. Before Tongue Snake came to inform, Yuan Long had found the hiding place of the golden-winged bird clan and captured them all. Saifeng pleaded with Luo Jidu, but Luo Ji turned a deaf ear. In order to save those tribesmen, Saifeng secretly put the Tianying grass juice into Luo Jeju's wine. After Luo Jeju fell asleep, Saifeng took out the colored glass cup, but hesitated to put it down again. Luo Huji all saw Saifeng put down the glaze lamp, and then opened his eyes. It turned out that when Tongue Snake came to the demon realm, Luo Huji had already noticed him. Luo Huji told Saifeng that this was Bo Lin's again trick. If he did what Tongue Snake said just now, then they would be burned to ashes by the golden flames of the sun in the glass cup. Linglong, the head of Chu, and others came to the demon. They called Zhuangji's name, hoping that Luo Huji would become Zhuangji and go back with them. Although Luo Huji was angry, but because of the struggle in his body, Zhuangji couldn't harm them in the end. Just sent them back to Sheoyang Mountain and gave them the fire in the heart of the earth. Let them use it as a barrier, so that he can protect themselves when he destroys the Hongming furnace and reshapes the 3 realms. From these things, Saifeng had discovered that Zhuangji was affecting Luo Jeju, so he persuaded him to let go of his hatred. Luo Huji became Zhuangji's appearance and showed Saifeng the scar on her body and told him, Saifeng, all of this is given by Bo Lin. Luo Jeju and Bo Lin were originally friends with each other, but Bo Lin was poisoned by wine. He dug out his heart, sealed it with a glass lamp, and made a heart for him with a corner of his glass lamp. To reshape his body into a god of war, to slaughter his family. After listening to Luo Jeju's words, Saifeng believed that these were personal grievances between Luo Jeju and Bo Lin, and Luo Huji shouldn't, so he went to hurt innocent people and offered to go to the heavens to find Bo Lin to resolve this grievance for him. Luo Huji didn't believe that Bo Lin would face him alone, so he agreed with Saifeng that if Saifeng succeeds, she will no longer imprison Zhuangjing, and if Saifeng does not have his life to return, then he will kill Bo Lin as Saifeng revenge. Saifeng flew across the sea of life and death to the heavens. When the soldiers blocked him, Tongue Snake pretended to help the heaven soldiers, brought Saifeng into the heavens and told him where Bo Lin was. Seeing Saifeng's arrival, Bo Lin wanted to trap him with the Zongshens in Yuan, which was specially designed to deal with demons, but was accidentally cracked by Saifeng because only people in the heavens could unlock the Zongshens in Yuan. Bo Lin, in astonishment, he opened his eyes and carefully checked the origin of Saifeng. It turned out that Saifeng was actually Zaixuan, the son of the Emperor of Heaven. He was really a golden-winged god bird. He was shaved off because of the imprisoned god of war. For what Bo Lin did, the Emperor of Heaven felt ashamed of the god of war, so he let him Zaixuan will accompany the god of war in the next term, and then return to the heaven. Bo Lin repented of self-sharpening his godhead and dispersing from God Faluo. He plans to overthrow the Hongming furnace and reshape the 3 realms. Linglong and the others saw the Emperor. The Emperor was indifferent to what they said. In desperation, Linglong destroyed his endgame with black ink. Unexpectedly, this would solve the endgame. Then the Emperor of Heaven promised them to take them to the heaven. In the memory of the god of war, Luo Huji saw the medical officer of the heavens, Yuren, treating her wounds. She asked Yuren inexplicably why the king Shura wanted to say that she was a traitor and why everyone called her the god of war, but she didn't call her name. She didn't know where she came from, she didn't know. Regarding her series of questions, the shark only shook his head, indicating that he did not know. Later she remembered that Wazuki hit the heavens, stole Junshin Sihei, and told her that King Shura wanted to invite her to the demon's palace. When the god of war came to the demon's palace, the remaining demons of King Shura showed her the mural on the wall. Only then did she realize that she was transformed by the demon star. After returning to the heavens, she heard two more the priest talked, and then she knew the truth of the matter. So she approached Bo Lin and asked him why he was doing this to him. At first, Bo Lin pretended to be confused. Later, God of War revealed his wounds. He had to admit that he took out Luo Ho Jiju's heart and soul and gave it to him. He reshaped his new body and became what she is today. The God of War wanted to kill Bo Lin to avenge himself, but Bo Lin held the glass cup that sealed her heart and soul, easily subdued her, and ordered her to be transported to Shoxiante, and Zhuangji used to think of it often. Is the angry and helpless scene of God of War when he was held in Sendai. Luo Huji, god of all this, opened his eyes uncomfortably and grabbed Saifeng beside him, jumped out of the Wangchuan water, and the heavenly soldiers guarding the sea of life and death. When he saw Luo Huji do, he swarmed up. Luo Wenji waved his hand gently, he knocked them all down. After defeating the heavenly soldiers, Luo Huji collected the water from the sea of life and death into the jade bottle. Seeing the water of the Dead Sea receding in Yuan Long, he gave an order to take the demon soldiers to the heaven. Seeing that Luo Huji had been killed, Bo Lin took out the 36 Tiangang precious mirror to surrender him. Because Luo Huji was too angry, the Tiangang mirror was shattered by him a few times, but Luo Huji did it. Is almost impossible to kill Bo Lin, because Bo Lin is protected by the laws of heaven, and he cannot find Bo Lin's true body. Luo Huji told Bo Lin not to be proud. The law of heaven was also set by Hongming Chu. As long as he overthrew the Hongming furnace and reshaped the rules, Bo Lin would not be able to escape. Bo Lin originally held a trace of luck, thinking that Luo Huji couldn't find the Hongming forge. He didn't expect that when Luo Huji was the god of war, he knew the heavens well, so he became like a god of war. The Hongming furnace appeared. The god of war was about to overthrow the Hongming furnace. When Bo Lin was going to stop him, he was knocked to the ground by the god of war. At this time, the Hongming furnace began to tilt. The liquid inside, like magma, dripped into the world like big fireballs falling from the sky. The ground also began to shake like an earthquake. Saifeng stood in front of the god of war and told him to stop the crazy behavior in front of him, but the god of war had been dazzled by the hatred and would not listen to him at all. Saifeng had no choice but to try his best to stop him, but was defeated by the god of war. After Saifeng was injured, he looked at the god of war desperately, not knowing what to do. The emperor and Linglong arrived. After the Emperor of Heaven came, he first rebuked Bo Lin in the name of being the common people of the three realms and ended up doing wrong things repeatedly, killing many innocent lives. It is precisely because of the evil causes he planted that today's evil results can be achieved. The words of the Emperor of Heaven poked into Bo Lin's heart, making him ashamed, so he decided to cut off his godhead and remove his own gods as a right own punishment. After Bo Lin's self-punishment, the black hair all over his head turned white, but Luo Huji was still not satisfied with it. The Emperor of Heaven created an illusion and showed him the tragedy after the Hongming forge was overthrown. Seeing Linglong, Shaliazi, and his father died one by one, tears flowed from the eyes of God of War. Saifeng was secretly happy when he saw it. He didn't expect Yuan Long to instigate another one, but this time Luo Huji did not. Listening to him, he also pointed out his conspiracy and let him decide on himself. Yuan Long has been in business for thousands of years and finally waited until today, but he would stop there. Seeing that the god of war did not listen to him, he laughed wildly and hit the Hongming melting pot with a palm. If Yuan Long commits injustice, he will die. Seeing that the Hongming furnace was beginning to fall, Saifeng rushed forward and carried the Hongming furnace with his body. When Yuan Long saw Saifeng wanted to ruin his good deeds, he pierced his chest with a sword. Seeing Saifeng slowly falling to the ground, Luo Huji turned into Zhuangji's appearance again, with a worried look on his face. When Yuan Long stabbed Saifeng again, Zhuangji stopped him and fixed Saifeng. Pulled out from below the furnace of Hongming. Saifeng was very happy when he saw Luo Huji turned into Zhuangji. He told Zhuangji to guard the three realms because there was their memory in it. He vomited a few more mouthfuls of blood. Zhuangji hurriedly helped Yanggong help. He is treated. Taking advantage of Zhuangji's efforts to cure Saifeng, Yuan Long once again hit the Hongming furnace with his palm. Zhuangji treated Saifeng with one hand and used mana with the other to stop Yuan Long. Seeing the Hongming furnace began to fall, Yuan Long suddenly laughed wildly and said that now the primordial spirits of the demon realm are in the demon realm. If the Hongming furnace is overgrown, only the demon race will survive in this world. At that time, he will be the real lord of the three realms. As soon as Yuan Long's words fell, Ruya was holding two daggers in his hand and suddenly jumped up and plunged into Yuan Long's body. With a roar, Yuan Long bounced Ruya into the Hongming forge, and then slapped again. Turned the Hongming furnace upside down. Seeing furious, Zhuangji beat Yuan Long to death with her hand and then tried to help Hongming furnace, but Hongming furnace was already upside down. She obviously couldn't do well to right it, so she asked the emperor for help. The weather only smiled and straightened it. Si Feng told Zhuangji that his heart had been pierced by Yuan Long, and he could no longer accompany her in this life. Seeing Si Feng's breath weak, Zhuangji cried and begged the emperor to save him. The emperor asked Zhuangji not to worry. Someone had already helped him. She was. When Si Feng was injured just now, Xuanji was so sad that Luo Huji was shot out of her body. Luo Huji couldn't bear to see her sadness, so he walked over and stroked Si Feng's chest and put half a glass of glass. Planted in his heart. The emperor told Zhuangji that as long as the half of the colored glaze had protected the hero's heart, and as long as there was bloody flesh, Si Feng would be able to resurrect. Zhuangji would feel better after hearing this. Luo Huji took out a glass of wine and handed it to Bo Lin to continue the wine bureau with him. Bo Lin knew that it was poisonous wine, but he knew that he was sinful, so he still took it and drank it. After drinking, he and Luo Huji all disappeared at the same time, entering the crossing road to recultivation. Brother Lu asked the emperor to release Yuer, and the emperor told him that Yuer was now at home. Brother Lu returned home and saw Yuer. After this tribulation, Yuer was more well-behaved than before. I wished to know the whereabouts of the purple fox, and wanted to reconnect with her. The emperor told him that the purple fox was preparing to cross the country, and he would drink the water of Wangchuan in half a day. I prayed for nothing and hurried after it. In the past, she was found in Duerdao as expected. Zhuangji was taking care of Si Feng. As the emperor said, Si Feng soon woke up. After Si Feng woke up, the two came to the Sheiyang school together. The head of Chu did not stop him this time, but happily agreed. The wedding was celebrated, and a grand wedding was held for them. Si Feng and Zhuangji's lover finally got married. The two of them cherished each other for 10 times, and they were accompanied by their father and Linglong, so there is no need to say more about the happiness of life. During this period, the emperor had looked for Zhuangji twice. The first time he told Zhuangji that she was a created existence 1,000 years ago, so every step she took was not in the number of days, and she became a demon or an immortal. Immortal, it is her own choice. Zhuangji finally chose to be a person. The second time after Zhuangji chose to be a human, the emperor came to ask her again how it feels to become immortal. Zhuangji picked up the jug, took a sip of wine, and then told the emperor to be a human. That's nice. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a good day.